This innocent-looking girl with flower-like beauty is Feng Wuyo, the fifth princess of the Phoenix clan. Once, while going out to play, she unfortunately encountered an accident that nearly cost her life. Fortunately, her brother rescued her in time of crisis. During one of Wuyo's birthdays, a Taoist brought a small snake as a birthday gift for her. As soon as she saw the appearance of this little snake, she became extremely fond of it. Realizing that adopting a small snake was extremely dangerous made her brothers even more worried, but she didn't care. Perhaps Wuyo didn't know that behind the disguise of that little snake was a young man with the title of leader of the snake clan. The two of them had a feud from 2 years ago, but she couldn't remember what happened back then, and their story began just like that. The scene shifts to the Grand Hall in a vast land, which is the Phoenix clan, the secret realm of Mount Shuo. Inside the vast palace at the Shuo Divine Palace, young beauties dance and sing, creating an extremely magnificent scene. A pitiful-looking girl sits there quietly without moving. The beauties around her whisper incessantly, "See, the unreachable fifth princess of the Phoenix clan has become like a different person after her rebirth." It's said that Feng Wuyo became like this because she lost her inner core. Although her immortal body has been recast, she has lost all her cultivation and memories from 800 years ago. Speaking of this young man doesn't forget to whisper and gossip very enthusiastically, "Without the inner core, she can still be reborn?" The Phoenix clan is so powerful. Suddenly, a young man rushes into the room and shouts loudly, "Your Highness, fifth princess." Hearing her name being called, Wuyo turns her head in surprise and looks at him with a puzzled expression. "Hello." Seeing her strange reaction makes the young man freeze on the spot. Is this still Feng Wuyo? Feng Wuyo has never been so gentle. These words make Wuyo so angry that she crushes the wine cup in her hand. "Since I was reborn, I've heard this kind of thing 100 times. Time quickly flashes back to the past. 2 years ago, amidst the blooming cherry blossoms, Wuyo sits there quietly. "I encountered an accident outside. But in misfortune, there is fortune. Fortunately, I was rescued by Lingshu Taoist and reborn with a trace of remnant soul." At that time, the Taoist called out loudly, "Wuyo. But what comes must come." But after I woke up, I found that I had not only lost my inner core. Wuyo, with an innocent face, looks up at the man right in front of her. "Who are you?" This makes her very desperate. "I also lost my memory, and I don't even recognize my family." Seeing that Wuyo still doesn't know anything, the man sighs helplessly and explains, "I am your eldest brother, I came to take you home." These words make her a little confused and she reaches out her hands. "Eldest brother?" Wuyo still doesn't understand what's happening when the strange person behind her quickly steps forward and instructs, "He's not lying to you, the Phoenix clan is your home, go back." And so the story slowly unfolds again, related to that unforeseen disaster. "No one knows why I went out that year, who injured me. The only way to find out the truth is to find my inner core." After Wuyo returns, this man is her eldest brother, Feng Lingzhong. He approaches and calls out, "Wuyo." Seeing Lingzhong appear, Wuyo is very happy and plays around, "Eldest brother." But her appearance surprises him a little and he instructs, "Don't mind it, the young prince of the Peacock clan used to like you a lot, but he was scared by you. So he hasn't adapted to the you of now." This makes her a little confused by the words he said. "Eldest brother, am I not good now?" Seeing this, Lingzhong is startled and realizes that she has completely changed. He unconsciously remembers the image of the Wuyo of the past. Thinking of this, he gently approaches and pats her head. "No matter when, little sister is the best." Hearing this, Wuyo happily picks up the teapot and drinks it all up. "Thank you, eldest brother, I'll finish this one." Lingzhong stands with his hands on his hips and nods. No matter when, little sister's alcohol tolerance is the best. While the two are still chatting, an announcement quickly rings out from outside. Envoys from the Dragon Clan have arrived. Lingzhong immediately becomes serious. Wuyo seems surprised when she hears the next sentence reported by the servant, the third prince of the Dragon Clan, congratulating the fifth princess of the Phoenix clan on her 800th birthday. She still doesn't understand what's happening when suddenly a pair of hands gently rest on her shoulders. It turns out that the person standing behind her signaling is her third brother, Feng Firen. He keeps waving his hands and calling out to her, "Little Wuyo, follow me." Lingzhong, who is right next to her, gently raises his wine glass and instructs, "You don't need to worry, leave it to me to handle here. You and little fourth go out and get some air." Wuyo happily nods in understanding. "Thank you, eldest brother." And so Firen quickly runs out of the palace with Wuyo. This time, he directly climbs up a tall tree, making her very curious. fourth brother, what are you doing? He keeps searching for something on the tall tree. Feigned's face becomes very excited. That old Taoist from the La Di Palace is here. Said he wanted to give you a gift. Asked me to invite you out. After speaking, he jumps straight down in front of her. I want to give you a gift first, not let him surpass me. This time, his face becomes very expectant as he takes out the gift and talks. What do you think of this rubbish toy that I found in the mortal world? Do you like it? This ugly thing also makes Wuyo become dazed. But in the next second, she immediately hugs this thing tightly and nods to confirm, I like it. Hearing that his younger sister likes this thing so much, Feigned breathes a sigh of relief. I knew you would like these small, worthless, and very ugly things. Keep it carefully, don't let your eldest brothers see it, otherwise they will laugh at my aesthetic taste. Wuyo nods like a good child, I know, thank you, fourth brother. The two are still chatting happily when Lingshu quickly steps forward and greets, Your Highness, fifth princess. Seeing the old Taoist appear causes the beauties around to whisper to each other, look, it's the old Lingshu Taoist from the Dila Palace. Lingshu Taoist treats the fifth princess so well. He personally came to congratulate the fifth princess on her birthday. Taking the gift from Lingshu's hand, Wuyo smiles and accepts it, then bows with Feigned, greetings, Lingshu Taoist. The old Taoist nods in understanding, no need to be so polite. Quickly see if you like the old Taoist's gift or not. Speaking of this, Wuyo's eyes are full of anticipation as she quickly takes out the cloth covering, along with which a white snake slowly opens its eyes and looks at the two of them. Which makes Feigned very confused, why is it a snake? Wuyo, however, is not afraid at all, and gently teases this small snake in her hand, cold and slippery, without fur, really cute. The white snake lying quietly in this basket is the snake clan's Feigned. As soon as he looks up and sees Wuyo, he becomes very surprised, a gift? I just wanted to take a nap on the way to Mount Shu to find my nemesis, but after waking up, I became a gift? As soon as he sees the words Shu Heavenly Palace right in front of him, he immediately becomes shocked. Wait, this is Shu Divine Palace, the territory of the Phoenix clan's royal family. This little girl is the one being celebrated, then isn't she Feng Wuyo, the princess of the Phoenix clan? Thinking of this makes Feichi's eyes become full of hatred. He quickly sticks out his tongue, I've been searching high and low for you, but I found you without any effort. 2 years ago, after you destroyed my cultivation, you disappeared. This time, I finally found you. Remembering something important, Wuyo quickly holds the small snake and approaches Lingshu, asking, Lingshu Taoist, can I keep it? The old Taoist nods in confirmation. Of course you can. This also makes Feichi inside the basket startled and confused, keep what? This time, Feigned feels very uncomfortable. He steps forward and questions, Lingshu Taoist, forgive my impudence, the snake clan is sinister and cunning, with a bad temper. Why did you give it to Wuyo? Hearing this, Lingshu is not angry at all. He only gently replies, this is a heavenly secret cannot be revealed. Seeing that he has such a strange reaction also makes Wuyo's eyes sparkle as if she's about to cry, fourth brother. This also makes him very embarrassed, While the two are still hesitant and don't know what to do, Lingzhong suddenly steps forward and comments, if Wuyo likes it, then keep it. This makes Wuyo very happy and she turns her head and calls out loudly, eldest brother. Lingzhong's eyes become very cold as he glances at the snake in the basket. A snake that cannot transform into a human form is not enough to pose a threat to Wuyo. If it dares to cause trouble, just kill it. Hearing this, Wuyo becomes very happy with bright and sparkling eyes, thank you, eldest brother. But this also makes Feichi become scared, how arrogant. Time quickly flashes to the late night in Wuyo's room, at this time the moon has risen high. On her small bed, she is still fast asleep, seemingly unaware of what is happening. Seeing her sleeping so soundly, Feichi seizes the opportunity. He slowly sits up and looks at her as if he wants to devour her alive. I've finally waited for this opportunity. Feng Wuyo, tonight is your death day. He quickly approaches her even closer so that he can end her life. Suddenly, Wuyo's body, which is sleeping, shines brightly in a strange way. Recognizing that this light comes from her necklace, Feichi is surprised to the point of disbelief, a protective magic artifact. The necklace immediately releases a stream of power that sends the snake flying and falling to the ground below. From inside the protective magic artifact, a golden aura appears, and this time a man with white hair quickly appears. Feichi's appearance must be said to be as beautiful as a flower, with the ceiling as the limit of beauty. He is transformed into a human form, but he is held tightly by the golden aura in the magic artifact. In just a few seconds, Feichi has been tied up and sits quietly in a corner. Thinking of all that he has had to endure makes him very angry and he shouts loudly, "Feng Wuyo, damn you. 2 years ago, you destroyed my cultivation, making me unable to ascend. And today you want to kill me again?" Wuyo is still sound asleep, she even rolls over and talks in her sleep. This makes him a little speechless and confused. This little girl hasn't woken up? With no other choice, Feichi sits there and struggles desperately. Wuyo glances at him. In her head she has her own plans. Looking at it this way, what I'm raising isn't a pet, but a nemesis. Thinking of this makes her feel that things are gradually becoming more interesting. However, the enemy probably knows better than others what happened to me that year. After returning to the Phoenix clan, I've always been secretly looking for clues, but there hasn't been a breakthrough. Thinking of this, she laughs and plans, this snake came just in time, tracing his origins, I can definitely find out the truth. With a crack, the protective ring shattered into small pieces. I'll first untie this fairy binding rope for you, no need to thank me, little snaky. On the other side, seeing that everything has been automatically untied makes Feichi a little happy, he even thinks that he untied it himself and happily mocks. Success. A puny fairy binding rope. In the next second, because he no longer has the strength, he can only shrink back into his snake form, not enough magic power to maintain human form. After becoming a small snake like before, even his body trembles with fatigue. Approaching the bed where Wuyo is sleeping soundly, he focuses on secretly observing carefully. This time he continues to approach her even closer. Luckily she hasn't woken up, I still have a chance. As Feichi curls up and prepares to go back to sleep, her hands approach, making him startled. The quickest thing he can do makes him sweat cold all over. I'm doomed. Contrary to his thoughts, Wuyo appears very worried. Little snaky, are you injured? Could it be that I accidentally knocked you off the bed last night? His eyes immediately light up, he even mocks her with snake language, stupid phoenix. Wuyo gets out of bed and immediately orders her servant, Shichue, little snaky is injured, take him to see the physician. She nods and approaches Feichi, who is lying there quietly. Yes, fifth princess. Shichue immediately takes him out according to her instructions. Remembering something, she continues to go out the door and calls out, Shanshio. A small bird quickly flies straight towards her. This bird, while eating sunflower seeds, asks in surprise, Master called Shanshio here because of that snake, right? Wuyo laughs and gently speaks her thoughts to it. I originally thought he was just an ordinary little snake, who could be like you, helping me gather information everywhere. I didn't expect him to come to take revenge on me. This also makes Shanshio startled and surprised to the point of disbelief. Master is so cute, how could she have a feud with it? She smiles, somewhat planning, and says very incomprehensible words, Shanshio, there are many disguises of cuteness in this world. Hearing her say that, it also points at her and flatters, that's right, just like Master. Remembering something important, Wuyo points at Shanshio and instructs, in short, from now on, you quietly pay attention to him, and report to me in time if you discover anything unusual. It immediately obediently follows her instructions, no problem. Time passes, the scene shifts to the grand hall inside the palace. Delicacies and nutritious foods are arranged on the table. Wuyo feeds a large piece of meat into Feichi's mouth to test the taste of the food. She is still focusing on feeding the little snake when suddenly a voice rings out from behind, little sister. Her second brother, Feng Ku, who is sitting in a chair, is quickly pushed over by her third brother, Feng Qi. Seeing the two appear makes Wuyo very happy, third brother, second brother. Feng Qi seems very interested in this little snake in front of him, he quickly runs over to tease it, we just saw your snake getting medicine applied at the physician's place. But he didn't greet us. This also makes Feichi, who is listening, feel speechless, I'm afraid that opening my mouth will scare people to death. This time, Feng Ku quickly walks over, smiles, and hands Wuyo a bottle of medicine, instructing, snakes that haven't become spirits open their spiritual energy quite late. It's normal if they don't know how to speak. Little sister, this is for you. Realizing that there is something strange about this bottle of medicine makes Wuyo a little curious, second brother, what is this? Feichi recognizes this bottle of medicine in her hand. Good stuff. Feng Qi also immediately stands up, throws away the toy in his hand, and explains, second brother's eyes can't be cured, so over the years, we have been seeking medicine everywhere and have accumulated a lot of spiritual pills and elixirs. These are all saved for you. Hearing this, she feels a little touched and looks at the second brother in front of her. Second brother, if you do good, you will meet with good fortune, and you will naturally have the opportunity to restore your eyes. Seeing this, Fengke sadly pats her head. Good little sister, it's second brother who is sorry to you. He also walks over and sadly tells Wuyo a story. We have been outside all the time, and 2 years ago, when you encountered an accident, we couldn't return in time, making you suffer. Feichi, after listening, is a little angry. I'm the one who suffered. She only gently turns her head and touches Feichi's nose. Feeling that something is wrong, she turns her head to look behind her with a puzzled expression. Even Feichi sticks his head out to see what's happening. This time, Feiren stands there looking with an unfriendly gaze. Seeing that he has suddenly appeared also makes Feichi raise his guard and swallow. Starting from yesterday, this person has had a great hostility towards me. I have to be careful of him. He feels quite curious, so he immediately reaches out towards Wuyo. She quickly avoids him. Fourth brother, you. His face has something thoughtful and then he speaks his thoughts. Your protective charm is broken, and this snake is just injured. Feiren's face has something thoughtful and he asks everyone, don't you feel that this is very suspicious? Feichi is also startled and realizes something. That's right. He unconsciously remembers the scene when Wuyo was sleeping soundly last night. Now my magic power is not enough to break her protective charm, and last night only she and I were there. Could it be that she did it herself? Her face has some resentment and she hugs Feichi and replies to Feiren, fourth brother, he is just a snake who hasn't become a spirit. She continues to transform into a child and chats with her brothers. He doesn't have magic power, how could he break my protective charm, right, silly snake? Hearing her say that, Feiren doesn't know what to say, while Fengchi and Fengke feel that as long as little sister is happy. She doesn't forget to hold the little snake in her hand and smile as she chats with Feiren. Maybe I accidentally broke the pendant, fourth brother, do you have a way to fix it? Holding the protective stone in his hand, he helplessly shakes his head and replies, it's just a low-level protective charm, another day fourth brother will make you a better one. Hearing this, Wuyo immediately excitedly holds Feichi forward. Silly snake also needs a protective charm. In her head, she already has her own plans. The best is the kind of protective charm that can listen to its owner and be controlled by its owner. Hearing this, he gently speaks up and explains to her, little Wuyo, he is just a snake, do you know how precious the protective charms of the Phoenix clan are? Feichi glares at these people and angrily spits, who cares? A drop of water falls below his head, making him startled and realizing that something is wrong. As soon as he looks up, he sees Wuyo constantly shedding tears and crying, fourth brother, my spiritual power is exhausted, I can't help everyone with anything. I'm only slightly good at taking care of the spiritual pets of this palace, not to the point of being like a useless person, unable to do anything. Seeing this, Feiren is startled and doesn't know how to react. He quickly waves his hands wildly and flusteredly announces, little Wuyo, fourth brother didn't mean that. Fengchi also quickly walks over to comfort Wuyo, if fourth brother doesn't make it for you, third brother will help you make it. Fengke gently instructs her. Little sister doesn't need to be sad, you being healthy is the greatest help to us. Hearing this, she is finally satisfied and raises her head to wipe away her tears. Having elder brothers is so good. Seeing her being so childish, these 3 older brothers can only sigh gently. Before leaving, Feiren doesn't forget to instruct her carefully, fourth brother is leaving, I'm going to refine a protective charm for you. She doesn't forget to run after him and beg, refine too. He nods in confirmation, okay, one for the owner and one for the pet, the kind that can sense each other. The more Feichi thinks about it, the more confused he becomes. He wonders, this Feng Wuyo actually shed tears for asking for a protective charm for her snake pet. There must be a trap in this, how could she be so simple? Time gradually shifts to the evening. Wuyo walks inside the palace while quickly asking Feichi, during the time I went to feed the other spiritual pets, how was little Snakey? Shancho quickly reports everything with a very worried voice, he hasn't moved all afternoon, I don't know if it's because the injury is more severe and he can't move. Hearing this, Wuyo quickly returns to her room, the place is shrouded in silence. Feichi is still sitting quietly under the bed looking at her with angry eyes, but she doesn't care much, little Snakey. Seeing Feichi appear makes her feel even more worried and she rushes over, little Snakey. Holding him in her hand, her face has become very worried, why is your breathing so weak? Feichi has transformed into a weak and pitiful little snake. Seeing this, she gently uses her power to heal him, she doesn't forget to instruct, don't be afraid, just a little injury, you'll be fine soon. Feichi is still just quietly looking at the bag right next to Wuyo. In his head he has his own plans. Throughout the Shua Divine Palace there are precious medicinal herbs. The Phoenix clan's elixirs will definitely be very helpful in increasing my cultivation. Only by deliberately making the injury more severe will there be a chance to use these elixirs. He is still thinking when Wuyo sadly sighs, not knowing what to do. Why is it like this? Logically speaking, the physician has already treated you once, your injury shouldn't be this serious. This also makes him a little helpless, stupid Phoenix. He immediately signals by bumping into the bag of medicinal herbs on Wuyo's body. She picks up the bag of medicinal herbs and looks in surprise at the little snake in front of her. You want to say that these elixirs might be effective? He quickly nods in agreement with a fast speed. After understanding Feichi's intention, Wuyo reveals an evil smile, acting for half a day, so you wanted to trick me out of elixirs. Finally, she pulls out 3 elixirs and puts them in front of him. You're the one who wanted to eat them. Remembering something important, she also pretends to be foolish and announces to him, but my spiritual power is weak, and I can't distinguish all the elixirs. And I don't know if these elixirs will have an effect on your injury. Immediately afterwards, she pretends to be stupid and slaps her forehead and sighs, oh no. Feichi, who just swallowed a few elixirs, is immediately startled and shocked. She hurriedly pulls out the bag that she had been holding these elixirs in and helplessly explains, I just seem to have accidentally given you poison. Feichi is shocked by the scene to the point of being speechless. Feichi tries to vomit out everything he just ate while crying. Feng Wuyo is indeed not as simple as her appearance. He doesn't even forget to run to another direction and shout, detoxify me, give me detoxification. Fortunately, Wuyo manages to grab his tail in time. She gently holds the bag of medicine and shakes it back and forth, proposing, there must be an antidote in here, why don't we try everything? Feichi is completely helpless with his current life. A pet snake's life is also a life. The next elixir has turned him into his feminine self, which is the youthful beauty pill. Wuyo suppresses herself to not laugh out loud. After using the invisibility pill, Feichi completely disappeared, and she couldn't find his figure anywhere. This vocal pill also turned Feichi into a singer, constantly dancing. After a while, Feichi was completely exhausted and collapsed. I hate all birds with feathers. This time, Wuyo poked his head and teased, oh no, your poison seems to be getting worse, a poisonous pimple has grown on the top of your head, what should I do? These words made Feichi directly scared. Unable to bear it anymore, he was about to turn his head and curse angrily. Hearing this, Wuyo laughed in surprise and approached, so. Her face became extremely excited as she saw things were gradually becoming more interesting. You can talk? Feichi didn't know what to say in this situation. He immediately pretended to be a snake. But in Feichi's head, he became extremely desperate. It's over, I've been exposed. He was still trying to fake snake sounds in the most familiar way. Wuyo gently picked Feichi up. What's wrong, you can't talk anymore? This made him quickly nod in agreement. She tried to hide the excited smile on her face. Or should I help you? Hearing this, Feichi felt that something was not quite right. Before Feichi could agree, she excitedly raised her hand forward and shouted, my second brother said that you haven't opened your spiritual wisdom yet, so you can't talk. As long as I help you give birth to a spiritual root, you will definitely be able to talk, cultivate, and even attain enlightenment and ascend. After saying this, she pretended to be innocent and didn't know anything, and continued to look at Feichi, but, I'm also using this magic for the first time. If you feel uncomfortable, just say it out loud. A golden aura surrounded Feichi's body, making him helplessly endure. Speaking up means admitting that I lied to Feng Wuyo, not speaking up means being tortured by her. The Phoenix is really vicious. On the other side, Wuyo looked coldly at Feichi, who was still trying to endure. Her eyes had something strange. Unfortunately, my magic power is also limited. He can endure it, I can't use strong measures, I can only use intelligence. After a period of time of confrontation between the two sides, Wuyo snapped her fingers as a signal, stop. When Feichi fell down, she quickly ran over to support him. Little snaky, can you talk now? Now his breath was gradually becoming weak. Feichi thought helplessly with hatred, I hate the Phoenix. She gently placed him on the table below and sighed, admitting her mistake, maybe my magic is not profound enough, I can't help you give birth to a spiritual root. Maybe, the voice just now was me mishearing. Suddenly, Feichi turned his head and cried with tears streaming down his face, making her a little shocked and surprised. He went back and forth into her hand, making her a little confused. You're saying the wound hurts? Feichi was extremely helpless and didn't know how to react. Thanks to you, I'm about to die of pain. Wuyo suddenly withdrew her hand, causing Feichi to rub and rush down below. Just like that, he fell heavily from above to the ground below before her surprised eyes. She hurriedly picked up Feichi and patted him continuously. It's all my fault for not being good. Remembering something important, Wuyo immediately told Feichi everything. I remember in the secret realm of Mount Shu there is a 1,000-year-old divine herb called the spiritual heartgrass. Her face had something thoughtful and she quickly made a decision. It can cure all diseases. I'll go find it for you now. Suddenly, Shanqiu flew in at this time and quickly gave Wuyo a signal. Master, your magic power is weak. That secret realm is guarded by three three-headed divine phoenixes. It's extremely dangerous, you can't go. But Wuyo used the method of soft tactics and glanced at Feichi. It's me who made little Snakey become like this. For him, I have to go. These words also made Feichi feel extremely surprised. Is she really doing it? Just like that, Feichi quickly left the room, and Shanqiu followed and immediately called out, Master, I'm going too. In Feichi's head at this time, he had his own thoughts. It is said that in the secret realm of Mount Shu there are countless divine herbs, and at the same time it is extremely dangerous. Feng Wuyo's magic power is not high. Even if I kill her, the people of Mount Shu may not be able to find out it was me. Thinking of this, he quickly crawled closer to the medicine bag placed on the table and made a decision. Let me recover a little magic power first and then think about it. After going outside, Wuyo coldly instructed her pet, Shanqiu, you hide first, without my order, don't come out. This also made Shanqiu feel extremely worried. Master, is this too dangerous? She laughed and glanced at the spiritual herb in front of her, instructing, if you don't enter the tiger's den, how can you catch the tiger cub? The sound of rustling came from behind. Wuyo smiled and signaled to Shanqiu, he's here. At this time, behind her, as she expected, Feichi had come. His face had something puzzled. Why is she the only one? Where is that fat bird? Seeing that she was still constantly expending strength made Feichi, who was hiding on the side, quickly think, never mind, a good opportunity like this cannot be missed. And so Wuyo was still struggling to get the spiritual herb, while Feichi had grown large and was preparing to attack her. Realizing that the opportunity was coming, Wuyo glanced behind her. Now is the time. Her playful appearance quickly caused her to be in danger and constantly scream. Fortunately, she managed to grab Feichi's two teeth tightly, which made her very happy. Little Snakey, you can change in size? Did you see that I was in danger so you came to save me? And so everything was just like that. Both of them were trapped. Feichi was now extremely painful. Save you my ass, I wanted to kill you. Immediately afterwards, he had exhausted all his energy and could only shrink back. Wuyo saw this and called out worriedly, Little Snakey, be careful. Large stones from above continuously fell and hit Feichi continuously. Seeing that the situation was not good, Wuyo could only grit her teeth and make a decision. She gently reached out her hand towards him, causing him to feel something surprised. Wuyo gently comforted Feichi's worried mood. Don't be afraid, I will protect you. He saw this and was shocked and surprised. Feng Wuyo. And just like that, the two, one person and one snake, quickly fell heavily to the ground below. Wuyo immediately lost consciousness and Feichi hurriedly crawled out. He quickly called out, Feng Wuyo, Feng Wuyo. Unable to sit still any longer, he quickly returned to his original form. Looking at his power gradually recovering, the 144's face had something thoughtful. The Phoenix clan's elixirs are indeed worthy of their reputation. Just a few are enough for me to maintain human form. This time, Feichi slowly reached out towards Wuyo and decided, now is the perfect opportunity for me to take revenge. As he was preparing to act, suddenly Wuyo muttered very incomprehensible words, silly snake, be careful. These words also made him stop. His face became extremely confused and he couldn't believe this was happening. Feng Wuyo. But Feichi still couldn't trust Wuyo. Feichi's hand slowly reached forward. You're about to die and you're still acting? Thinking back to everything she did made him hate her to the bone. If you were really kind, why did you destroy my cultivation when I was about to ascend? Thinking of this, Feichi clenched his teeth and couldn't bear it anymore. This time he didn't attack, but he only had to sweep her hair aside. Unconsciously, Feichi remembered the conversation of the beauties at that time. Our snake clan women are famous for being seductive. If anyone dares to touch my face, I will fight them to the death. Thinking of this, Feichi gently used his power to recover Wuyo. He secretly had his own thoughts. I don't want to owe the favor of my nemesis. I'm only healing your face to keep your body intact. And just like that, he completely manipulated Wuyo. Conveniently, let me explore what kind of vicious heart is under this bodhisattva appearance of yours. When the two of them looked into the new space, Wuyo slowly opened her eyes. He questioned, just now when you fell into the trap, why didn't you activate the barrier magic to defend yourself? She, with a head that didn't know anything, only knew how to answer according to her true thoughts. My magic power is too low. The barrier magic can only protect me alone. It can't protect little Snakey. This also made Feichi on the side curious to the point of disbelief. It's just a pet snake. Why do you care so much? What is your purpose? Wuyo, as if hypnotized, explained, little Snakey is different from other spiritual pets. Feichi, hearing this, couldn't hide the curiosity on his face. Different in what way? The image appeared of Wuyo kneeling below the vast hall. He and I are the only two living beings that didn't grow up in Mount Shuo. With him there, I'm not alone. These words also made Feichi feel even more curious. That's right, aren't you a phoenix? Where are your wings? Wuyo became very helpless again, lost them, inner core, wings, memory, all lost. These words made him even more curious and he moved closer to her. Then do you remember the person who killed you? Do you recognize me? But Wuyo's face still became very innocent and she shook her head. I don't remember, and I can't recognize you either, which made him very helpless and stared at her. In his head at this time, he had his own thoughts. Being mind-controlled by my magic so easily, it seems that her spiritual power is really not high. Moreover, she was even injured just now while protecting me. After thinking for a short period of time, Feichi quickly waved his hand and made a decision. Forget it, today I'll spare you for now. Wuyo continued to fall asleep. She slowly fell to the ground below, and Feichi's hands also quickly reached out. He gently supported her very carefully. But Wuyo still didn't know anything and twisted her body and slept very soundly as if nothing had happened. His face had something thoughtful. I shouldn't have reached out to support her. While he was still thinking, suddenly Wuyo muttered incomprehensible words. You bastard, you dare to provoke this fifth princess. These words also made him feel quite shocked. What did you say? Before he could understand what was going on, she had immediately punched him straight in the face. Get out. This punch made him feel very painful. And so Feichi returned to his human form and fell heavily to the ground below. Because of this, she also quickly hit her head back. This time, she immediately woke up and hugged her aching head and wondered in surprise, where am I? Little Snakey, where's the snake? As soon as she turned her head to look at Feichi, he looked at her with resentful eyes, but she still didn't care much. Little Snakey. She immediately went over and kissed the little snake in her hand. It's so good that you're okay. This made him a little embarrassed and hurriedly struggled, while she thoughtfully and slowly recounted the story. 2 years ago, I lost my inner core, and my cultivation and memory were also lost. Along with it, just now after falling into the trap I remembered that in this secret realm there is only one three-headed divine phoenix, who likes to use fake spiritual heart grass to bewitch others. After speaking, she gently reached out her hand and decided, this cave is the illusion magic under the fake spiritual heart grass. We need to use magic to break through it to get out. Wuyo's face was thoughtful and she didn't know what to do, but with my current strength, we can only have one person get out. Feichi, hearing this, laughed cunningly. Your calculations are too good. He was still thinking that he would be trapped here when suddenly she used spiritual power to surround him. Wuyo raised Feichi high into the air and didn't forget to instruct, I'll take you out of the illusion trap, you go back and find eldest brother to save me. Before he could react, she quickly took him out of this place. Go. This scene also opened Feichi's eyes. He couldn't believe that she would dare to do such a thing. What if I don't come back after getting out? After he left, a few drops of blood dripped down from the corner of Wuyo's mouth. She didn't care much and gently wiped it away as if nothing had happened. This also made him not dare to believe his own eyes. He was still wondering and hadn't realized that he was a part of her plan. Feng Wuyo, you trust me that much? After he left, Shanqiu quickly flew over and called out, Master. It gently rushed towards Wuyo, who was lying there quietly, and instructed, don't act anymore, my fifth princess, that silly snake is gone. Hearing this, she slowly opened her eyes and glanced at it and sighed, I'm not acting. Wanting to use my little magic to sustain this illusionary environment requires no small amount of effort. Hearing this made Shanqiu even more angry and it chirped and chirped continuously, scolding, Master, why do you need to do this? We can leave it in the trap. Escape by ourselves, or with your status as the royal family of the Phoenix clan, summon the three-headed divine phoenix, and directly kill it. The more Shancho spoke, the more angry it became and it loudly taught, "But you didn't do that, master, he wants to kill you, why did you spare him? At this time maybe he has already gone down the mountain." Wuyo gently comforted its worried mood and instructed, "He won't go down the mountain, you calm down." This made Shancho a little confused, "Are you sure?" Wuyo's face was very calm and she laughed, speaking her mind, "As long as he stays this time because of me, I guarantee that he won't have the heart to kill me again in the future. And he will help me investigate the truth of that year. A bird doesn't understand the affairs of a phoenix." She didn't forget to sit up and look around and ask it again, "But just now when I woke up, I seemed to see the figure of a man, Fatty Chiao, did you see anyone come in?" Hearing this made Shancho startled. It turned out that it had been hiding behind a rock and sleeping soundly just now. It hurriedly explained, "I didn't see it." The scene shifts to the side of Mount Shuo. Inside an announcement quickly rang out, "Good news, the fifth princess has returned safely." Seeing that Wuyo was still angry made the servants around surprised and discussed together, "Why does the fifth princess look so angry? Wasn't she still normal just now?" The fourth prince saw that the princess was injured, blaming the pet for causing the fifth princess to fall into the trap, wanting to chase it away, so the two siblings argued. But this matter has nothing to do with the snake. Feichi still proudly sat quietly on the side on a tree. Feng Firen dotes on his younger sister so much, he will definitely come to her place later. Feeling something puzzled, he continued to look down at the palace below where Wuyo was still standing. Why hasn't Feng Fourth come to coax her yet? Although he felt a little puzzled, at this time in Feichi's head he had become divided and didn't know what to do. Go see her, don't go see her. Unable to bear his current thoughts, he angrily and frantically roared, "So annoying." With no other choice, Feichi could only turn into the form of a snake and move towards Wuyo's room. "I'm not concerned about her, I'm just not wanting to owe her a favor." When he climbed onto the bed, she had fallen asleep soundly long ago. He didn't know what dream Wuyo had, but her whole body was burning hot, she even had signs of a fever. Seeing that her body temperature was so high also made Feichi feel worried. Why is she so hot? Realizing that the situation was not good, he once again fell into indecision and didn't know what to do. Go call someone or wake her up? Outside Wuyo's room, Firen also stepped forward and hesitated, wondering what to do. I spoke harshly to little Wuyo at noon, I'm really damned. Feeling guilty, he slowly opened the door and looked inside. At this time, Feichi used his body to transform into a natural cooling patch on Wuyo's forehead. Time flashes back to just now. Firen was extremely angry at Wuyo's actions. The snake clan is cold and sinister, it can't protect you, even the most basic warming and companionship of a pet can't be done, what's the point of keeping it? Wuyo also refused to be outdone and loudly retorted to him, "You've never raised a snake, how do you know it won't be able to accompany me?" Remembering what had happened made Firen become thoughtful to the point of being strange. This snake is really different from the snake clan. After a period of time of being a cooling patch, Feichi finally breathed a sigh of relief. The fever has subsided. Seeing Wuyo constantly talking in her sleep made him startled and surprised. Oh no, she's about to wake up, I'm running away. Time quickly flashed to the morning of the next day. In front of Wuyo's room, the servant quickly knocked on the door and reported, "Fifth princess, the fourth prince has come to visit you." After entering inside, Firen quickly handed her 2 talismans. "Sorry, I shouldn't have been upset with you yesterday, this is an apology gift." Receiving the 2 talismans in her hand, her face became happy. 2 protective talismans? Fourth brother, you've allowed little Snakey to stay? He nodded to confirm this. If you like it, then keep it, because in his head he had his own thoughts. It seems that little Wuyo doesn't know that the snake took care of her last night. Hearing that her senior brother had agreed to let her raise a snake, Wuyo laughed happily. I knew fourth brother is the best to me. Immediately afterwards, she quickly turned around and left, leaving Firen standing there. I have to quickly go tell little Snakey, he also has a protective talisman. Seeing this scene made him very thoughtful and didn't know what to do. I put a master-servant contract into the protective talisman. If this snake attacks Wuyo, it will definitely be bitten back. I just hope it will obediently listen, and not disappoint Wuyo. After receiving the 2 talismans in her hand, Wuyo hurriedly put the talisman on Feichi and laughed excitedly. Little Snakey, look, from now on you and I are friends with the same protective talismans. This made him very disdainful. Friends? Who is friends with you? Remembering something important, she didn't forget to smile and announce, don't be embarrassed, you saved me yesterday, this is a reward that you deserve, if you want. I can also help you cultivate, and transform into a human form. Speaking of this, she immediately poked his body and teased, "How is it? The treatment of being my friend is super good, right?" Feichi seemed tired of this scene already. "It's just normal." Time blinked and passed again. At this time it was late at night, the moon gradually rose high. Wuyo held Shanqiu in her hand and quickly instructed, "Shanqiu, you take the portrait of little Snakey to the Snake Clan and check his background. You must be careful." It immediately nodded in agreement. "Understood, master." On the other side, Feichi happily played with the jade pendant in his hand and praised, "Feng Wuyo's personality is quite good." In the blink of an eye, time had passed to several days later. Shanqiu's voice rang out, "Master, there's information." Inside Wuyo's room, Shanqiu calmly reported everything it had investigated. The Snake Clan always uses ferocity to rank their status. Snakes that are both weak and haven't transformed, like little Snakey, are often bullied by other snakes, and have no status. Wanting to find out his exact origin is like finding a needle in a haystack. But speaking of this, Shanqiu quickly pulled out a scroll hidden in its body. "We brought back this." Opening the portrait of a white snake with a fierce expression right in front of her, Wuyo had something puzzled. The portrait of the true form of the Snake Clan leader? It continued to explain everything. 2 years ago, Master lost her inner core. This Snake Clan leader also disappeared 2 years ago. We speculate whether these two things are related. Hearing this, Wuyo thoughtfully calculated everything carefully. Snakes are demon clans, not related to my Phoenix clan, if we insist on talking about a relationship. Images appeared in her head of oppressive dragons always oppressing pitiful little snakes. It is said that snake species once had a common ancestor. Snakes are fond of gossiping about insidious matters. Lazy to cultivate, for millions of years no one has advanced to the divine position. The Snake Clan gradually degenerated into demons, and were driven into the beast pit by the Dragon Clan. The two clans are like water and fire. Thinking of this, Wuyo thought strangely, our two clans have a long-standing feud, but the Phoenix Clan and the ancestors of the Dragon Clan are close. Outsiders will think that the Phoenix Clan stands on the side of the Dragon Clan. I also have a marriage agreement with the Dragon Clan. It's hard to say exactly whether I and the Snake Clan leader have a conflict or not. This made Shanqiu realize an important issue. Then we must investigate his whereabouts even more. She also nodded in agreement. Yes, the family is very suspicious and excludes other species. You must be careful. The two were still chatting inside the room, making Feichi on the outside very curious. What are Feng Wuyo and that fat bird of hers whispering about? Realizing that the painting Shanqiu had just brought was making him even more confused. Isn't that the portrait of my true form from before? How does she have it? While he was still thinking, suddenly the servant quickly ran over to report, "Fifth princess, the third prince of the Dragon Clan has arrived. The first prince has invited you over there." This made him have his own thoughts in his head. Over the years the Dragon Clan can't wait to make all the snakes in the world disappear. I should hide first. Hearing this, Wuyo quickly signaled to the servant, "I know, you take little Snakey to go with me." She immediately glanced at Feichi standing right next to her. "Little Snakey is at the door." Her words also made Feichi instantly turn to stone. "The person coming is from the Dragon Clan. Feng Wuyo is bringing me along." Is she crazy or did I hear wrong? The scene shifts to the Great Hall where everyone is present. The man is holding a fan and waving it. He is known as the third prince of the Dragon Clan, Han Qing. This time he glanced at Wuyo with infatuated eyes. "It's been 2 years, how is the fifth princess doing?" Hearing him say that, she gently stroked the little snake in her hand. "Thank you for your concern, Your Highness. I and the 4 KK protectors and the snake pet are here, so I'm recovering very well." Seeing his enemy right in front of him, Feichi immediately showed a hostile look. This scene was also quickly noticed by Han Qing. He felt something strange. Above the banquet table at this time, many delicacies had been arranged before them. Han Qing continued to speak. "I and the fifth princess have had a marriage agreement for many years. The two clans are as close as one family." Looking at the snake that was still inside her arms This made Feichi a little angry. He stared at Han Qing in front. The Dragon Clan is still as arrogant and shameless as ever. Wuyo still calmly and gently stroked Feichi's head. "Originally I wanted to raise a dragon, but I couldn't catch one." Her face was somewhat innocent as she teased, "Does the third prince have a way?" This made him puzzled and looked up at her. Why does Feng Wuyo seem to dislike the Dragon Clan so much? Isn't he her fiancé? These words also made Han Qing freeze on the spot. He was confused and didn't know how to answer. What does she want? Catch a dragon, as a pet? Did she hurt her brain from being injured 2 years ago? After hearing this, he forced a smile and replied, "The fifth princess is joking. The dragon clan has never had servants or pets." Hearing this, unable to bear these contemptuous words, Lingzhong quickly interjected, "Little sister's spiritual pets are all friends of our Phoenix clan, not servants." He heard this and laughed, explaining, "I didn't mean that, I just feel that the Phoenix clan really has a broad mind." Fengku on the side also added, "If the Phoenix clan didn't have a broad mind, I'm afraid someone would have provoked us to death." Feng Qi calmly replied while putting food into his bowl. "On the way back, second brother and I heard a lot of rumors, saying that the Phoenix clan relied on the marriage agreement to cling to the Dragon clan in order to have the prosperity it has today. But in fact the Dragon clan basically looks down on the Phoenix clan. Now that fifth sister is injured, the third prince will definitely come to cancel the marriage." This time, Lingzhong was strangely calm. "The third prince is here to cancel the marriage?" Han Qing, hearing this, immediately turned his head and explained, "Of course not." Hearing him say such certain words, Wuya was a little disappointed. "I was hoping he would come to cancel the marriage, too bad." In her head she had her own calculations about this person from the Dragon clan, while Feiqi on the side looked puzzled. Why is Feng Wuyo so regretful after hearing that the Dragon clan won't cancel the marriage? "It's completely different from what I learned before." Suddenly a voice rang out, "Feng Wuyo definitely knows that the Dragon clan is wary of the Snake clan ascending. Deliberately at the last moment before you two passed the tribulation, you two lost all your cultivation." This mysterious person continued to speak what he was thinking, in order to please her Dragon clan fiancé. While he was still immersed in his own thoughts, the voice at the dinner table spoke again, "Not canceling the marriage, then that means they're urging marriage." This also made him come back to his senses. Han Qing smiled and told the original purpose of his coming here. "Actually, after I heard about the fifth princess, I started to search all over the 4 seas for medicinal herbs. And went into closed-door cultivation to refine elixirs. I just came out this morning, so I hurried over. If there's anything that's not well-rounded with the etiquette, I hope the fifth princess will forgive me." Wuyo had an innocent face but was actually retorting his words. "The third prince is kind, but I don't know what kind of elixir needs to be refined for 2 years. He heard this and proudly laughed as he announced, "The marrow cleansing and returning elixir." Hearing this, Firen laughed in surprise and said something into the conversation. "It is said that this elixir can save the dead and repair the inner core, but it has only appeared in books. And the third prince has refined it." This also made Feng Qi on the side quickly judge, "Something that has only appeared in books, how does the third prince know he has refined it?" Han Qing then proudly announced to everyone inside the Phoenix clan, "I was worried about the fifth princess's body, so after refining the elixir I hurried over to share the good news. Why don't I go back and get the elixir now so everyone can analyze it together?" Wuyo had been waiting for this sentence for a long time. She hurriedly nodded in agreement. "Please trouble you then." She was still happy when suddenly Lingzhong quickly spoke to remind her, "Wuyo, eldest brother still supports your original idea." His words also made the brothers around him become very curious. "What idea?" He continued to say everything at that time. 2 years ago, Wuyo wanted to find Han Qing to cancel the marriage, and I didn't stop her." Hearing these words made Feiqi on the side also surprised to the point of disbelief. Cancel the marriage? This made him realize an important thing. It seems that the Phoenix clan is not on good terms with the Dragon clan as the rumors say. Unconsciously, he remembered Wuyo's actions at that time. Then what is the motive for Feng Wuyo to rather fall into a half-dead situation than to kill me? He was still immersed in his own thoughts when suddenly Wuyo pretended to be innocent and didn't know anything. "I don't remember the past, the current me and His Highness Han Qing are not close." Hearing this, after a period of silence and thought, Fengku also added his opinion to everyone. "If he has refined such a good elixir, and is showing his importance to my sister, why didn't he bring the elixir here? He is clearly testing our attitude, seeing if the dish is worth picking up. We can't marry into this family, why don't we choose a marriage partner for fifth sister? Again? I think the young prince of the Peacock clan is quite concerned about fifth sister." Right next to him, suddenly Firen spoke his thoughts. "Actually, I feel that His Highness Han Qing isn't too bad." But these words quickly caused the 3 older brothers of the Phoenix clan to fall into a fierce argument. Clearly the grandson of Old Lord is better than Han Qing. But he has become a monk. There are often disputes in his family. Old Third, rejecting sibling love, starting from me and my brother, I insist on casting a vote for the Peacock young prince. Childhood sweethearts, how good. Unable to argue anymore, all three quickly started punching each other, and even many items fell from their bodies. Wuyo didn't care much and smiled as she chatted with Feichi. This is good, it can strengthen your bones and help you transform into a human form sooner. Picking up the precious elixir from her brothers, she hurriedly stuffed it straight into Feichi's mouth. The elixirs that my brothers carry are all good elixirs. You eat a little more, and increase your magic power. Her actions this time made Feichi extremely embarrassed. I didn't expect Feng Wuyo to be so greedy. Time quickly passed, the scene shifted to the side of the Dragon Palace. This woman is Bolyu, belonging to the Snake Clan. She quickly approached Han Qing and asked, has the third prince met the fifth princess? He smiled and gently looked at the elixir in his hand. I met her, but she's not like before, she looks weak and sickly, and she's spoiled by her older brothers to the point of being unruly. And she even wants to raise. Before he could finish his sentence, this time Bolyu curiously approached. Raise what? He laughed and shook his head. Nothing. Remembering something, she held a glass of wine and brought it over. The fifth princess's status is honorable, even if she's unruly, she has her older brothers to spoil her. When she becomes your highness's wife, your highness can teach her later. Han Qing heard this and turned his face full of intention to look at Bolyu. If I didn't get her, I could get the help of the Phoenix clan, so I could smoothly step into the position of successor. I would have wanted to cancel this agreement long ago. I can only bear it, and temporarily pretend to be a maid to follow by my side. Bolyu also understood this very well. She quickly leaned herself towards Han Qing. I only hope that after your highness gets married, you don't forget me. He laughed and gently comforted. I won't, Feng Wuyo is only my wife in name, you are my real woman. The scene shifted to Wuyo's room. Feichi sat quietly and was still focusing on cultivating. I ate too many nutritious elixirs during the day, I have to convert a little. Sensing that there was something strange outside the door, he quickly turned his head to react. Who? The mysterious man immediately appeared in this place. It's me. Seeing his close subordinate come over, Feichi looked puzzled. Why did you come here? This person quickly reported everything. If I didn't come I wouldn't know you were being a pet for your enemy. Don't forget who made you unable to ascend, and your cultivation was damaged to the point where your clan members don't even recognize you. Hearing these words, he immediately remembered the image of Lingxiu at that time. Feichi frowned slightly and recounted everything. On the way I was going to Mount Shuo I was picked up by Lingxiu, the old Taoist of Daila Palace, and he sent me to be Feng Wuyo's pet. Hearing this person seemed quite uncomfortable with the words he had just recounted. Then you're a pet, and you're next to her every day, why didn't you take action sooner? Feichi heard this and helplessly didn't know how to explain. Because. In his head he had his own thoughts. The truth of that year is still unclear. How can you ask me to attack Feng Wu? While he was still not knowing what to do next, the mysterious person loudly reminded, I heard that Feng Wuyo's fiancé is urging her to marry. If you keep delaying, waiting for her to marry into the Dragon Clan, it will be even harder to attack. Although he didn't want to, he could only nod in understanding. I know. Before leaving, this strange person didn't forget to give Feichi a vial of poison. He quickly instructed, this vial of poison is colorless and tasteless, you only need to drop a drop into Feng Wuyo's food, enough to take her life. In 3 days, if you still can't find an opportunity to attack, for your safety, I will come to pick you up and leave Mount Shuo. Hearing this, Feichi's face immediately revealed a serious expression. He took this vial of poison in his hand. Okay, although in his head he had his own plans. I'll just agree first, whether or not I attack, I'll wait until I find out the truth. Remembering something important, he asked his subordinate, was Feng Wuyo of 2 years ago powerful? Hearing this, the mysterious person laughed, explaining. At the beginning she only had 800 years of cultivation, a little weaker than you at that time. This made him even more puzzled and questioned, then how could she kill me? Hearing this, the mysterious person immediately became silent and didn't answer. After thinking for a short period of time, he continued to recount everything. At that time you were resisting the heavenly tribulation and had damaged your vitality. You were only one last step away from ascending and transforming into a dragon. Feng Wuyo suddenly rushed in, and with one palm struck you down from a height of 10,000 miles. And your newly formed dragon bones were shattered from the fall. Hearing this, the more he thought about it, the more he felt that something was not right. If that's the case, then who injured Feng Wuyo afterwards? This person laughed and recounted everything. After I rescued you, I didn't see her again. Outside they all said that it was because Feng Wuyo was arrogant and domineering, and had too many enemies, so others took the opportunity to assassinate her. This also made Feiqi feel extremely doubtful. He quickly remembered her innocent appearance at that time, arrogant and domineering, with many enemies. Feng Wuyo is someone that even other alien demons like me want to raise as a pet. Seeing him thinking like this made him a little curious. Are you asking these things because the Phoenix clan has investigated something already? He quickly shook his head to refuse. I just asked casually. The mysterious person quickly approached and gently patted Feiqi's head. Actually, for demons like us, cultivation is greater than everything. When you ascend again, wanting to kill her is as easy as turning your hand, but you wholeheartedly want to take revenge quickly, and you can't even wait for the time to cultivate a human form. I can only risk my life along with you. Hearing this, he quickly turned his head to another direction and ordered, It's not early anymore, you go back and wait for my news. Seeing that he had such a strange reaction, the strange person could only nod in agreement. Okay, then I'll go first. Seeing his close subordinate leave, in Feiqi's head he had his own calculations. It seems that I have to change the direction of investigation for the matter of that year. Amidst the pitch-black surroundings, he continued to go outside to observe. Starting from today, I have to carefully observe Feng Wuyo. I don't believe I can't find out anything. He was still thinking when he saw the scene of Wuyo focusing on practicing. Her eyes were extremely determined as she constantly held the sword and fought. It turned out that the person who was fighting was the mysterious person, Feiqi's subordinate. This scene also made him freeze stiffly. He didn't even dare to believe his stunned eyes. Why are these two fighting? The mysterious person kept running forward. Wuyo also refused to be outdone and kept chasing. He currently didn't know what to do. The truth is still not clear. If that person's identity is discovered, I will also be exposed. I have to think of a way to stop Feng Wuyo. He quickly turned his head and looked around to see if there was something to stop her. Where is he? The sound of fighting is clearly coming from here. Suddenly a voice rang out, Zhu Feiqi. The mysterious person hugged his injured arm and quickly spoke to beg for help. Zhu Feiqi, save me. His eyes became extremely angry. He loudly questioned, You clearly left a long time ago. Why were you discovered by her? What did you do? He sighed helplessly and recounted everything. I was worried that Feng Wuyo was pretending to have amnesia to trick you into trusting her, and wanted to harm you again. So after I left your place I secretly went to her room. Suddenly a voice rang out from outside. Who? His face was a little helpless and he didn't know what to do. The result. After understanding the story, Feiqi didn't know what to do next. He quickly instructed, She's coming, you go first. Don't come to Mount Shuo if there's nothing important. He immediately nodded in agreement. Okay, you have to be careful. Thinking of the next troubles that he would have to face made him frustrated and sigh. It seems that I have to confront Feng Wuyo head-on. He quickly transformed into the appearance of the mysterious person. As soon as Feiqi transformed, the sword was already held up to his neck. Wuyo's voice also rang out, How dare you break into my Mount Shuo at night, Your Excellency? Her voice was somewhat angry at this action, and dare not use your real appearance to meet others? Seeing the mysterious person in front of her still silent made Wuyo even more puzzled. Why is he motionless and not talking? Immediately she pulled the black cloth in front of her off, and at the same time Feiqi's figure appeared. Looking at this unparalleled beauty made her freeze in place for a moment. She even dared not believe her eyes and approached to observe. He is much taller than the person just now. His body is stiff and his eyes are dull. Is he being controlled by someone else's body restriction? Curse? After thinking it over, she used two of her fingers to poke at different acupoints on Feiqi's body. He immediately coughed a few times. Seeing him react made Wuyo seriously question, Who are you? Why are you here? Feiqi calmly placed his hand on his chest and explained, I am a minor immortal official serving under the command of Xuanji Immortal of the Tianhe Cave Mansion. When I was passing by here I was injured by a robber, and he also used a body-fixing curse to tie me here. Fortunately the immortal saved me, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. After hearing these words, Wuyo thought thoughtfully. It is said that the Tianhe Immortal clan makes friends all over the world, whether it is gods or demons. Even the Snake clan, they also have a relationship. If I can hear some information from him, wouldn't that be better than me groping around randomly? Seeing that she was still standing right there looking dazed, Feiqi quickly called out, Immortal. This time she hurriedly reacted, Too rude, I almost killed you with one sword just now. These elixirs are effective for your internal injuries, consider it my apology gift. This also made him feel quite surprised. How generous. He quickly bowed and didn't forget to praise, Thank you Immortal for giving me the elixirs. The Immortal is kind to me. I don't know if the Immortal can leave a token so that I can go back to prepare. A gift and come to the door to thank you, okay? Wuyo hesitated, a token? She pulled out the sword and then looked at the sword in her hand. After losing my inner core, I can only rely on magical weapons to protect myself. I was too rushed to go out tonight and took the heaviest sword. I'll give this minor immortal this as a favor. After thinking it over, Wuyo quickly threw the sword into the air. Here, this one. Feichi immediately received this sword but also had to freeze. It's too heavy. Holding the sword in his hand, his face had become very puzzled. This sword is like autumn mist, with lingering light. It is definitely not an ordinary object. The immortal actually gave it to me so easily? Wuyo was smiling gently as she explained, you were injured in the territory of my Mount Shuo. Holding this sword can ensure that you leave safely. You can return it later. This made Feichi feel very moved. He looked at her with bright and sparkling eyes. The immortal values righteousness. If there is anything I can help with in the future, the immortal can just speak up. Wuyo saw this and could only pretend to be foolish and scratch her head. I really don't dare to hide it. I just happen to have something I want you to help with. He quickly waited for her question. The immortal can just say it. Her face had become very thoughtful as she recounted. I have a good friend who lost something very important a few years ago, and couldn't find the result no matter what. Coincidentally, during the time she lost her thing, someone also disappeared for no reason. This made Feichi very surprised. So the immortal's friend suspects that this person stole her thing? But her face had become very thoughtful. I'm not sure, but my friend said she has a strong premonition. Only by finding this person can she find out the truth. He heard this and excitedly moved closer. Then who does the immortal's friend want to find? Wuyo quickly whispered into his ear, the leader of the snake clan, Zhu Feichi. Hearing his own name made him immediately freeze. He didn't even dare to believe the story just now. His face froze stiff as the person himself heard the story. He hesitated to point at himself and asked again once to make sure. The immortal wants me to find Zhu Feichi? Wuyo still didn't care much. She smiled and quickly recounted her thoughts. The immortal official doesn't need to be troubled. You only need to be by Xuanji Daoist's side and pay attention to whether there is news of him. If there is no result, I won't force you. Hearing this, Wuyo didn't dare to look into her bright and sparkling eyes. He could only nod in agreement. Okay. Before Feichi left this place, Wuyo also didn't forget to happily wave goodbye. Then see you again, minor immortal official. You don't forget our agreement. When you come to be a guest, I'll show you my snake pet. This made him a little speechless and didn't know what to say. The scene shifted to the side of the snake clan at Mount Joey. 3 little snakes were crawling on the tree. The black snake quickly asked, you want to inquire about Bolio? The red snake also added, we don't know much about her. Her cultivation isn't low. She has always disdained talking to low-level clansmen like us. The white snake this time immediately contributed its own opinion. Since the leader failed to ascend, and his whereabouts are unknown, the clansmen all think that he is dead. The elders in the clan are dividing the territory, each on their own side. We don't dare to leave the swamp, or you can go to other places to inquire more. On the other side at the whom I trusted to manage it, if I can find him, I can definitely resolve my doubts. A light breeze blew past. His face had something thoughtful. It's just that. Looking at the door with the roots of trees wrapped around it, Feichi hesitated, wondering what to do. The treasure vault is full of mechanisms. My current cultivation power is afraid that I will go and not return. He quickly grasped the sword that Wuyo had given him. I can't worry so much. Using all his current strength, Wuyo rushed in and smashed the rocks blocking the way. He also used a sword to tear apart the layers of vines and avoid the crocodiles waiting for him. When he got to the shore, the crocodiles also climbed up to attack, forcing him to fight. After a long period of continuous training, he finally went deep inside. Yenue Elder, this leader has returned. You still don't hurry up and welcome me. These words made him extremely angry and he stepped forward from behind Feichi, who dares to impersonate the leader of my snake clan. Without saying many words, he directly put his hands forward and ordered, die. But suddenly Feichi reacted. He said coldly to Yenue Elder, the appearance can be faked, but the memory cannot be faked. Other than me, no one knows you hide your partner's foxtail under your pillow. This also made him freeze in place. He didn't even dare to believe his ears. How do you know? Could it be that you really are? Feichi quickly stood up with a face full of dirt. He hurriedly signaled, this is not the place to talk. Take me inside, I have something to ask you. He heard this and hurriedly nodded in agreement. Okay. After thinking carefully about Feichi's question, Yenue now understood everything. the reason you risked coming here is to ask about Bolyu girl, right? He nodded to confirm and used the tea leaves in his hand to heal the wound. It was Bolyu who saved me under the great thunder tribulation when I was ascending. These words also made him shocked and surprised to the point of disbelief. It was actually her. Seeing this attitude of his, Feichi felt a little puzzled. Why are you so surprised? Could it be that Bolyu had a conflict with me in the past? Yanue with a very serious face recounted everything. At first Bolyu liked you, but you were obsessed with cultivation, and basically didn't let any women into your eyes. Over time, Bolyu was hurt, and said she would definitely make you regret it. Hearing this, he seemed puzzled by this story. If she was hurt, why did she save me? He also had to get into mental contortions with the stories that he came up with, things like love, you have never experienced, when you love someone too deeply. Love is hate, hate is love. These words also made Feichi feel creeped out. Don't say such disgusting words. Remembering something, Yanue also seriously warned Feichi. However, no matter how much a woman loves you, you can't completely trust her words. If something important happened, Feichi asked curiously, do you know the fifth princess of the royal clan? He heard this and thought for a moment before saying what he had learned. This Phoenix clan is said to be a bright and upright divine clan. It's a pity that they're marrying the dragon clan. This fifth princess probably isn't willing either. These words made Feichi feel puzzled. How do you know she's not willing? Yanue saw that he didn't know anything and explained in detail. The marriage agreement between the two clans, Dragon and Phoenix, has been for many years. They should have gotten married a long time ago, but the Phoenix clan keeps delaying with the reason that they can't bear to leave their younger sister. Tell me, can this Phoenix clan be willing? He glanced to one side with an unspeakable expression. Why haven't I ever heard of this before? He then laughed teasingly. You used to focus on cultivating and never asked about women. But after this time your cultivation was destroyed and you started asking about women. Thinking of this made Yanue not dare to believe his eyes. You can't be. Before he could finish his sentence, Feichi glared at him. He remembered something important and reached out his hands to demand an item. Where is the blood jade bracelet? This made him a little startled. What do you want the blood jade bracelet for? You don't want to give the woman who gave you the sword as a thank you gift, do you? Clearly these words hit Feichi's black spot, but he still angrily thought, when I recover my cultivation, the first thing I'll do is spy on this old man. Very quickly the scene shifted to the next day at the Phoenix clan. Outside the Great Hall, the voice of a servant rang out, Fifth Princess, His Highness Han Qing has returned with the elixir. He said that spiritual medicine is hard to come by, so he's giving you half a pill to try first. Just waking up made Wuyo a little drowsy. He came to the door last night but didn't bring the elixir, and returning to get the elixir he only gave half a pill. This person is not sincere. I'm afraid he has some plot against our Phoenix clan. Hearing this made her servant very curious. Fifth Princess, how do you know? But she didn't care much about this question. She continued to ask, has he made a request to my brothers? The servant's face had something thoughtful as she reported, His Highness Han Qing said that he wants the mountain range next to the dragon clan of the Phoenix clan. These words made her even more angry. He brazenly demanded the border defense of our Phoenix clan. He's not bothering to pretend anymore, is he? While she was still angry, Shancho quickly flew in to report, Master, it's not good, little Snakey is gone. This made her shocked and scared. What? Her face was very worried and she hurriedly put on her clothes. The servant also quickly combed her hair. After going outside, Wuyo didn't forget to instruct the servant, Xiaoshui, you go report to my eldest brother, saying that my snake pet is lost. I'm going into the mountains to try to find him. Xiaoshui heard this and had something confused. Then what about the third prince of the dragon clan? She announced, delay him, if he can't wait, he will leave on his own. Shanqiu, while walking with Wuyo, worriedly spoke his thoughts, Master, what do you think? Little Snakey's identity is unknown, could it be that he deliberately disappeared to lure you out? And then set up a trap for you? Before he could finish his sentence, she quickly interrupted, he's still in Mount Shuo. After speaking, she didn't forget to hold up her protective talisman and examine it. Fourth brother has placed a master-servant contract in the protective talismans of me and Little Snakey. I can track the position of Little Snakey's protective talisman. The scene shifted to another side. Feichi sighed a breath of relief as he looked at the protective talisman. Luckily last night before I left I hid the protective talisman in the mountain. He was still feeling lucky when suddenly Wuyo appeared right behind him. Little Snakey, what are you doing? Her face had become extremely angry. On her shoulder was Shanqiu staring at him. Seeing the murderous faces of the two, Feichi was now very scared. Inside the forest, Wuyo's voice quickly rang out, "What is this?" Feichi froze on the spot and didn't know what to say. While he was thinking that everything was about to be discovered, suddenly Wuyo thought of the scene last night when he dug out precious items with his sword all night. Which made her very surprised. "You mean these things are the treasures you dug out all night?" This made her very interested in this action of his. She even had something that didn't dare to believe when she saw him spending so much effort. Since he had already thrown the spear, he had to follow it through. Feichi nodded to confirm. Wuyo's face became very proud. "Little Snaky is so good." Time shifted back to last night. Yanue threw him a bag of things and didn't forget to instruct carefully. The blood jade is made from ancient Manhwa stone, used for good. It can transport the sun and moon, nurturing all things, but if used for evil, it will devour the sun and moon, destroying life. You just keep the blood jade bracelet and use it. The rest are for you to give your friend as a thank you gift. Seeing Feichi working hard all night made Wuyo also feel a little surprised. Little Snaky's protective talisman has never left the area of the Phoenix clan. Although these things are quite a lot, they are not rare items. It seems that it really is a masterpiece that he dug out all night. But basically Wuyo didn't listen to the words of Elder Yanue. He quickly pulled out the blood jade bracelet and brought it to Wuyo. Taking the blood jade bracelet, her face became very surprised. This bracelet. After she wore it inside her hand, Feichi had become strangely obedient. "This bracelet is the only one in the world, she won't see through it, will she?" She gently looked at the bracelet and praised, "Thank you for giving it to me, little Snaky, it's very beautiful." While she was still happily chatting with Feichi, suddenly a hand squeezed him tightly, making him almost suffocate. Fifth Princess. Han Qing's face appeared very uncomfortable. He quickly stepped forward and questioned, "The fifth princess doesn't want the elixir that I gave, but likes the rubbish that this low-level beast dug out from the mountain?" This made Feichi very angry and he struggled. The contemptuous words made Wuyo even more angry. "Little Snaky is not a low-level beast, he is my friend, let him go." This made him even more angry and he squeezed tightly, making Feichi tremble. "The lowly snake species, not worth pitying even if they die." Unable to let him torture him anymore, Wuyo immediately took action. Han Qing. She was preparing to attack when Han Qing's hand tightly grabbed her hand. Clearly his strength was very different from hers. He didn't forget to approach and chat. "I always cherish flowers and value jade and don't act against women. If fifth princess is willing to beg me, maybe I'll have a moment of soft heart and spare him." Feeling the pain coming from his hand, he angrily threw Feichi to one side. "You beast, you actually dare to bite me." Seeing him throw Feichi to the ground made Wuyo even more angry. But she was still more worried about Feichi's safety. "Be careful." Fortunately, at this time a pair of hands gently supported Feichi, making him a little shocked. Lingzhong, along with the great princes, quickly stepped forward and called out, "Wuyo." Seeing the wound on Han Qing's hand, Firen was a little angry. "Naughty snake pet, you actually dare to injure the honored guest of our Phoenix clan." Wuyo hurriedly ran over to explain, "Fourth brother, don't wrong the good snake, it was Han Qing who acted first." Seeing that the situation was not good, Shanqiu hurriedly took off and flew away. "Can't provoke them, flying away, flying away." Han Qing's face had something thoughtful as he sadly recounted to the great princes, "Indeed, I reached out to touch the fifth princess's snake pet first, seeing that the fifth princess likes it so much, I also wanted to try to interact with it, I didn't expect." These blatantly changed words made Wuyo even more disgusted. "You." He became even more shameless and smiled to comfort. "Fifth princess doesn't need to worry, it's just a small wound." Unable to bear this appearance of Han Qing, Wuyo quickly turned around and left. "A schemer, you damned green tea." To resolve the situation between the two sides, Lingzhong also quickly stepped forward. "This matter is indeed little Snaky's fault, Wuyo." This made her even more embarrassed. "Eldest brother." Seeing everyone pointing their guns at him made Feichi feel even more desperate. Birds of a feather flocked together. He used his power to control Feichi to fly into the air and teach him a lesson. "Rude snake pet who offended the honored guest of the Phoenix clan, imprisoned in the dungeon. Handled according to the rules." A series of these actions also made Feichi very embarrassed, but he didn't know what to do. Seeing the scene as he wished made Han Qing even more proud. "If my previous cultivation was still there, even if I had to risk my life, I would have shattered the head of this evil dragon. It seems that it's time to quickly increase my cultivation." Seeing Feichi in danger, Wuyo hurriedly ran forward. Fengke behind her quickly pulled her back. Seeing this, she turned her head with a puzzled expression and didn't dare to believe her eyes. He, on the other hand, was very calm and strangely, he hurriedly comforted, Wuyo, calm down, follow second brother. With no other choice, Wuyo could only follow her older brothers, leaving Lingzhong and Han Qing standing there discussing. After entering the great hall, her face was angry to the point of being unbearable. Second brother, Han Qing definitely has bad intentions. She didn't forget to describe the scene at that time to her two older brothers. He opened his mouth and wanted the border defense of the Phoenix clan, one way in front of others, another way behind. He is really hateful. Hearing this, Fengqi suddenly paid attention to a detail. He quickly approached her. Wuyo, where did you get this bracelet from? Time blinked and passed to several days later. Inside the vast hall, a voice rang out, bring the snake pet into the hall. And so Feiqi returned again, which made the two servants surprised and discussed together. He can see the sunlight of the day, he's really lucky. They also didn't forget to whisper into each other's ears. It's said that it's because the snake pet gave a treasure to the fifth princess, and the fifth princess begged the princes for several days before they spared him. This made Feiqi, who was listening, very disdainful. Treasure. His face had something thoughtful as he asked himself, could it be that the older brothers of Feng Wuyo recognized the blood jade bracelet? Then do they know that this thing is both beneficial and harmful? While he was still immersed in his own thoughts, Wuyo quickly ran towards him. Little Snakey, are you okay? Finally the two were reunited. This time Lingzhong quickly stepped forward to instruct. Little Snakey, you provoked the Dragon clan, damaging the harmony between the two clans. Dragon and Phoenix, I should have executed you, but... His face was very calm as he recounted everything. You, with your love for giving treasures, gave the supreme ancient treasure, the blood jade bracelet. The Phoenix clan can spare your life. If you have the talent for digging treasures, then follow fifth sister into the secret realm trial, help her kill monsters and seize treasures, and increase her cultivation. But everything and you obtain in the secret realm must be given to her. Clearly Feiqi didn't care about these words. Wuyo gently stroked him. Little Snakey, you can rest assured, I will protect you. This made him a little silent and didn't know what to say. Wuyo looked at Feiqi with very expectant eyes. Little Snakey, if you nod, we'll consider you agreed, okay? He nodded gently as if it had been agreed upon beforehand. Seeing her pair of hands reaching towards him, his face had something strange. As usual, Feiqi climbed onto her hand lightly. Wuyo slowly raised him up. She smiled and praised, Little Snakey is so good. Just like that, she led Feiqi away, leaving Lingzhong standing there. After thinking carefully about this matter, his face felt that something was not quite right. A low cultivation snake can give a supreme treasure like the blood jade bracelet. His identity is definitely not simple. For the safety of fifth sister, the Phoenix clan should theoretically eliminate him. Time shifted back to the evening of the previous day. Lingzhong went to Lingxiu and asked, this snake pet is a gift you gave, there must be a reason for it, I hope you can clear up my doubts. Lingxiu was still standing there quietly thinking, although he is a different race, he is a good karma for the fifth princess. These words also made Lingzhong return to reality and think strangely. Wuyo, I only hope that it's true as Lingxiu Daoist said, he has a good opportunity for you. Time had shifted to the evening. Wuyo fell into a sound sleep. Suddenly the sound of the door opening rang out from outside. Because he was too curious, he quickly went outside and peeked his head out to see what was happening. Seeing a letter placed there made Feiqi a little shocked and surprised. A letter from Bolio? He held the letter and went out to the yard to read the contents of this letter carefully. Inside the letter were clearly written words, we are one, if you refuse to act, I will help you. But these words only made Feiqi even more angry. He continuously used his tail to tear up this letter, don't interfere. To be sure, he even intended to bury this letter under the ground. Suddenly a loud noise rang out. This time Feiqi held the lamp and quickly appeared before his eyes. She asked in surprise, Little Snakey, what are you doing here? Her sudden appearance made Feiqi a little startled, but he still quickly pretended to be a pitiful little snake and cried out. This made her curiously sit down and look at him. You're digging for treasures again? He didn't know what to say in this situation. There aren't that many treasures to dig in Mount Shuo. After thinking for a short period of time, Wuyo gently patted his head. You dig slowly, I'm too sleepy, I'll see what treasures you dug up tomorrow morning. This made him startled, he clearly didn't want to dig. Wuyo quickly turned around and returned to her room. Good luck, Little Snakey. But her face after leaving became very serious. Her face was scarily strange. Send a message to others, destroy the evidence, what exactly are you planning? After Wuyo returned to her room, Shanqiu worriedly approached and asked her, "Master, how was it? Did you grasp the evidence of little Snakey's betrayal?" She heard this and thought deeply while walking past Shanqiu. "He destroyed the letter. I couldn't see anything, but we can basically be sure that." The image of Feiqi appeared accompanied by a shadowy figure who had also participated in the story. Behind little Snakey there is another person. Remembering when Feiqi gave her the blood jade bracelet, her face had something thoughtful. "I should have thought of it sooner. If this blood jade bracelet was in Mount Shuo, it would have been discovered by my older brothers a long time ago." Thinking of this, she immediately realized that something was wrong. How could little Snakey have been able to dig it up? Shanqiu sitting right next to her also immediately instructed carefully, "It's indeed very suspicious, Master. You will have to go into the secret realm with little Snakey tomorrow morning. You have to be careful and on guard." She slowly opened the wooden box. Inside the wooden box were 2 blood jade bracelets. She actually picked up the fake blood jade bracelet, leaving the real blood jade bracelet there. Wuyo nodded. Her face had something planned. "It seems that I temporarily don't have the blessing to use this blood jade bracelet." Time had shifted to the morning of the next day. Standing in front of the secret realm space entrance, Lingzhong worriedly instructed, "Wuyo, the method of cultivation will have its own opportunity." These words, along with the fact that he had stayed up all night to find treasures, made Feiqi very tired. Lingzhong on one side still didn't forget to remind Wuyo, "This time you can only rely on yourself." He also didn't forget to carefully instruct, when necessary, try to transport the blood jade bracelet, and see if it can replace the inner core and transport the qi. She understood and looked at the fiery red bracelet. "Yes." Before stepping into the secret realm space, Wuyo quickly reminded, "Let's go." Feiqi, who was dozing off on the ground below, heard this and immediately woke up. The two went deeper inside the secret realm. As soon as they stepped in, Wuyo and Feiqi were both very dazed by the space inside the secret realm. Unable to hesitate any longer, she signaled, "You and I will act separately." These words made Feiqi feel surprised. He didn't dare to believe his ears and twisted his head to look at her. This time, his face was very expectant as he pulled out a pile of treasures and showed off, "You see, I dug up a lot of treasures last night." But Wuyo's eyes became strangely suspicious. "These are the treasures you dug up last night?" He hurriedly nodded in agreement, but actually they were all secretly taken out. It seemed that Wuyo was cold and didn't care much. She quickly turned around and left. "A few low-level elixirs, not enough to replenish blood, you can use them yourself." Seeing this attitude of hers also made Feiqi turn to stone in an instant. What's wrong with her? Shouldn't she be hugging and kissing me and praising me for being amazing? Thinking of this, he was a little angry and held the bag of treasures and quickly turned around and left. As expected, women are always changing. It's not just acting separately. Who can't live without who? The two immediately separated and went in 2 directions, not walking together. "Even if I die, I won't go with you." Feeling that there was still something to worry about, Feiqi turned his head and looked up. Seeing Wuyo still walking as if nothing had happened, his face had something thoughtful. "I'm definitely not worried about her, but I received the request of her older brother. A snake must keep its word." Very quickly the scene had shifted to the Mungok training secret realm. As soon as he stepped into this place, Feiqi thought proudly, "I'm hiding in the dark. I don't need to listen to Feng Wuyo's criticisms, and I haven't broken my promise with her older brother. I'm really a genius." And so Feiqi followed Wuyo for quite a long distance just to monitor her. Sensing that there was something wrong, she hurriedly turned her head and called out, "Who?" This made Feiqi a little startled and hurriedly avoided. "I almost got discovered." As soon as he looked again, Wuyo had completely disappeared, making him a little worried. Where did she go? He transformed into a silly snake and kept searching around, which was also observed by Wuyo, sneakingly following. There must be a problem. Suddenly a clap of thunder rang out, making both people startled and surprised. The voice from inside the secret realm announced, "2 people traveling together, if the distance between them is more than 10 meters, they will be subject to random punishment." These words made both people dazed. Before the two could understand what was going on, a lightning bolt struck straight towards Feiqi, making him almost die. The fragrance wafted out, spreading all over this place, making Wuyo feel a little excited. The smell of meat is so good. He was now charred on the ground below and couldn't move. Seeing the clouds gradually approaching him, Wuyo had something confused and retreated. "You already struck him, you can't strike me, right?" This made him startled and confused. He was so angry that he continuously used his tail to hit the ground below. And so a heavy rain poured straight down on Wuyo, making her helpless and not know what to say. The secret realm continued to announce, when two people stop and the distance exceeds 10 meters, they will be punished together, if one person moves and one person stands still. The person standing still will be punished. This made her so angry that she was speechless. What kind of rules are these? Unable to bear it anymore, she shouted loudly, "You wait for me." And so Wuyo ran away quickly, leaving Feichi to be struck by lightning. She also couldn't escape the downpour, and just like that her whole body was soaking wet. A long period of time passed, the two finally got closer together. "No, we've wasted too much time already." At this time she was a soaked phoenix, and he was a grilled little snake. The two had the same thought, and immediately shook hands. "Truce, truce." Time passed faster and faster. Wuyo continued to walk forward. "It's getting dark, we have to find a place to stop." Looking up at the scene in this place, her face had something thoughtful. "It's so quiet here during the day, at night there will definitely be a bitter battle." After speaking, she turned her head to look at Feichi, but he was still lying quietly in a corner, badly struck by lightning, unable to move anymore. She could only sigh a breath of fatigue. Wuyo approached and decided to give in. She extended her hands towards Feichi. "Come up." This also made him feel very pleased, and he continuously wagged his tail excitedly. Time had shifted to the late night. Sitting inside the pitch-black cave, Wuyo gently lit a fire. "We'll stay here for one night." She continued to look at Feichi, who was still sleeping soundly in her hand. "I've investigated, there's no demon energy here." She carefully placed him gently on the rock. "You have ulterior motives towards me, but you still dare to sleep soundly in front of me." The more she thought back to everything, the more thoughtful she became. In the end, "Are you brave, or are you deliberately luring me to let down my guard?" While sleeping, Feichi even affectionately rubbed against her hand. Wuyo could only sigh and do nothing else. "Oh well." Afraid that Feichi would be cold, she didn't forget to put a small cloth on him. "I'll keep you for a few more days. It won't be too late to deal with you after I have the evidence." In her head she had imagined the scene of Feichi sitting there quietly for her to tie up. "Naughty demon, you won't be obedient." Wuyo's face at that time was like she had turned into an evil queen. "Even if we do it again, you're still a general under my command." Feichi angrily and loudly shouted, "Let me go." Clearly she didn't care much about these words. She even used her hand to lift his face up and examine it. "This appearance, it hurts my heart just looking at it." While Feichi was still preening, a little ghost quickly flew over. It was very good at infiltrating dreams to control opponents. It would disappear after the dream ended. This time it whispered teasingly into Feichi's ear, "What you fear the most is actually a woman." These words made him a little embarrassed. He quickly turned his head and drove away this ugly ghost. "Even an ugly and painful thing dares to enter my dream. Get out." After driving away the ghost, Wuyo also immediately woke up. Remembering the dreams from just now made him very tired and covered in sweat. What a crazy dream, this snake can't be like that. While he was still thinking, suddenly he saw that Wuyo hadn't gone to sleep yet. Wuyo approached with her eyes still closed tightly and wielded a knife at his neck, making him very confused. "Feng Wuyo, are you crazy?" Seeing her constantly attacking him with the sword made Feichi even more afraid and he kept dodging. "Feng Wuyo, do you really want to kill me?" But it seemed that she didn't hear him at all and only continued to attack. In order to protect his small life, he hurriedly dodged and didn't forget to instruct, "You're forcing me to do this." With no other choice, Feichi could only transform into his human form. He immediately used his hand to hit the back of Wuyo's head. At the same time, her sword fell heavily to the ground below. She was still immersed in a sound sleep and didn't know anything that had happened, while he only stood there gently supporting her. A light wisp of smoke flew out from her body, making Feichi immediately pay attention. He gently carried Wuyo's small body up. "This monster has definitely gone to find reinforcements. If I don't run now, when will I wait?" Wuyo slowly woke up after a long sleep. "What's wrong with me?" Seeing Feichi's face had made her very surprised. "Who is he?" As soon as Wuyo opened her eyes and woke up again, she had become very tired. "It hurts so much." Sitting up and looking at the surrounding scene, her face had become very puzzled. "Where is this? Aren't we in the cave?" Feichi this time turned his head and gently explained to her. "We were attacked by a monster in the cave. You fainted, I carried you out, wandering around and came to this wooden house." This made Wuyo not dare to believe her ears. "You can talk?" He hurriedly explained to her. "Just now you were injured, I wanted to save you but I couldn't do anything." After speaking, Feichi sighed and hit his head with his tail. While frustrated, a foreign spiritual force rushed straight to my Tianling, and so I opened my spiritual wisdom. This must be my opportunity in the secret realm. Hearing these things also made Feichi feel questioned the mysterious person who saved him before. What it said wasn't unreasonable, but why do I remember seeing a human before I fainted? And not a snake? She continued to question him, then how did you carry me away? Feichi forced a smile and tried to think of a reasonable way to explain. I ate an elixir to become big, used my tail to roll you up and carry you away. Hearing this made Wuyo so angry that she was trembling. You dragged me with your tail the whole way? His face lit up happily and he nodded in agreement. That's right, that's right. This made Wuyo think of the scene of Feichi dragging her with his tail, making her helplessly touch her neck. No wonder my neck hurts. While she was still angrily thinking, Feichi on the side was still smug. Luckily I was quick-witted in the urgent situation, otherwise you would still be in that terrible cave now. She angrily grabbed his neck and ordered, you're not allowed to drag me anymore next time, do you hear me? This also made him change his mind and think, then next time I'll carry you to run. Wuyo thought of the scene of Feichi carrying her with his mouth, making her feel even more uncomfortable. That's not allowed either. He thought of different ways he could save her, Before he could finish his sentence, she immediately used her hand to hit his head. I don't know what you're thinking. You don't know big or small. Wuyo revealed a mischievous smile and announced to him, call me master, let me hear it. Hearing this sound alone made Feichi blush with embarrassment, he even trembled with anger. What's wrong with Feng Wuyo? She's been strange ever since entering the secret realm. She even wants me to call her master. I'm the leader of a clan, don't I need to save face? Seeing him still standing there quietly without moving, this made Wuyo have something thoughtful. You don't want to? Is it because you had a master before or because from the bottom of your heart you think that I'm not worthy to be your master? Seeing her thinking like this made Feichi hurriedly explain, I don't have. She continued to turn on her acting mode by hugging her face and crying, maybe we don't have a master-servant fate, the beautiful time we had before was probably just my illusion. Hearing this made Feichi very divided and didn't know what to do. This time the devil in his head appeared, damn it, I came to take revenge, not to recognize a master. But then the angel spoke up and proposed, forget it, for the plan of revenge, what's it matter to call her master once? Because the angel had crushed the devil, Feichi's face was very embarrassed as he blurted out, Moss. Hearing this, Wuyo was very expectant. The two were still chatting very enthusiastically when loud noises rang out from outside. Both of them were startled as they looked at the dark shadow along with the sharp eyes in front of the door. This time both of them had become very scared. There's a ghost. Realizing that the barrier was gradually being opened, Wuyo realized something. It must be the owner of the wooden house returning. The man with a very large figure quickly appeared and loudly questioned the two. You two thieves, you actually dare to break into my territory. Do you know where this is? Although very scared of this large man, she still gently explained, Senior, we accidentally offended you. We only saw the wooden house was empty so we went in to take shelter. If Senior minds, we'll leave right away. Hearing this, the ferocious man quickly held a basket of herbs and went in, not forgetting to scare them. This is the wooden house that my wife likes the most. She hates strangers stepping inside. If she knows that you've been here, she will definitely blame me for not taking good care of it, and kick me out of the house. But he had a very evil smile as he extended his hands forward. As long as I kill you inside the secret realm, your aura will also disappear. My wife won't know that you've been here. Seeing this large man being so ferocious, Wuyo was scared and unconsciously retreated. I once read in miscellaneous notes, the most terrifying thing in the secret realm isn't meeting high-level demon beasts, but meeting humans, because in the secret realm, except for the person who broke in, there will be no living people. On this side, Feichi also became worried, realizing that there was something unusual. If I can maintain my human form, maybe there is still a little chance of survival. While he was preparing to attack, Wuyo hurriedly shouted, Senior, wait. She quickly poured tea, held it, and brought a chair for him to sit while flattering, this junior is rude, and boldly offers a suggestion, which can both help you hide it from your wife and make up for our mistake. Hearing this made him very interested, tell me and let me hear. Seeing her acting like this made Feichi become very anxious and didn't know what to do. There's a chance to run and she's blabbering about what? She still held the teapot and chatted with the strange old man. I see that Senior's cultivation power is amazing. Wanting to erase strange traces in this house must be as simple as turning your hand. He heard this and nodded smugly, that's of course. Immediately after thinking of this, she immediately offered her own suggestion. I know that Senior not only has high cultivation power, but also has a kind heart. If Senior is willing to help us, me and little Snaky will voluntarily stay here, and take risks for Senior. Needless to say, these words made Feichi, who was listening, become dazed. Feng Wuyo is crazy. Living people appearing in the secret realm are definitely not ordinary people. Staying next to this old man is just asking to be tortured. The man, after hearing these words, laughed with great interest. This little girl, I haven't even agreed yet and you've already put the hat on me. It's a pity. Those people who broke into this wooden house before, as long as they were husband and wife, we would keep them, and let them help me and my wife water and take care of the herb garden. But you two can't. She gently held the snake and laughed back at him. Senior, as long as you're willing to let us stay, we can be husband and wife. These words made Feichi very embarrassed and he shouted, what nonsense are you talking about? It seemed that this scary old man didn't trust her words much. Little girl, don't even think about fooling me. He sat there quietly smiling and spoke his mind. You two, one is a descendant of the Phoenix clan, one is a snake clan, even if you poke a hole in the sky you can't be husband and wife. But Wuyo's face, after listening, had something sad and she sighed and gently patted Feichi. We're indeed not husband and wife yet, to be exact, we were just one step away from becoming husband and wife. She quickly signaled to Feichi, cooperate a little snaky. Her acting mode was immediately turned on. She recounted a story that she had just thought of. After little Snakey and I accidentally met and got to know each other. We fell in love with each other, but very quickly we were discovered by the older brothers in the clan. They forced me to give up little Snakey. Hearing this made the man very surprised and his face coldly questioned, you gave up your clan members, and chose the person you love? She secretly nodded in confirmation and gently kissed Feichi, making him startled and blush. It's because of this that we were chased by the whole clan, while hiding and wandering around. We accidentally broke into this place. Her face flashed with unspeakable sadness. Poor little Snakey, in order to protect me, his spiritual power was exhausted and he couldn't maintain his human form. A series of these images also made Feichi blush and not know how to react. Acting Empress, acting is acting, what's with the darling, beloved? After listening to the moving love story of the two, it seemed that this butcher man also had some sympathy. It's rare to have someone as courageous as you to pursue true love. After thinking for a short period of time, he quickly made a decision. Oh well, then I'll understand how precious true love is, and I will help you. Hearing this made Wuyo and Feichi very happy. Success. Even the two of them dared not believe the truth before their eyes. It actually worked like that? The butcher man quickly turned around and left. I can keep you here to hide for a few days. And can help your snake husband restore his human form, but when he turned his head, his face had become calculatingly ugly. I have one condition. Wuyo was very determined and loudly announced, as long as it's good for little Snakey, I can do anything. Seeing her being so determined also made Feichi feel something. When Feng Wuyo acts, even I can't distinguish what's real and what's fake. This appearance of hers is no different from when we were together before. Time shifted back to the past. When the two had fallen to the ground below, she still gently comforted Feichi, don't be afraid. Her face became very gentle as she chatted, little Snakey, you can rest assured, I will protect you. Returning to reality, Feichi frowned and didn't dare to believe the truth. Could it be that her treating me well before was also her acting? While he was still thinking, the old butcher standing at the door quickly ordered, there are many ferocious beasts in this secret realm. The way my wife and I survive is by offering the herbs in this herb garden to the owner of the secret realm to exchange for peace. His voice kept ringing inside this small wooden house, but every night there will be those who steal herbs coming here. Your task tonight is to look after these herbs. Make sure they're not stolen and you can stay here. This also made Wuyo very curious and she quickly stepped forward. What if the mission fails? The corner of his mouth revealed a very calculating smile. Those who steal herbs will kill you. After saying what needed to be said, the butcher man quickly turned around and left. I'm leaving. I hope I can still see you two tomorrow. After he left, a cold gust of wind blew over. Thinking of the situation gradually becoming unstable, Feichi quickly turned his head and urged Wuyo, run now. If we have to face that old man, we still have a 20% chance of winning. But she didn't think that way. She firmly walked forward. We can't run. Do you know what it means to meet a living person in the secret realm? Her face was thoughtfully strange as she gently hugged Feichi. Either he is a puppet of a high-level demon beast, or he is the owner of the secret realm, holding the life and death of everyone in the secret realm. After thinking of this, he also had something thoughtful. If it's the former, we still have hope of survival. If it's the latter, there's only death. These words of his also made Wuyo immediately look at him with judging eyes. You just opened your spiritual wisdom, and you know so much? This made him a little startled and he hurriedly glanced to another direction to explain. My family also has a few secret realms provided for others to cultivate. Although I'm not qualified to enter them, I've also heard some rumors. A precious herb quickly hit Wuyo's eyes. She was attracted by this extremely beautiful spiritual herb. Unable to resist the temptation, she quickly sat down and excitedly chatted with Feichi. Come over here and take a look. What is this? After seeing this bundle of spiritual herbs, he also froze to the point of surprise and dared not believe it. There are 3,000-year-old jiangzhu that bears fruit. This is the demon binding grass. It only grows near the cave of demon beasts. Each one is guarded by a demon beast. It can never be planted. This also made Wuyo laugh and quickly comment, in order to condition my body, I run to the Phoenix clan's medical hall every day. I've only heard of jiangzhu grass but never seen it before. It seems that the snake clan is quite strong now. Even a snake like you who doesn't have cultivation power is so amazing. This also made Feichi angrily unable to bear it. What do you want to say? Her face immediately became thoughtfully strange. That old man lied to us. It seemed that she had understood his original intention. If the herbs here have to be offered, those demon beasts have no reason to dare to offend the owner of the secret realm and come to steal the herbs, and at the same time strange rustling sounds rang out. She also saw the shining eyes aimed at the two. Unless the person who came to steal the herbs isn't a thief, but a demon quickly appeared before the two, making the two startled and confused, the original owner of the herbs. This demon with a very ferocious face and a desire to tear the two into 1,000 pieces, the herb's guardian demon beast. Knowing that the situation was not easy, Wuyo sighed and announced, it seems that there will be a bitter battle. Feichi also nodded and waited to see what would happen. While they were preparing for a fierce battle, suddenly she tightly hugged him and ran away quickly from this place. Run. Both sides rushed into a chase. Wuyo carried Feichi and tried to run around this herb garden. Seizing the opportunity that had come, she quickly signaled, snake snake invisible kick. Feichi also took advantage of his tail to make the demon beast trip and fall to the ground below. A series of these teasing actions made it become extremely angry. Before it could react, she had used 99 of the talismans that she had personally made at the low level. Stop. After dealing with it, Wuyo and Feichi sighed a breath of relief. Luckily I was smart, making it so tired that it fainted, otherwise these talismans wouldn't be enough to hold it. He heard this and didn't forget to speak his own benefits. That whip of my tail was also very effective. Remembering something important, Wuyo shouted to that old butcher, Senior, the night mission has ended, it's daylight now, you probably won't break your word and watch a wretched couple like us die in the wolf demon's mouth, right? Hearing these words made Feichi a little speechless and didn't know how to respond. I've never seen anyone make a move like this. As she expected, the old couple quickly stepped forward and praised, little girl, you're indeed very good at playing tricks. Remembering something important, Wuyo quickly went straight to the point. Two seniors, the herbs were not damaged, the wolf demon has also been caught, will you two let us pass? The man continued to look at his wife as if he wanted to observe. Luckily the woman understood his intention. It's not easy for them to wander here as husband and wife. Husband, let them pass. He nodded gently in understanding. If that is Chunyan's intention, this husband will definitely listen. Realizing that the situation was not right, Feichi's face immediately became serious. It's not good. I'm about to transform in front of Feng Wuyo. Time seemed to stop flowing. Butterflies were flying around this place. Feichi's figure finally appeared. Seeing this appearance made Wuyo unable to help but blurt out, so beautiful. In order not to let her clearly see his appearance, he hurriedly used cloth to cover one side of his face. This made Wuyo very curious and she approached, little snaky, why are you covering your face? He hurriedly explained, I was injured on my face when I was young. And now my spiritual power is weak, not enough to maintain a perfect human form. But this only made Wuyo even more curious, is there really a wound on his face or does he not want me to see his entire face? She hurriedly held his hand, I won't despise you. But it seemed that Feichi was still very firm in his actions this time. He gently explained, women all like people with good looks, especially since you are a noble god clan member. I can't let your clansmen look down on me. After speaking Feichi even started crying and wiping away tears as he begged the old couple, I beg the seniors to give me a mask, to cover up this disfigured face of mine, so as not to make my wife's heart ache when she sees it. This also made the man who witnessed this become very surprised. These two not only colluded to deceive me, but also deceive each other. this is even more interesting than the worldly affairs I've been involved with before. After thinking it over, a wicked smile appeared on his face. Forget it, I'm bored anyway, this old man will help you. He immediately took out a strange mask and brought it in front of the two. I just happen to have a mask, but this mask is made from touchstone, although it can cover up the ugly face. It also has the effect of making people tell the truth. Are you sure you want it, Snake Langjun? Looking at this mask made Feichi very divided and he didn't know what to do. But Wuyo, on the contrary, was very excited and went over. I want it, I want it. My husband likes beauty, it's definitely good if it can cover it. She quickly took the mask from the old butcher's hand. Moreover, my husband has nothing that he can't tell people, he always speaks the truth, so the effect of this mask won't be damaged at all. After taking the mask, Wuyo triumphantly put it on Feichi. She didn't forget to reveal a teasing smile. Husband, am I right? Having to be in this situation made Feichi very embarrassed, but he had no choice but to nod in agreement. What my wife says is right. Suddenly the woman immediately called out to the butcherman, husband. Hearing this voice this time made Wuyo curiously and surprisingly turn her head. Her voice is so hoarse. She pointed to another direction and smiled as she chatted. The feelings of this young couple are so good. But immediately the butcherman pointed her hand in the direction where the two were standing. It's indeed not bad. Sensing that something was not right, Wuyo realized the problem. This old woman is so strange. As if understanding the gazes of the two, the old butcher's face again became very angry. Fortunately, in time, Feichi had quickly put on the mask and stepped forward from behind her. Wife, perhaps he realized that something was wrong. There's a murderous aura. Seeing her face was somewhat strange, he thoughtfully asked again, am I very ugly? She hurriedly glanced to another direction. So. But in her head she had her own thoughts. As expected of the snake I raised, he's still so handsome even with a mask on. Feichi still didn't let her go. He quickly approached and questioned. Are you despising me? She hurriedly shook her head to deny. What are you saying? We are partners, we don't look at appearance. Realizing that something was not right, Wuyo hurriedly shouted to urge, quick. She had discovered that the demon wolf had escaped from the talisman sometime. The demon wolf wants to run. While the demon wolf was preparing to leave this place, it had encountered the man standing in front of it. Seeing that the man had something thoughtful made it become very scared. Contrary to its initial attitude, it immediately turned into a small dog and kept barking, making Wuyo and Feichi on the side also speechless. Good dog. The woman smiled and chatted with the old butcher. Husband, we just happen to be short of a dog in the house, let's bring this little dog back. He also smiled and nodded in agreement. Okay, I'll listen to you. Before turning around to leave, he didn't forget to wave goodbye to the two. Phoenix wife, Snake Langjun, you can be considered to have completed the task. My wife and I live opposite the herb garden. We have prepared a house for you, follow me. She quickly nodded in agreement. Okay. Following behind the old couple, Wuyo softly signaled to Feichi, this old man's wife is so strange, you be careful. But perhaps he had already guessed these things. It's me who should be reminding you to be careful. You were looking at that woman for too long just now. The gaze of that old man also wanted to skin you. Seeing this, she immediately became thoughtful. So you calling me back just now was because... She was still guessing when Feichi gently reached out his hand and patted her head. He didn't forget to smile and tease, your brain isn't stupid. Contrary to his attitude, Wuyo's face had something angry. Snake pet, have you forgotten who is the master and who is the pet? These words made him a little startled. He hurriedly turned his head away and coughed a few times to relieve the embarrassment. Your hair is a little messy, I'm just fixing it for you. Wuyo walked in front and waved to signal, follow, be vigilant. Feichi's face became very thoughtful and he questioned himself, why did I unconsciously reach out my hand and touch her? Remembering the scene of her gently patting his head in the past, it's all because Feng Wuyo spoiled me before. After returning to the little house of the old butcher, the demon wolf had become very angry. No matter how much it kept barking, Feichi continued to eat the meat and gave it a few bones. The meat is so delicious, it's a pity that wolf brother is a dog, he can only gnaw on bones. This time Wuyo gently stepped forward and patted his head to question, Senior told you to give the dog food, but you're fighting for the dog's chicken leg. This made her feel a little amused. Aren't you a little childish? Hearing this, Feichi immediately deliberately spoke loudly, it's the first time I've seen a wolf act like a dog, I'm just curious. She hurriedly signaled to him, but perhaps it was too late. This time he whispered into her ear, after that old man chased me away, what did he say to you? Wuyo laughed and gently grabbed his collar to whisper. He asked me a few questions about the Phoenix clan, and gave me a map of the secret realm. Her eyes seemed to have something thoughtful as she stared at his eyes. He didn't dare to face her face and only blushed. Inside the small wooden house, the butcher man quickly spoke. Phoenix wife, Snake Lang June, come in here, this old man has something to say. As if seizing the opportunity, Feichi hurriedly flew towards the front, coming right away. After he had left, Wuyo had something thoughtful as she looked at the bracelet that she was wearing. At such a close distance, little Snakey didn't even recognize that the bracelet I'm wearing is fake. Seeing that she still had something strange, he surprisingly turned his head back. Wife, what are you spacing out for? Her face smiled and signaled, I'm coming here. Feichi held Wuyo's hand and slowly stepped into the house. This time the old butcher again issued a difficult task to the two. During the day there's no need to guard the herbs for the time being. You two go into the Thunder Forest and get me a piece of lightning. Strike wood. This time the task also made Feichi feel worried. He immediately spoke to ask, is it dangerous? Me and my wife guarded the herb garden all night, and fought with the demon wolf. We've exhausted our strength, can Senior change the task? Hearing this made the old woman frown coldly and uncomfortably. Seeing this attitude, the man gently placed his hand on his wife's hand to comfort her and again announced, deep inside that forest there is a lightning guiding stone. It was transformed from the inner core of the ancient divine beast Kuenyo. After speaking, he laughed and continued chatting. I see that Phoenix wife's dantian is empty, it might be effective for you. His face had become very evil as he announced, go or don't go, you two discuss it yourselves. As soon as he finished speaking, both couples immediately disappeared before the two's eyes. The scene had shifted outside where Wuyo and Feichi were guarding the herbs. After thinking about the task just now, Feichi became very thoughtful and spoke to ask Wuyo, I'm afraid this inner core is a trap, do you want to go? Her attitude, on the other hand, showed that she was very bored and sighed. His wife is more frightening than him. If we don't go, will we be killed on the spot? Hearing this made him very embarrassed and not know what to do next. That's right too. Wuyo suppressed a sigh and added her thoughts. Moreover, he said that inner core is effective for me. I want to go and try it out. He had something confused and asked her again, without the inner core, you're still the honorable princess of the Phoenix clan, you're just unable to cultivate. Why do you need to go to so much trouble? Wuyo immediately turned on the lying mode, her face blushing as she cried and begged, without the inner core, I will gradually degenerate into an infant form until I disappear. I'm not willing, I haven't even seen what you look like yet. These words also made Feichi blush with embarrassment. But then he turned his head to another direction and analyzed, I've never heard that someone who lost their inner core will die. She hurriedly explained to him. This is a secret of the Phoenix clan, how could outsiders know? Hearing this, he immediately thought of outsiders and myself clearly. After calculating for a period of time, Feichi quickly stood up and announced, then I'll go with you, since we've already come here. After hearing that he had reached her intention, Wuyo immediately happily ran after him. Thank you, little Snakey, you're so good. Feeling a little curious, her face became very surprised. That's right, I still don't know what your name is. He heard this and hurriedly explained, after I awakened in the mountains. I followed Lord Lingshu, I've never had a name. Hearing this, Wuyo smiled and proposed, then I'll give you a name, how about calling you Zhu Bai? This made him a little startled and confused. Zhu? His face became thoughtfully strange, did she discover something? Wuyo laughed loudly and spoke her mind. Zhu is the surname of your snake clan leader, it must be a very honorable surname. Zhu Bai, I think it's very good. What do you think? He heard this and forced a smile, I also think it's very good. After seeing his attitude, in her head she had something triumphant, daring to have the same surname as the leader. It seems that little Snakey is not an ordinary snake. After a long period of walking continuously, Feichi looked around this place and surprisingly chatted, this is the Thunder Forest that he talked about, right? Sensing that something was not right, he hurriedly pulled Wuyo back, be careful. Lightning bolts quickly struck the mud puddles. At the same time, a memory fragment also appeared. At that time Wuyo fell from the sky above to the ground below. Her eyes were very desperate and she didn't know she would have to bear such a fate, this memory fragment is. She returned to reality and confusedly touched her forehead, could it be that I had to face the heavenly tribulation 2 years ago? While she was still thinking, Feichi took the opportunity to observe everything around. It is said that the ancient demon beast Kuenyo can summon wind and rain and control lightning. We should retreat and think of a countermeasure first. Before he could finish speaking, she was constantly panting, making him a little worried. What's wrong with you? Realizing that something was not right, his face immediately became anxious. Lightning is falling. Without thinking much more, he hurriedly picked up Wuyo and ran towards the front. Excuse me. This time the scene had shifted to the Thunder Forest. This place had a dark sky with strange beasts flying around. A voice rang out, Feng Wuyo. Hearing her name, she slowly opened her eyes and woke up. As she looked again, Feichi was still carrying her and avoiding the lightning bolts falling to this place. It seemed that she still hadn't adapted to this matter. He continuously urged, wake up quickly, we're about to be struck by lightning. But the images about her at that time continuously appeared in her head. Wuyo's eyes at that time were very cold and she didn't care about what was around her at all. Returning to reality, in the Thunder Forest the lightning constantly attracted lightning bolts to fall, which made Feichi even more desperate. Feng Wuyo, if you don't come back to your senses, I'm going to throw you away. Hearing this, Wuyo was startled and opened her eyes wide awake. He quickly placed her on the ground below. You're finally awake. She still continuously felt that something was not right. This time she hurriedly pulled out an umbrella from her body. While opening the umbrella, she accidentally hit Feichi in the face, making him feel pain. This time he had become angry. Feng Wuyo, you're plotting against me. She hurriedly explained, it's because you were too close. The two crawled into the umbrella and quickly discussed, this is a lightning-proof umbrella. If you don't transform and become big, it can't protect both of us. If you don't want to be struck by lightning, then quickly hold it. He was very disdainful of this small umbrella. Are you sure this tiny umbrella can block lightning? Wuyo continuously urged him worriedly, it needs spiritual power to maintain it. You transmit spiritual power to it, quickly. Hearing this, he immediately transmitted spiritual power into this umbrella. Her face also became serious as she prepared to pull out a few talismans. I also have a few talismans to strengthen your spiritual power. Wait for me to stick them on. Before she could finish speaking, the lightning in the sky struck straight at both of them. Immediately afterwards, the umbrella had also broken. Feichi's face was speechless and he didn't know what to say. Who said this umbrella works? Feeling that the situation was not good, Wuyo hurriedly rummaged through her body to see if there were any other items. Don't worry, just now it was because the umbrella didn't have enough spiritual power, that's why it was struck by lightning. I have a bigger one. From her small body she quickly pulled out a large umbrella, you see. Just as she pulled it out, suddenly a piece of the blood jade bracelet on her hand cracked, making Feichi a little startled. The blood jade bracelet cracked? Sensing that something was not right, he continued to look at her still standing there innocently. The blood jade bracelet is made from ancient Manhwa stone. It can't be broken by a lightning bolt. Thinking of this, he gradually understood the initial problem. The bracelet that Feng Wuyo is wearing is fake. It seems that she was prepared for me long ago. Seeing that he had discovered the problem, Wuyo's face hurriedly explained, I'm sorry Zhu Bai, the bracelet broke. I'll pay you back with another treasure later. She also didn't forget to change the subject. That's right, have you seen the lightning guiding stone? This time he coldly glanced to another direction and announced, it's over there. The two looked at the stone still floating in the front, the deepest location in the Thunder Forest. The lightning bolts struck down, but luckily they were blocked by this umbrella. Her voice had something happy, we can use this umbrella to go over there. Remembering something important, Wuyo didn't forget to give Feichi an elixir. This is a spiritual replenishing pill. It can help you replenish the spiritual power you've spent. But it will be a little exhausting on your spirit. Wait for us to get the lightning guiding stone and go out and it will be okay. He heard this and took the elixir in his hand. Okay. While focusing on walking closer to the lightning guiding stone, he was also immersed in his own thoughts. Feng Wuyo doesn't have the memories of the past, and I and she are not from the same clan. It's normal for her to be wary of me. I also didn't want to kill her. Anyway, it's even. On this side Wuyo had also immersed herself in her own thoughts. Each matter is separate from the other. Since entering the secret realm, little Snakey has never given up on me in a crisis. Even if he has intentions towards me, it probably isn't to chase me to the end and kill me. Just like that, each person was immersed in their own thoughts. In the blink of an eye the two had come together before the lightning guiding stone. We're here. Sensing that something was not right, Wuyo's face became worried. The closer we get to this stone, the stronger the lightning power becomes. Feichi quickly explained clearly to her, the lightning of the entire Thunder Forest must be operated through this stone. Taking it away will probably make the lightning stop. Feeling a little curious, he glanced to her side. How many talismans are left? She sighed worriedly and replied, "There's only one last talisman left. If it doesn't succeed, we will be struck to death by lightning here." Feigned gently moved closer to her and continued to chat. "Do you dare to bet on one last round?" This scene made her very dazed. Immediately afterwards she regained her senses and laughed in surprise. "What's there to be afraid of?" Just like that, the two continued to move closer to the lightning guiding stone, ignoring the lightning bolts that kept striking down. As soon as Feigned got the stone, a loud noise rang out. The sky in this place also gradually became sunny, dispelling the darkness of this place. Realizing that the two had succeeded made the two become very happy. Success. Sensing that something was not right, Wuyo hurriedly turned her head to warn, "Someone's coming." The mysterious person immediately used his foot to kick Feiqi's hand, making the lightning guiding stone fly away. It turned out that the person who came was the old butcher from back then, making the two very surprised. "It's you?" This time the two were very wary of him. Wuyo even asked again, "Senior's cultivation power is higher than ours. You want this lightning guiding stone, then it should be as easy as turning your hand. Why did you need to wait for us to get it and then steal it?" He laughed evilly as he looked at the crystalline stone in his hand. "The lightning of this thunder forest becomes stronger when it meets a strong person, with you two opening the way. This old man has saved no small amount of effort." Realizing that the situation was not good, Wuyo quickly signaled to Feiqi, "This old man is too strong, we'll leave this place first." He, on the other hand, calmly turned his head back and asked her, "How many spiritual replenishing pills do you have left?" She held up the elixir and announced, "This much is left." After thinking for a short period of time, Feiqi generously ate all the spiritual replenishing pills at the same time. Enough. He continued to walk towards the front to protect Wuyo. "Wait a moment, I'm going to steal the inner core for you." When he walked past her, she felt something unexplainably touching. The scene shifted to inside the thunder forest. The old butcher was still holding the crystalline stone in his hand. He laughed as he came before the two and said very incomprehensible words, "In this secret realm, no one can resist this deity." While he was still chatting, Feiqi quickly rushed over. He didn't forget to loudly curse him, "You fart god." He aimed straight at him and attacked, making him unable to react in time. Just like that, his kick hit the old man, sending him flying back. This scene was witnessed by Wuyo, who had also become dazed. But then the old butcher looked down on this punch. His face was calmly as if nothing had happened. He laughed and questioned, "You think you can hurt me?" Hearing this, Feiqi calmly replied, "Who cares about you?" The corner of his mouth revealed a very scheming smile and announced, "Anyway, the lightning guiding stone is now mine." This was also when Wuyo quickly recognized his idea. Needless to say, the old butcher had become very angry. He gritted his teeth and frantically said, "You want to die?" He, on the other hand, calmly played with the crystalline stone in his hand. "You want it?" Immediately afterwards, he threw the crystalline stone straight towards the front and ordered, "Go pick it up yourself." The crystalline stone flew past the old butcher, making him startled and react. And so he hurriedly flew after the crystalline stone, just wanting to pick it up. Realizing that the opportunity had come, he shouted to signal to Wuyo, "Little Phoenix, it's up to you next." His voice quickly rang out, "Feng Wuyo, catch it quickly and run." She heard this and hurriedly used her item that she pulled out from her pocket. Coming here." She leaned forward to try to catch the lightning storm stone in the hand. After successfully taking the lightning guiding stone, her face had become very happy. As soon as she had taken the lightning guiding stone, the old butcher had caught Feiqi as a hostage. He laughed in surprise, "Phoenix little wife, you don't need your pet anymore?" He even triumphantly continued to mock, "Being able to bring a pet along to experience, the relationship between you must be not small. Are you really willing to let him die?" Hearing this, Wuyo was strangely calm. She lightly put the lightning guiding stone away. "I'm very unwilling, but..." The corner of her mouth revealed a very evil smile as she announced, "I can't beat you anyway, you can just raise another pet later." These words were as if they were rubbing salt into Feiqi's heart. He was silent and didn't say anything. Seeing this, the old butcher on the side laughed, mocking, "I worked so hard to steal things for her, and she completely doesn't regard you as anything." He was very angry and didn't care about anything anymore. "If you want to kill me, then kill me. Why are you so long-winded?" In the important moment, Wuyo suddenly shouted and called out, "Old man." This made him pay attention and squeeze Feiqi's neck even tighter. She's had a change of heart. But instead, she climbed onto her feather and waved goodbye to the two. "No, I want to tell you, this phoenix feather is a speed magical weapon. If you don't kill him, I'll go first." She even smiled and teased, "Bye-bye." Needless to say, the old butcher was so angry that he was speechless. His face had become unbearably hateful. This time he directly struck towards Feiqi, making him painfully fall backwards. Just like that, he fell from the sky. In his head he had waited for this mentality. Originally I intended to ask her to leave the secret realm after stealing the stone for Feng Wuyao. But only that his face had become very sadly strange. Why is it that when she does things my way, I feel so uncomfortable? Oh well, it's good that one person was able to escape. While he was still despairing, suddenly a loud call rang out, "Zhu Bai." He saw this and was startled, opening his eyes. Wuyao tried her best to reach out towards him and signaled, "Zhu Bai, give me your hand." Unconsciously he reached out his hands towards her. Fortunately, both of them managed to hold each other's hands tightly. She also because of this pulled him onto her feather. While driving towards the front, Wuyao had something worried as she turned her head back and spoke her mind. That damned old man is chasing too closely. I didn't have time to call my older brothers to rescue us. Now there is a way to buy time. Do you dare to try it? This also made him very curious about what she was talking about. What way? Holding the thunderstone in his hand, Wuyao quickly urged Feiqi. That old guy wants the thunderstone so badly. This thing must have a big effect. You eat it. This statement directly rendered him speechless. With no other choice, he had to open his mouth wide and put the stone into his mouth. Her face became extremely delighted with the plan she had devised. Alright, when that old guy makes a move later, you threaten him, you want to self-destruct the stone. While the two were still plotting, the old butcher's hands quickly landed on the feather. You think swallowing the thunderstone can protect you? At this time, he had already caught up with the two and laughed loudly. Even better, obediently come with me. As soon as he touched the feather, the phoenix feather gradually shattered. Sensing that something was wrong, Wuyu's face turned fearful and she hurriedly informed Feiqi. Not good, the phoenix feather is about to explode. As soon as she finished speaking, a huge explosion occurred, causing both of them to quickly fall to the ground below. Fortunately, Feiqi's body protected her, so she was unharmed. This time, the old butcher crossed his arms and quickly ordered his henchmen, lock them up, alchemy the day after tomorrow. The little devil immediately nodded in understanding. Yes, master. After escaping from the old man, the two immediately entered the cave and devoured food to regain their strength as before. Wuyu did not forget to remind Feiqi, eat more, replenish your state, nom nom nom. Feeling something was incomprehensible, he ate and asked her in surprise, why did you come back to seek death? She smiled gently and explained to him, because I won't abandon my friends. These words also made Feiqi blush shyly and stunned. You. Seeing his reaction, she was about to explain something. Don't be moved, actually I. Before she could finish speaking, Feiqi hurriedly coughed a few times. You are the first person to not care about life and death for me. After he finished speaking, the two were startled to realize that something was not quite right. Feeling too embarrassed, he hurriedly put his hand on the mask and didn't know what to say. That wasn't what I meant just now, it's all because of this mask. Wuyu's face was also covered in sweat. She didn't dare to say anything more. I shouldn't tell him, I came back because I couldn't escape. Because she was too embarrassed, Wuyu coughed a few times and quickly signaled, I thought of a way to deal with that old guy, let's try it. Feiqi was curious when he heard this. What way? She pointed to his stomach and said her thoughts. That old guy once said that the thunderstone becomes stronger when it encounters the strong, making him afraid. Her face became extremely serious as she chatted. As long as you can transform the power of this stone for you to use, we can have a few more chances of winning. Hearing this, Feiqi was at a loss as to how to explain, in front of absolute strength. Before he could finish speaking, Wuyu rushed over and covered his mouth. Before all hope is lost, don't say unlucky words. She also did not forget to encourage and reassure the spirits of the two people. We must seize every opportunity we can to become stronger. Her words kept ringing out. If you are bullied later, the first reaction is to fight back, not run away. But Feiqi was still standing there thinking about something. She continued to move closer to him. Zhu Bai, do you understand? Not daring to look directly into her eyes, he hurriedly nodded in understanding. Understand. Remembering something, Wuyu immediately spoke up and suggested, then you try to urge the power of the inner lightning. Listening to her words, Feiqi sat there quietly concentrating on cultivation. Okay. A small electric current ran through, making her extremely happy and cheering loudly. There's electricity, Zhu Bai, you succeeded. She kept clapping her hands and cheering. But the only thing was that the electric current he released was extremely small, causing both of them to freeze in an instant. Seeing Feiqi so sad, Wuyu hurriedly stepped forward to comfort him. No, it's okay, you're already super. Outside, a man quickly appeared with two devil henchmen coming over. A voice sounded, "Go in quickly." This voice reached the ears of Wu Yu and Fei Qi. "Being able to offer the inner core to the master is your blessing." The strange man held a vase in his hand and followed with the two devil henchmen. This time one of the devils spoke first. The master said, "As long as you offer the inner core, you can ensure that your physical bodies do not die." The other devil continued to speak, "After you cultivate again in the future, there will be creation. Don't drink a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit." But the scorpion on the man's shoulder looked down on the two devils with contempt. After relaying the message, the two devils quickly turned and left. This time the scorpion turned to look at the man and the vase in his hand. "Xian Lu, Tao Yao, why don't you have any reaction?" Tao Yao sighed and said his thoughts. "The three of us working together may not be able to beat that old guy, might as well save some strength, lest after being taken the inner core, the spiritual power is also exhausted." Hearing this, the scorpion immediately looked at the young man in front of him. "Xian Lu, what do you think?" He heard this and laughed back. "Aren't you always worried about dying after being taken away from the inner core?" This time he looked directly at Wu Yu standing there. "Here there happens to be a person without an inner core." Tao Yao heard this and rushed straight towards her, causing her to not have time to react. "Really, let me see." Fortunately, in time, Fei Qi used his ability to strike directly at the Tao Yao tree. He walked forward coldly and informed this strange group of people, "She is not someone you can touch." Seeing him appear made the scorpion on his shoulder extremely angry. "You jumping clown really lack a beating." Before it could finish speaking, Xian Lu next to him quickly signaled, "Hong Xia, don't be rash, he has the thunderstone on him." This made Wu Yu laugh triumphantly and extremely proud. "Senior has a good eye. Chubai of my family can indeed urge the power of thunder, now only lacking the last layer to break through cultivation. Get out of this dream gorge." But contrary to her triumphant attitude, Hong Xia became extremely contemptuous. "Do you know who that old guy was before? With him here, even if you are the incarnation of the heavenly tribulation, you can't get out." This made her extremely curious. Could it be that he is some Deluo golden immortal? After hearing her question, Xian Lu nodded in agreement. "That old guy used to be a descendant of some god clan. There was a superior god. At that time he also had a name, called He Sun. The story was told, when the two were very young, they quickly fell in love. He Sun and his wife Zhong Shui were very loving. They traveled around the world, creating the secret realm. The four of them were very happy. But things were not that simple. An incident happened that caused both of them to be stabbed to death. 200 years ago, He Sun killed Zhong Shui, shattered her body, and imprisoned her soul fragment in this secret realm for life. And after killing his wife, He Sun became a fallen immortal, losing his name. Because he was not willing to accept this fate, this time he once again sought another way. Later he regretted, and wanted to save his wife, so he carved many wooden dolls, transferring spiritual power to the wooden dolls, choosing the doll that looked most like his wife to stay with him. After listening to this story, Wu Yu was a little surprised and thoughtful, but that's still not enough. Only spiritual power can't make a wooden doll a living person. So He Sun wants to refine the inner core, wanting the wooden doll to have a foundation for cultivation. Hearing this, Xian Lu smiled and praised, "That's right, the girl is very clever." Remembering something important, this was Wu Yu's extreme curiosity. He Sun doing this, won't he be punished by heaven? His face was extremely thoughtful as he glanced at her and recounted, "The thunderstone absorbs the thunder and lightning of the heavenly tribulation, protecting He Sun's life. But the lightning released by the thunderstone becomes stronger when it encounters the strong, so He Sun could never take back the stone." This made Wu Yu even more proud and kept slapping Fei Qi's stomach. "Senior, the thunderstone plus the cultivation of the three of you, what percentage can defeat that old guy?" After speculating again carefully, Xian Lu calculated and informed, 60%. Because of this victory, Wu Yu quickly took out many different items and threw them to everyone. "Then let's start. I still have a lot of dharma and elixirs, guaranteeing logistics for everyone." Her face was extremely radiant as she quickly hugged the pile of things and approached Xian Lu. "Senior knows many things about the master of the secret realm. His cultivation must not be low. Please teach Chubai to digest the power of the thunderstone. I'm relying on you." Hearing this, he laughed and didn't know how to explain. "This little girl, when did I say I would join forces?" He was about to stroke Wu Yu's head when he caught Fei Qi's gaze in the back. Clearly he didn't want Xian Lu to touch Wu Yu's head at all. Seeing this, he hurriedly withdrew his hand and smiled as he chatted, "Oh well, helping you is also helping myself." His face smiled and suggested, let's begin. The time in front of him had passed for the next 2 days. Something flew into the sky at a terrifying speed. A joyful voice sounded, success. On the cave, there was now a large hole. This made Wu Yu extremely happy and kept clapping her hands and cheering, Chubai, you're super. Suddenly, the cave had a change, causing Xianlu to realize that something was wrong. Be careful. Wu Yu was confused by this. What's wrong? It turned out that this stone cave had completely collapsed. This also made everyone inside the stone cave realize that the ground was gradually changing. The scorpion was extremely uncomfortable with this tremor. It questioned loudly, the ground is too hot. What does that old guy want to do? Xianlu's face was a little serious as he informed. If I'm not mistaken, he wants to turn the mountain cave into an alchemical furnace, refining us. Sure enough, as he predicted, outside at this time, it seemed that He-sun was carrying out his evil intentions. Witnessing this scene made Hong Xia extremely uncomfortable and shouted loudly, damn old guy, you said you only wanted the inner core and not the physical body. You don't keep your word, you shameless thing. Clearly, He-sun didn't care much about these words. He laughed evilly. Over the years you have secretly collected the soul phantoms of Zhong Shui, wanting to recast her physical body. I am helping you fulfill your wish, taking you to reunite with her. Hearing this made Tao Yao extremely confused by these words. How does he know? Hong Xia couldn't stand it anymore. It immediately spoke up and pointed towards Fei Qi and signaled, Xianlu, now we snatch the Thunderstone, then there is a bit of life. Feeling that the situation was gradually becoming unfavorable, Fei Qi gently reached out to Wu Yu and instructed, hold on tight, don't let go. She heard this and gently grasped his hand. On this side, Xianlu also refused to sit still. He loudly ordered his 2 teammates, Hong Xia, Tao Yao, let's attack together. On this side, the battle still continued to appear as the doorway was gradually being closed. But it seemed that He-sun was not afraid of this action of the group. He even laughed loudly and ridiculed, Xianlu, even if you snatch the Thunderstone, what awaits you is only a dead end. Suddenly a white smoke flew out, causing him to be startled and feel that something was not right. This smoke obscured He-sun's vision, making him extremely uncomfortable but unable to do anything. Fei Qi led Wu Yu quickly flew out of this place. He gently placed his feet on the ground below safely. As soon as the two touched their feet on the ground, Fei Qi gently informed, temporarily safe. Wu Yu immediately let go of his hand, causing him to be a little startled. She kept searching for something. Just this small action also made him blush as he looked at his hand. This time he looked up at her a little shyly, what's wrong? She took out an item in front of him and explained, this brocade pouch contains a portion of the soul phantom of Zhong Shui. Senior Xianlu asked us to find the remaining phantom, but where should we look? Hearing this, Fei Qi's face was a little thoughtful. I know, this made her seem curious. The time shifted back to the moment just now, when Xianlu gave Fei Qi a small wooden branch, use this. He calmly handed this item to the two and did not forget to instruct, I once followed Zhong Shui to cultivate, this deer horn can help you find her aura. A scene of another location was revealed right in front of Fei Qi. Wu Yu was still curious and didn't understand what to do next, so how do we go? The space gradually opened up, the bed brought the two to another location. This made her extremely confused, this image is the space-time rift. Before she could finish speaking, Fei Qi picked her up. He calmly informed her, the situation is urgent, forgive me. The scene has shifted to the North Tianqi in the secret realm. The two came to this place, Fei Qi quickly informed, we're here. This place was filled with ice, causing Wu Yu to shiver and feel tired. Chu Bai, this place is too cold, you search first, I'll warm up for a while. Hearing this, he looked at her still shivering and sitting there, acting alone is very dangerous, here, I'll carry you. Fei Qi quickly sat down waiting for her to climb up, get on. A moment later, Wu Yu felt better, follow the direction the deer horn is pointing. She was a little confused, aren't snakes supposed to hibernate, this place is so cold, aren't you sleepy? Fei Qi calmly followed in front of the deer horn and explained to her, winter here will die. This made her extremely confused by He-sun's actions, suppressing his wife in such an extremely cold place, that old man is indeed a pervert. While the two were still chatting, Zhong Shui quickly appeared, she smiled and asked, young people, did Xianlu tell you to come and find me? This made her calmly ask back with a straight face, aren't you the wooden person next to that old man? She smiled and reached out to the two chatting, that is the wooden person he carved according to my appearance, I am the real body, that's right, did you bring the brocade pouch, give it to me. Suddenly Wu Yu remembered the time just now when she asked Xianlu, the God clan can clearly maintain a young and ageless appearance. Why does that old man look so old? At that time, Xianlu had clearly explained to her that he once promised to be by Zhong Shui's side until his hair turned white. After Zhong Shui died, he deceived himself and acted out the scene of an old couple with the wooden person, pretending that he and Zhong Shui were still deeply in love. Remembering this, Wu Yu shouted and signaled. When Zhong Shui died, her appearance did not age. She is fake. Chu Bai, attack. Hearing this, her face became extremely angry and stared at the two people. Fei Qi also understood. He gently reminded her, Feng Wu Yu, hold on tight. The impersonator of Zhong Shui quickly conjured up a red sword in her hand. She shouted loudly, if you two have obtained the Thunderstone, you should leave the secret realm. Why interfere in the matter between us husband and wife? After she finished speaking, she immediately rushed up with her sword to attack. Now hand over the brocade pouch to me, I can still spare you from having to die. Fei Qi still stood there quietly concentrating. He tried to control the lightning energy to strike directly at her. Seeing that the situation was gradually becoming unfavorable, Wu Yu whispered, we don't know the cultivation of this old woman, we can't fight her head-on, later I will deliberately provoke her, causing her to be distracted. You find her flaw and then deal with her. He immediately nodded in understanding, okay. After the two discussed, Wu Yu laughed loudly and ridiculed, old witch, even if you get the brocade pouch, so what, you are only an impersonator of Zhong Shui. These words successfully made the impersonator angry. She quickly rushed up to attack. You want to die? Seeing the situation was not good, Fei Qi hurriedly reminded her, be careful. This time, unfortunately, she fell heavily to the ground below, and the brocade pouch fell out just like that. Wu Yu did not care about etiquette anymore. She angrily raised her head and cursed loudly, you old hag, you're playing dirty. Fei Qi and the old hag kept fighting with each other, and she was still constantly provoking. A piece of wood at the end can take human form, not cherish the opportunity to work hard to cultivate. And want to love that damn old man, would like you is not even worthy of being firewood for our Mount Tiwu. Hearing this, she couldn't bear it anymore. This time she turned her head and replied, you damn girl, I must pull out your tongue. Taking advantage of her carelessness, Fei Qi hurriedly rushed over to attack directly. His palm struck directly into the impersonator's body, causing her to not be able to react. Seeing that the situation was gradually getting better, Wu Yu's face was happy and cheered, Chu Bai, good fight. Just like that, she lay slumped on the ice-cold floor. The two stood there in silence for a short time. This time Wu Yu gently approached the brocade pouch on the ground below. She breathed a sigh of relief, it's over. While she thought everything had ended, she didn't know where a piece of wood shot from, stabbing straight into her hand, causing blood to shoot out continuously. Fei Qi this time became extremely worried. He hurriedly shouted a warning, Wu Yu. Looking at the wound that was constantly bleeding on her hand, her face became even more angry, again, playing dirty. Even though Zhong Shui's impersonator was seriously injured, she didn't care. Even she laughed loudly with satisfaction. Too bad, almost killed you. However, the feeling of wood thunder pierced through the flesh and blood, not comfortable, right? Her resounding laughter appeared. This time Fei Qi held the knife and stabbed it straight into her back, causing her to scream in despair. Just thinking about all the things she had done made him even more furious, hating that he couldn't tear her into thousands of pieces. Shut up. After Fei Qi finished dealing with Zhong Shui's impersonator, he hurriedly ran to her and called out, Feng Wu Yu. Her eyes gradually became dull, sweat constantly oozing out. In her eyes, a dark color gradually appeared, accompanied by two Fei Qi appearing. This time the man was extremely cold and continued to question her, who are you? Seeing that she was still stunned there, he hurriedly shook her awake. Feng Wu Yu, what's wrong with you? Wu Yu slowly regained her senses. She hurriedly shook her head and explained, I'm fine, although she had her own thoughts in her head, recently in the secret realm. I have been having headaches, those vague images, could it be my past memories? She continued to look at Fei Qi carefully treating the wound on her hand, the voice in my head just now, why is it a bit like Chu Bai? Feeling that something was difficult to understand, Wu Yu raised her head and seriously asked him, Chu Bai, have I met you before? Hearing this, he was stunned and surprised, but immediately after he regained his composure, I don't remember, although he had his own thoughts in his head, originally wanted to say no. But I changed my words, seeing the face mask made of gold testing stone can't be worn for long, I can't continue to be with Feng Wu Yu anymore. The more important thing now is that he has to treat the wound on Wu Yu's hand. You bear with it a little, I will treat the wound for you. She gritted her teeth and tried to endure, okay. After pulling out the piece of wood on her hand, Wu Yu tried to endure the pain. He threw the piece of wood full of her blood hard onto the ice-cold floor below. Her face became extremely worried when thinking about the next bad situation. I'm okay, Chubai, you go see if that damn old woman is dead, be careful she plays dirty again. But Feichi was extremely serious and ordered her, bandage it first. Seeing him so strange also made her feel that something was wrong. Why are you suddenly so fierce, like a beast? Seeing this, he calmed down. The snake clan is inherently a brutal beast. Looking at the wound being gradually bandaged, Wu Yu quickly shook her head and explained, I didn't mean that. He just continued to bandage the wound for her and nodded in agreement. Remembering something, this time Wu Yu continued to affirm everything with Feichi. Chubai, I don't have prejudice against other races, you know. His face was calm to the point of being strange. You don't need to explain to me. This made her a little curious. Then why are you angry? But his next sentence became extremely cold. That has nothing to do with you. Wu Yu became silent after hearing this sentence. Her face was thoughtful as she remembered all the things that had happened. Realizing that things were still not over, Feichi stood up and searched around. I'll go over there and take a look. A cold wind blew past. He just like that approached Zhong Shue's impersonator to investigate, leaving Wu Yu sitting there quietly. Suddenly a loud noise in the back made him freeze in fear. It turned out that the surrounding him was now surrounded by something, causing her to cry out in despair, Chu. Until this time, he felt that something was wrong, Feng Wu Yu. By the time he ran over, it was too late. Wu Yu had been dragged by strange forces into the ice below. Feichi was extremely desperate and could only chase after her, but perhaps it was too late. The ice surface immediately closed, leaving him alone sitting there. Just thinking about the unfortunate things that would happen to Wu Yu made Feichi even angrier. Feng Wu Yu. He didn't care about anything and kept punching the ice surface with his bare hands and roared. At the same time, his amulet was cracked and broken in two. This scene also froze Feichi in an instant. He couldn't believe the truth before his eyes. Unconsciously, he remembered Wu Yu's words when she gently put the amulet on him. Little snake, look, from now on you and I are friends with the same amulet. His face was extremely desperate as he picked up the jade pendant, so angry that he wished he could tear the person who caused this to pieces. Feng Wu Yu, the debt between you and me has not been settled. You hold on for me, don't die in this ghostly place. Feichi was sitting there still drawing magic circles when Zhong Shue's impersonator laughed mockingly. Fake husband and wife, why are you still pretending to be affectionate? You think that by using your blood to draw the mandate of heaven array, you can use yourself to exchange her back? This made her laugh with satisfaction. It's ridiculous, no one can break the ice of the ice lake, she's definitely dead. As soon as she finished speaking, blood kept gushing out of Feichi's mouth. This time he couldn't hold on anymore and fell to the ground helplessly. The image of Wu Yu quickly appeared in his mind. She spoke softly and asked, Chu Feichi, didn't you want to take revenge and kill me? Now that I'm dead, why aren't you laughing? In desperation, he could only beg, I won't kill you anymore, as long as you come back. Time quickly shifted to half an hour ago. The brocade pouch fell on the ice-cold surface and lay there quietly. Feeling that the brocade pouch was a bit strange, Wu Yu confusedly reached out to pick up the brocade pouch to examine it. This is. Suddenly, it was as if something rushed straight towards her on the ice surface, causing her to not have time to react. Her eyes felt that something was wrong, but she couldn't escape. From under the ice lake, strange souls rushed straight towards her. This time, she was still planning to turn her head to look at Feichi and shout for help, Chubai. Just like that, she hugged her amulet and was dragged down by the evil spirits at the bottom of the lake in Feichi's fear. Feng Wu Yu. Unfortunately, the jade pendant in her hand had also been accidentally broken by her. After a while, Wu Yu fell to the very bottom of the lake. Because she fell from a high place, her body couldn't bear it and quickly vomited blood. This time Wu Yu hurriedly sat up and looked around this place. What the hell is this place? So even an amulet can't stop it. While she was still feeling confused, behind her, Zhong Shui had slowly stepped forward to explain, this place is the Great Seal Formation left by He Sun. Looking at the beautiful woman in front of her, she couldn't believe it. You are, superior god Zhong Shui? She nodded in confirmation, yes. Her face was a little thoughtful as she looked straight ahead. Zhong Shui quickly opened an image on the ice lake above for Wu Yu to see. At that time, the image of Feichi was still setting up the formation trying to save her. Zhong Shui smiled and explained, he activated the mandate of heaven formation. After success he can exchange positions between him and you, using life to exchange life. This also made her extremely moved, even somewhat unbelievable. Why would he? Although she had her own thoughts in her head, Chubai clearly regards me as an enemy. Why is he willing to sacrifice his life to save me? Because he was trying too hard, Feiqi helplessly lay down on the ice-cold surface. Witnessing this scene also made Zhong Shui laugh and comment, "You must treat your friends very well, so he is willing to sacrifice his life to save you." Hearing this sentence, Wu Yu remembered the scene of Feiqi in the form of a large snake. Chubai did want to kill me, but only attacked once, later. Many things that Feiqi secretly helped her with appeared in her mind. In the secret realm, which is extremely dangerous, he never had murderous intent, on the contrary he always protected me. This made her extremely moved and speechless. Chubai treats me like this, I should also sincerely regard him as a friend. Looking at Feiqi's still dying face there, Wu Yu unconsciously reached out towards the front. Wait for me to get out of the secret realm, I must clarify the misunderstanding, untie his knot. Feeling that something was wrong, Zhong Shui quickly informed her, someone is coming, I'll take you out. Wu Yu heard this and gently took her hand, okay, thank you senior. On the outside, Xian Lu was trying his best to run to this place, following behind him was Yisun flying in the air. But perhaps his strength was gradually running out, so he was quickly caught by him. He even laughed loudly with satisfaction, Xian Lu, I deliberately let you out to lead the way to find the Thunderstone. Who would have thought you would be so unprepared? Seeing that he had also appeared, Zhong Shui's impersonator hurriedly shouted and begged, husband, save me. But as soon as she finished speaking, an arrow stabbed straight at her head. Feeling that something was difficult to understand, Yisun and Xian Lu turned their heads in surprise. An angry voice sounded, how disgusting. Zhong Shui had appeared, and next to her was Wu Yu. Seeing that she had appeared out of the formation, this made Yisun startled and a little shaky. Zhong Shui, how could it be you? Remembering all the things that had happened made Zhong Shui hate to the extreme. She rushed forward to attack. Yisun, you changed your mind first, then refused to divorce and went to kill your wife. If you don't die, how can I be willing to go? She didn't say much and immediately rushed straight towards him to attack. On this side, Wu Yu hurriedly ran to Feiqi. She quickly called out his name, Chu Bai. Seeing him still sitting there very helpless made her even more worried. Chu Bai, what are you doing in a daze? I'm okay, get up quickly. But the only thing was that his face became extremely desperate. There is no peace even after death. What illusion are you creating, Feng Wu Yu? You are not a good bird. These words directly froze Wu Yu in an instant. She seemed to have thought of something. Assuming that Feiqi still didn't understand what was happening, she slapped him in the face a few times to wake him up. Feeling the pain coming from his face, Feiqi finally regained his senses. This time Wu Yu kept questioning him, Chu Bai, who did you say is not a good bird? Realizing that the person standing in front of him was Wu Yu, Feiqi hurriedly reacted. He quickly held her hand tightly. Does your hand hurt? Because he was afraid that this was a dream, he even slapped his face repeatedly. I hurt. After confirming that Wu Yu was completely fine, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. You are real, you're okay, right? Seeing him so sincere to her, Wu Yu gently sighed. She rubbed her hand on his face and comforted, I'm okay. While he was still recovering his strength, she gently stroked his head. Just now my blood urged those soul fragments to condense, then took me to the space where the superior god's last will was. What about you? What's wrong with you? On this side, Hong Xia and Tao Ya witnessing the scene of dog food became extremely speechless. Look at his worthless appearance. Xian Lu didn't forget to say loudly and signal. Chu brother, Yisun has been hiding from the heavenly punishment for many years. The guiding method I taught you is time to use it. Realizing that things were not completely over, Feiqi quickly pulled Wu Yu towards Xian Lu to discuss the next plan. After thinking for a while, Feiqi quickly informed the two of them, I'm going to help superior god Zhong Shui, you help me take care of her. Xian Lu heard this and laughed happily, quickly waving his hands to urge, we understand, you can rest assured and go. After entrusting her to them, he could finally turn and leave with peace of mind. Wait for me to return. Wu Yu waved goodbye while blankly asking Xian Lu, what is called helping him take care of me? While she was still not understanding what was happening, suddenly he asked back, you can't see it? She still didn't understand what he was saying, so he continued to look at Feiqi's blushing face, your little snake demon likes you. At this time the scene had shifted to the North Tianqi in the secret realm. Wu Yu listened silently to Xian Lu's words, your little snake demon likes you. Hearing this, she still didn't understand what he was trying to say. Who are you talking about? He calmly pointed towards Feiqi, him, he likes you. But contrary to Xian Lu's attitude of anticipation, Wu Yu burst out laughing, causing all three of them to be startled and confused. She suppressed her laughter to the point that her face was red and hurriedly explained, impossible, Chu Bai and I are just friends. This also made him quickly get straight to the point. In exchange for you, would you use your life to exchange life for a normal friend? These words also made Wu stand still in confusion and think. Noticing that she was thinking very intently, he didn't forget to move closer to tease her. Moreover, between friends they can like each other, right? These words completely made her brain stiff in an instant. Because she was too embarrassed, she could only hold Xianlu's beak tightly and pointed towards the battle that was still going on. That, you quickly look over there. On this side, the battle between He Sun and Zhong Shui was still being continued. The fierce battle right in front of her made Wu Yu a little confused. Superior god Zhong Shui is only in a soul state and can suppress that stinky old man? The three of them focused on observing and saw that Zhong Shui had caused a large wound on his body. Xianlu's face was now unusually serious. He said his analysis, that's because after that old man became a fallen immortal, his cultivation was damaged. Later he also spent a lot of effort in trying to make the wooden doll come to life. Of course he can't defeat superior god Zhong Shui. Her eyes were extremely determined as she kept slashing sharp swords. Just like that, different wounds constantly appeared on He Sun's body. A period of fighting had made his body covered in wounds, but he didn't care much. Now, have you vented your anger yet? Even so, the pain of that year was still a wound that would never heal for Zhong Shui. She declared loudly, these little injuries are not comparable to the pain when I was betrayed, murdered, and sealed for hundreds of years. He Sun, for what you have done, I want you to pay for everything. While the two were still arguing, suddenly a voice in the back sounded, Superior God Zhong Shui, step back. He Sun looked at the scene right in front of him and immediately became afraid. This time Fei Qi focused on cultivating, and Xianlu was right next to him directing the attack. Feeling that something was extremely dangerous, he immediately used his strength to break Zhong Shui's sword. He had shifted his attention from Zhong Shui to the two of them. Xianlu, what do you want to do? Seeing him rush towards him to attack also made him feel a little scared. At the critical moment, Zhong Shui's hand struck directly towards He Sun, causing him to be unable to react. Her face was extremely angry as she shouted loudly, you have been hiding from the heavenly thunder tribulation for many years, I want you to taste it. After she finished speaking, Xianlu had also become extremely eager. He had been waiting for this moment for a long time. But a long time passed and the lightning still hadn't been activated successfully, which made him extremely worried. Your little bit of lightning is not as much as the suffering that old man tricked you and little Phoenix to get the thunderstone. The electric current accumulating on Fei Qi's hand was getting more and more. Looking at the electric current on his hand made Xianlu realize something. He immediately turned his head to look at Wu Yu, causing her to be a little confused. In order to make things successful faster, he quickly whispered into Fei Qi's ear, just now little Phoenix almost died. These words were just as he expected. Fei Qi had directly become angry. Seeing that he was gradually succeeding made him extremely satisfied. This trick really works. After that, he still kept cheering, you almost parted forever. You won't be able to meet little Phoenix again. Suddenly Fei Qi's strange anger also made Wu Yu extremely confused. Xianlu's words kept ringing in Fei Qi's ears, only you can come forward to defend her. Just now little Phoenix almost died. For her, these things were all given by He Sun. You almost parted forever, you won't be able to meet again, all given by He Sun, only you can come forward to defend her. These things you will never meet again in your life. Only you can come forward to defend her, you almost then, given by He Sun. A series of provocative words made Fei Qi unable to bear it anymore. The thunder and lightning in him were accumulating more and more. His face had also become serious to the point of being strange. Realizing that the time had come, Fei Qi used his energy to strike straight at He Sun. This lightning current also made Wu Yu witness and broaden her horizons. After seeing that his results were gradually becoming successful, Xianlu smiled happily, oh damn, luckily that little Phoenix didn't die, otherwise this kid could really pierce the sky. On the sky appeared lightning strike straight at He Sun, causing him to be unable to avoid it. Just like that, he was continuously passed through by electric current unable to react. Feeling the pain to the core of his heart, he gradually became more desperate. No. Unable to bear these things anymore, He Sun this time kept pleading in despair, no, I just don't want to divorce, I'm not wrong, why are you treating me like this? Zhong Shui was extremely calm, she pinched her fingers to calculate, ridiculous. He Sun was so miserable after being hit by successive blows, he knelt down at her feet, Schwer. His body trembled as he grabbed her feet and cried and begged, Schwer, I have been punished, can you spare me for the sake of our hundreds of years of marriage? His shameless words immediately made her laugh in surprise. Spare you? But it seemed that the things that had happened had made her completely lose heart. You're dreaming. After seeing that everything was gradually returning to normal, Xianlu breathed a sigh of relief. Everything is over. Suddenly, fresh blood poured down on the ice below. It turned out that because he had been continuously accumulating energy for a long time, Feiqi had gradually lost strength. Seeing this, Xianlu became worried and hurriedly called out, "Chu friend." This scene also made Wu Yu stand on the side and be so scared that she couldn't speak. Feiqi's face was still sitting there quietly without any other reaction. She immediately ran straight to him and worriedly called his name. Seeing him fall to the ground below, she hurriedly rushed over in time. "Chu Bai." Hugging Feiqi right in front of her, she still couldn't return to calm. "Chu Bai." He was gradually losing consciousness, making her worried to the point of despair. "Chu Bai, wake up." She was still planning to use her energy to save him like the way he had once done with her. Suddenly Xianlu gently supported Feiqi and informed, "Today Chu friend drew the mandate of heaven formation and guided the heavenly thunder. His spiritual power was consumed too much. You were once in the sealed land of superior god Zhong Shui. Your spiritual power is weak." With no other choice, Wu Yu could only lower her head and beg, "Trouble Senior, for the sake of Mount Ti Wu, please Senior save him." Xianlu transmitted his spiritual power into Feiqi's body. "Don't worry, even without Mount Ti Wu, I will try my best to save Chu friend." After a long time, opening his eyes and looking at the snow-white scene right in front of him, Feiqi was a little surprised. He slowly opened his eyes and looked at the scene in front of him. Seeing that Feiqi had woken up made Wu Yu right next to him become worried. "Chu Bai, you're awake?" He gently nodded in confirmation with her, which also made her breathe a sigh of relief. Remembering the scene just now, Wu Yu was so angry that her face turned red. "You scared me to death just now." After she finished speaking, she immediately cried like a child, causing Feiqi to be confused and not know how to explain. She only knew how to play with tears of despair because of the situation just now, and this scene made him a little shy. But very quickly after that, the corners of his mouth had bloomed a gentle smile. This time Feiqi gently reached out to comfort her. "Don't cry anymore, aren't I still fine now?" While she was crying, suddenly Wu Yu remembered Xianlu's words, "Your little snake demon likes you." Remembering this made her stop crying. "I'm only worried about Chu Bai's safety. There is absolutely no other meaning." But seeing Feiqi was still comforting her made her even more embarrassed. "But I'm so proactive, what if Chu Bai misunderstands what to do?" Her face was burning hot and confused, not knowing what to do next. No, I can't do things that make the relationship between the two become weird. Why did I rush into his arms just now? How do I get out of his embrace now?" Seeing that she was a little strange made Feiqi become confused. Afraid that she felt that something was wrong, so he hurriedly spoke up and asked, "Feng Wu Yu, what's wrong?" She hurriedly looked in another direction and didn't know how to explain. While the two were chatting, suddenly the ground around this place had tremors. This made Wu Yu lose her balance and fall backwards. Seeing this, Feiqi hurriedly reached out to support her. "Be careful." The faces of the two moved closer together, causing both of them to blush with embarrassment. After returning to normal, the two quickly separated and didn't dare to face each other anymore. Zhong Shui also smiled and came over to inform, "You should go now." Remembering something important, Wu Yu quickly asked her, "Superior God Zhong Shui, what happened?" Hearing this, her face became serious and recounted everything. "That year He Sin used the entire secret realm to suppress my soul phantom. Now that I have lifted the seal, it's also time for this place to collapse." She also didn't forget to look towards the two Wu Yu and urged, "You two help me recast the residual soul. I will cast the magic to take you away. The things in these two boxes may be able to help you untie some of the doubts in your hearts." After she finished speaking, her face smiled gently and instructed, "You remember, you can only open them after you return." Receiving the wooden box in her hand, Wu Yu quickly glanced towards Feiqi silently understood. And so Zhong Shui opened the door back to where the two had first arrived. Before leaving, she didn't forget to hug Wu Yu and chat, "Go." Even Xianlu was extremely regretful with Feiqi's departure. "When we meet again we can drink your wedding wine," Hong Xia on his shoulder immediately scolded. "You can't use scorpions soaked in wine." Before the two left, Zhong Shui and Xianlu waved goodbye. "You too, if we have fate, we will meet again." Wu Yu and Feiqi also happily waved goodbye. Very quickly the scene had shifted to Mount Ti Wu. Inside the Taligo Divine Palace quickly sounded a signal. "Fifth princess has safely returned from the trial." Seeing Wu Yu had returned safely made Feigned extremely happy and gently stroked her head praising, "I knew that little Wu Yu would definitely be able to do it." Remembering something important, Nian quickly informed her older brothers. Throughout the trial, it was all Little Snake who took care of her. He has made great contributions. This also made Feigned feel a little suspicious. A small snake, what contributions can it make? Moreover, after you and it returned, brother still hasn't seen that snake. Could it be that the snake took the reward then cultivated in the secret realm and ran away? These words made Wu Yu extremely angry and replied to her older brother, fourth brother, don't talk nonsense. Little Snake was able to transform in the secret realm to protect me. Hearing this, Ling Zhang's face became serious to the point of being strange. Transform? This time the scene had shifted to Feng Wuyu's palace. Feigned's face was extremely curious. What kind of appearance did he transform into? Brother will go see. Wu Yu didn't forget to instruct, fourth brother, don't scare Chu Bai. I have to ask if he agrees to let everyone see his appearance after transforming. On this side, Feiqi was still lying there quietly pondering, looking at the wooden box in front of him. His face was a little strange when he remembered Zhong Shui's words. In the box is the half-faced mirror of heavenly glimpses, each of you one half. When put together you will be able to peek at the heavenly secrets, see the truth you want to see. Because he was too curious, Feiqi slowly opened the wooden box. This time, in front of his eyes appeared the image of Wu Yu using a sword to kill him with her own hands. This also made him immediately close the wooden box, not wanting to face it. The truth is clear in front of my eyes, why am I afraid? Feiqi quickly put away the wooden box inside his person and then reassured himself, the path to ascension has been destroyed once, I can't let her destroy it a second time. After thinking about this, he quickly looked in another direction. Regardless of the truth, I can't continue to stay in Yotu Wu. This time he quickly caught Wu Yu's attention. She was immediately happy when she saw him. Her face was strangely happy. She quickly spoke and called out, Chu Bai, so you're here. Seeing Wu Yu's face and smile also made Feiqi unconsciously blush. After a while, the two quickly sat on the branches of a tree and chatted happily. Remembering something important, Wu Yu was surprised and asked Feiqi, how is your wound? After leaving the secret realm, do you feel that the spiritual power in your body is very abundant? This made him a little surprised and thought, his spiritual power has indeed increased a lot, also that he can maintain human form, but, how does she know? After she finished speaking, she laughed and teased, my older brother said that increased cultivation is a hidden reward of the secret realm, my cultivation has also increased a lot. This made him speechless and nodded in agreement. After chatting for a few sentences, Wu Yu quickly looked at Feiqi with glittering eyes, that's right, my older brother wants to meet you, are you willing to let him see your transformed appearance? Can you not? Can you not? Suddenly he quickly turned his body in another direction, causing her to be a little startled. Realizing that Feiqi's attitude was strange made her not know what to do. What's wrong with him? He doesn't seem very happy. After thinking for a while, Wu Yu handed Feiqi an item, here, I'll give you this. Holding this mask in his hand made him very surprised, a mask? She didn't forget to explain, you don't wear the mask made of gold testing stone anymore, this mask doesn't have magical power to help. You wear it later. Feiqi was still stunned holding this mask in his hand when Wu Yu asked him with a thoughtful face, before you said that there was a scar on your face, that was actually an excuse. Right? Your original body doesn't have a wound. Her analytical words also froze him. She continued to say her thoughts, you stayed by my side with another purpose, but I can feel that you treat me well, so I am willing to take you in and let you stay. I hope that one day you and I can treat each other frankly and sincerely. These words also made Feiqi stunned and not dare to believe, how can she calmly accept someone with an unknown origin? This time, unable to hide his curiosity, Feiqi quickly asked his doubts, why? She surprisingly looked up at him with an innocent face, you treat me well, I am also willing to make friends with you, isn't that good? He sighed and didn't know what to say. This time he seriously taught her, as long as someone treats you well, you can be friends with that person, if Han Qing treats you well, you must also. Before he could finish speaking, Wu Yu angrily questioned loudly, Chu Bai, what nonsense are you talking about? Remembering the words he had just said, Feiqi was a little speechless and didn't know how to explain, the gold testing stone is stimulating me to vent my emotions. I can't live with her anymore. He continued to look down at the ground below and informed Wu Yu, I don't need any mask, and I don't want to go meet your older brother. After he finished speaking, he went straight down to the ground below. This was Wu Yu's extreme confusion, Chu Bai. She hurriedly pulled his sleeve with a puzzled face, what's wrong with you? Is it that your injury hasn't healed and your body is uncomfortable? Let me see. Feichi thought to the point of being strange. He coldly informed her, I want to be alone. With no other choice, Wu could only nod in agreement, okay. Her face was a little resentful and quickly threw the mask down on the ground below. If you don't need this gift, it's meaningless for me to keep it, might as well throw it away. Just like that, Wu turned and left, leaving Feichi there. After she had left, he gently picked up the mask from the ground below. His face was very thoughtful, not knowing how to explain, sorry, Feng Wu. He gently put this mask on his face, I am forced to leave. While Feichi was preparing to leave, he was startled to realize that something was wrong. His face immediately turned red and he couldn't believe it. Even his body couldn't stand and collapsed on the ground below, too uncomfortable. Feichi's body suddenly had strange changes, causing him to blush and shout, too uncomfortable. His whole body seemed to be undergoing a change, causing him to only helplessly lie down on the ground below. My skin is burning hot, my snake tail can't be controlled and wants to stick out. While Feichi was still not knowing what to do, at the same time his snake tail had appeared, He felt the changes coming from his body, it's about to shed its skin. Looking at the clear lake right in front of him, Feichi suddenly thought, I can only go into the water to soothe it first. With no other choice, he could only dive into the calm lake surface. The scene shifted to late at night in Wu Yu's room. She was still struggling with the mess in her head, making her unable to fall asleep. Wu Yu tried to close her eyes tightly, turning from one side to the other. Shan Qiu seemed to understand her mood. It worriedly asked, Master, can't you sleep? It's not easy to return from the trial, aren't you tired? But almost it had guessed a part of her heart, could it be that the snake has provoked you? Hearing this made her immediately stunned. Seeing Wu Yu's attitude made Shan Qiu even angrier, it held its sword and flew away, I'll go find him. Fortunately, she managed to grab its leg in time, come back. Feeling that she still had some thoughtful resentment in her heart, it continued to question, okay, it really is him, did he bully you in the secret realm? She hurriedly shook her head to deny. Hearing this it immediately speculated, or did he steal your credit and betray you? But this also didn't make her angry, it's not that either. Shan Qiu after a series of information failed to gather any useful intel, which made it very curious, then what's wrong with him? Quickly putting on her clothes, she walked outside, he is very good to me sometimes, and very indifferent at other times. After she finished speaking, Wu Yu thoughtfully glanced outside, sometimes it seems like he likes me very much, sometimes it seems like, he doesn't like me. These words had shocked Shan Qiu to the point of falling to the ground below, likes who? Seeing it react so fiercely, her face immediately became judgmental, if you dare to talk about this outside, I will turn you into a feather duster. This also made Shan Qiu scared and hurriedly nodded in agreement, I will definitely keep it a secret. While Wu Yu was still walking back and forth lost in thought, Shan Qiu seemed puzzled and kept flying around her head, but he likes you because you are good. Why are you still depressed and unhappy? If he doesn't like you then it also has no effect on you, could it be that you? Hearing its speculation, Wu Yu blushed shyly and hurriedly put on a blanket to keep warm, I'm not happy because I don't like being affected by other people's emotions. The inner core still hasn't been found, these things will only distract me. But Shan Qiu's next words were like an arrow stabbed straight into her head, then why don't you make it clear with him? This time it had transformed into a knowledgeable Conan and said its thoughts, I know, it's because you're afraid that after you reject him, you will lose a friend. Then you're afraid that continuing to treat him well will make him misunderstand your feelings, right? She finally nodded in confirmation to this. After thinking for a short time, Shan Qiu quickly said its idea, I have a way that can make you boldly open your mouth, but won't make him embarrassed, do you want to try? Wu Yu heard this and was curious, what way? It quickly took out a jar of forgetful wine, its face was a little complacent as it introduced, this is forgetful wine, ordinary people drink 1 glass and they are drunk. With your alcohol capacity, 3 glasses are enough. Everyone listens based on what they say, by that time you make it clear with Chubai, if he is a smart person. Of course he won't make it difficult for you. This plan of Shan Qiu also made Wu Yu feel suspicious, is that really okay? It was very confident with its plan, our intelligence team often read stories when we have nothing to do. The stories are all written like that, you believe me? After listening to her close teammate's persuasion, Wu Yu seriously picked up the jar of forgetful wine and thought. Quickly drank the whole jar of wine in her hand in an instant. On this side, Feichi was still painfully thrashing in the water below. His eyes slowly opened, trying to endure this pain. After a long period of time passed, Feiqi's wound had gradually eased, causing him to finally breathe a sigh of relief. Looking at his body that was still constantly improving, he quickly had his own calculations. When a snake sheds its skin, it will be temporarily blind at first. Now I can't leave Mount Tiwu. The cold water can only temporarily soothe the process of a snake shedding its skin. I must hide myself. After calculating for a while, Feiqi immediately recited his incantation. Borrow things to transform things. Real fake. I can do it. He was still practicing the ritual when suddenly there was a movement in the back, causing him to hurriedly turn his head to react. Who? Beating into his eyes was Wu Yu, appearing with a charming appearance and a blushing face. Seeing him in the water below, she had become very surprised. Chu bai. She didn't care about anything else. She immediately threw the jar of forgetful wine down into the water below. Standing in front of Feiqi, Wu Yu couldn't believe what she was seeing. Chu bai. Because of the effects of the wine, she quickly rushed straight towards Feiqi's tail. Before he could react, she had grabbed his tail tightly. A happy smile appeared on her face. I caught you. Seeing her acting so strangely, he didn't know what to say. This thing that doesn't know life and death. Because he couldn't see temporarily, Feiqi immediately used his tail to wrap tightly around Wu Yu's body. He even dragged her into the water, causing her to be a little scared and shout. Feeling that something was wrong, she hurriedly signaled to Feiqi. Too high, Chu bai, let me down. Hearing this familiar voice, Feiqi was stunned. He confusedly asked back as if wanting to confirm. Feng Wu Yu? Even though he caused danger to her, Wu Yu still didn't care at all. She smiled and waved to greet. It's me. Seeing this scene made him directly become distracted. Just now she was so angry. Why has she come back to find me? Wu Yu was still covering her mouth tightly and waving to signal. Chu bai, I'm nauseous. Quickly let me down. After getting down to the water below, Wu Yu opened her mouth wide and plugged it into his tail. But Feiqi still didn't care much. He only knew how to cover his face and tremble, standing on one side, not daring to get close. My current appearance is definitely very crude. I can't let her see it. After thinking for a while, he gently used his tail to put Wu Yu on the shore far away from him. Feiqi closed his eyes tightly. He continued to use the incantation. What is seen is not all things. He was trying to use the spell to hypnotize Wu Yu, but unfortunately she woke up. The first thing she did was tightly grasp his incantations and shout loudly, break. After successfully breaking the spell, Wu Yu turned her head to look at Feiqi and showed a playful smile. Don't even think about hypnotizing me. Seeing her still constantly jumping into the water, getting closer to him, Feiqi gradually became panicked. Feng Wu Yu, don't come over, go back. Clearly she didn't listen to these words, even moving closer to him. I'm not. Seeing her in such close contact with him also made Feiqi feel surprised. You're not afraid of me? Wu Yu laughed warmly. She gently comforted. I'm not afraid. Hearing her say that, he gently moved closer to her and intimidated. I'm changing skin. Before long my whole person will be rotten, to the point of not being human or ghost. You're not afraid either? Still the same, she didn't listen to any of it, even she used her 2 hands to touch his body. I'm not afraid. Her voice kept ringing in his ear. Before I came, I instructed you not to let other people get close to this place. Now I'll protect you. These words made Feiqi a little blush. Wu Yu's slender fingers constantly touched his body, making him unable to bear it anymore. He hurriedly grabbed her small hands and ordered, don't move. Feiqi's face was blushing and he didn't know what to do next. Her like this will only stimulate my improper thoughts. He gently spoke to persuade Wu Yu. You're drunk. Under the lake water, but she didn't care about the cold. She suddenly remembered something. Fatty said after drinking you will say the truth. I have something to say to you. This made him feel curious. What words? Wu Yu moved closer to Feiqi's face and praised. You are very handsome. He laughed in surprise as if he had foreseen this. You only want to say that? She shook her head. Her face was somewhat serious. There's more. I also know that you like me. Her hands gently touched Feiqi's hair. But I can't like you. Hearing this he froze, not daring to believe his ears. Wu Yu's eyes were a little sad and didn't know how to explain. But I don't want to lose a friend like you. Feiqi heard this and laughed. He couldn't believe what he had just heard. Friend? This time the attitude on his face had completely changed. Now your friend is very uncomfortable. Wu Yu was still naive and didn't understand what he was trying to say. She surprisedly raised her head to look at him. Can I help you? He gently pushed her small hands away. Clothes will affect my shedding skin. I can't see anything anymore. He used her hand to touch the clothes he was wearing. You help me, take them off, he said. The moon was gradually rising in the sky, in the middle of the lake water. Witnessing the scene just now made Wu Yu very embarrassed. Take off your clothes. Feichi nodded, blushing as he looked at her. His face revealed a smug smile. Yes, take off your clothes. Because of the urging of the alcohol, Wu gently took off the clothes on his body. Her fingers accidentally touched his body, making her very surprised. These close contacts made Feichi's body sensitive. He was startled to realize that something was not right. This time he hurriedly held her hand and signaled, "Don't touch randomly." Wu was a little frozen when she saw him react so violently. He gently moved closer to her face, her eyes widened as if she had witnessed something new. Unable to restrain himself, she quickly reached out to Feichi's face. "Chubai." Her eyes had some implications. She immediately went straight to the point. "Can I kiss you?" These words of hers also made Feichi blush and freeze on the spot. Before he could react, Wu had quickly moved closer to him. "You're so beautiful." Time seemed to stop flowing. Feichi couldn't see anything, but he felt her breath was gradually getting closer. The two people were only a little more away from touching each other. But at the last moment, because he couldn't bear it, Feichi hurriedly turned his body in another direction. Wu gently kissed his cheek, causing him to be a little startled. After finishing the forced kiss, she laughed with satisfaction. "I got a kiss." Unable to let this situation happen anymore, Feichi immediately used his hand to strike the back of her neck. He gently carried her up so as not to let her encounter danger. Wu had completely fallen asleep in his arms. Now he didn't know what to do. Remembering the scene just now made him a little surprised. "What have I done?" At that time he even smiled and let Wu take off his clothes. Thinking about this made him not dare to face it. He blushed and sighed. "The one who deliberately seduced her was me, and the one who still retreated was me." Looking at Wu, who was still sleeping well as if nothing had happened, suddenly he spoke. "Feng Wu, now is not the best time to resolve the grievances. Wait for me to be strong enough. I believe that grievances and hatred will no longer be a problem." He gently moved closer to her face. "Wait for me to come back." Feichi only stared infatuatedly at Wu's face lying there quietly. "If you don't say anything, then I'll consider that you agree." Feeling that the time was too late, he quickly carried her up to the surface of the water. Afraid that she would be injured, he carefully placed her down on the ground below. Even worried that Wu would get sick, he didn't forget to take his clothes to cover her. Time very quickly shifted to the morning of the next day at Mount Tiwu. This time Wu had also woken up. She hurriedly sat up and shouted, "Chubai." But the surrounding area was silent. It seemed that Feichi had disappeared from some time ago. After taking Feichi's clothes back, Wu angrily kicked the door of the room hard. She quickly walked inside with an angry face. Remembering the things that had happened made her unable to bear it and angrily shouted, leaving without saying goodbye, "I have raised an ungrateful snake." Remembering something that was not right, Wu immediately stopped. Unconsciously, she remembered the image appearing in her head, the scene of her kissing Feichi last night. It can't be my memory. Just thinking about the things that had happened made her blush and tremble, not daring to face it. While she was still thinking, Shanqiu quickly flew in to report, Master, there is new intelligence. Secret agents have discovered the whereabouts of the Snake Clan leader." It quickly flew towards the room where Wu stood blankly. Hearing Shanqiu's news didn't make her care. She only remembered the scene from yesterday and blushed, trembling, taking advantage of troubled times. While Nian was still standing there thinking, Shanqiu kept speaking to urge, Master. Seeing that it couldn't call her, it became even angrier and questioned, "Emergency intelligence, how can you be distracted? Could it be that last night?" As soon as it said that, Wu shouted and hurriedly turned back to cover its mouth. Her mood had now become very unstable. She sighed and signaled, "I have heard the intelligence you said, lead the way." This made Shanqiu become very confused. It hurriedly said its thoughts, "You want to personally go investigate? That Chu Feichi has disappeared for so long. Now suddenly he appears near Mount Tiwu. Don't you feel that this is very strange? What if?" Its face became very worried to the point of panic. "What if the people of the Snake Clan deliberately spread the news, setting a trap to ambush us? What should we do?" But 100 Yen was still very calm, folding Feichi's clothes. "Your meaning is that the Snake Clan, in order to lure me out, dug a hole in front of my house waiting for me to jump in? Are you stupid, or is Chu Feichi stupid here?" Seeing her put the clothes away carefully made Shanqiu feel very curious. It kept flying around her head. "Whose clothes are these? It seems to be a man's." Continuous words had made Wu a little angry. She turned her head and grabbed Shanqiu's head and ordered, "Talk less and do more. I haven't investigated the ridiculous idea you proposed last night yet." This made it scared but still fought. Last night something big must have happened. The scene had shifted to the main hall at the Tiwu Divine Palace. Outside between a bamboo forest, a light breeze blew through making the bamboo leaves ring out with rustling sounds. Holding the jade pendant in her hand, Wu Yu concentrated, Shanqiu quickly signaled, "Master, we're here, it's this place." She looked at the two broken pieces of jade in her hand a little helplessly. After the amulet was damaged, I can't track Chubai anymore. But with no other choice, Wu Yu could only continue to go forward to investigate this matter. Forget it, his matters will be calculated later. The scene shifted to the other side, several injured bandits lay scattered on the ground. At the same time, Wu Yu and Shanqiu had also appeared at this place. Looking at the scene right in front of her also made her quickly speculate. It seems that there was a fierce battle here before. These three little demons were clearly killed by Chu Feiqi. After carefully examining this situation, even Wu Yu sat down to observe the bloodstains on the ground carefully. The smell is very strong, this must be snake blood. After observing the bloodstains, she quickly transformed into a Conan and calculated, if it really is Chu Feiqi, it's possible that he was injured by the three little demons. His condition at that time wouldn't have been good, so it's not that he attacked first. This time the time had shifted to 2 hours ago. Feiqi concentrated on leaving Mount Tiwu. His face was very thoughtful as he sank into his own thought. They must experience the pain of changing flesh. He looked helplessly at his tail that was gradually shedding its skin, and I cultivate the dragon transformation divine art. Every time I shed my skin I will definitely attract monsters from all directions. Now only by urging the progress of shedding skin can I not cause trouble for her. Suddenly a mocking voice sounded, "The smell of snakes is too strong." Feiqi heard this and was surprised. In front of him, three little demons quickly appeared. He laughed happily, daring to walk around randomly when shedding skin. "You really don't know life and death." Seeing that he was about to fight with these three little demon spirits, Feiqi was a little tired. "I haven't completely shed my skin, although my spiritual power has increased. I can only persist for 1 day." His vision immediately recovered. He prepared to attack these three little demon spirits. However, dealing with these small fry is enough. The leader laughed smugly and quickly went over to ridicule. "Why talk nonsense? Directly divide him and eat him. The spiritual power on his body is ours." But Feiqi still didn't care much. He sank into his own thoughts. "Now I'm on the edge of Mount Tiwu. Even if I kill people here no one will associate me with her." While he was still sinking into his own thoughts, the three little demon spirits quickly rushed over. "Hand over your life." 10 minutes had passed. After a long battle had made Feiqi exhausted and sit on the ground below, the three little demon spirits were also completely defeated. He gently put on his black cloak. Just like that he left this place as if nothing had happened. On this side, looking at the traces of the scene, Wu Yu quickly signaled, "Fatty, I will continue to follow the traces. You go back and get me some Dharma treasures." His words also made Shanqiu feel very worried. "No, it's too dangerous for you to go alone. Still wait for our other secret agents to arrive and then decide." She still didn't care about these words. He was seriously injured. He won't go too far. Waiting will only delay the opportunity. Looking at the mountains that overlapped each other right in front of her, Wu Yu said her decision with determination. After leaving the territory of Mount Tiwu, not far ahead there is Qingquan City. If I don't catch up with him, then go there and wait for you to meet up. After hearing this plan, although Shanqiu was a little worried, it still made her, "Okay, you remember to leave signals along the way." She nodded in understanding to it. Very quickly the two went in two directions. Wu Yu continued her search. Inside the bamboo forest, Feiqi sat there quietly concentrating on cultivation. Feeling that footsteps were gradually coming closer, he immediately became vigilant. Someone is coming again, how persistent. In the distance, Feiqi seriously parted the bamboo leaves to examine the situation. Beating into her eyes was a man wearing a black cloak sitting there quietly. But this behavior of hers also made Feiqi quickly recognize it. He immediately had his own calculations. The purpose of this trip is only to investigate, not to cause enmity. In a situation where I don't know the other party's strength, I should still withdraw a little further. His face became serious as he thought, "My spiritual power is not much left, only by deliberately slowing down can that person keep up." He was still waiting for the opportunity, then with a sure kill, but while he was still waiting, the surrounding area became unusually quiet. Feeling that something was wrong, Feiqi confusedly turned his head to look behind. Seeing everything return to normal made him breathe a sigh of relief. Such a good opportunity. The other party didn't keep up, proving that the other party doesn't have murderous intent towards me. After thinking about that, he quickly walked forward. However, compared to clear murderous intent, being spied on without knowing the intention is even more terrifying. Feiqi quickly pulled out a map from his hand. Looking at the map in front of him, he already had his own calculations. To avoid being discovered my shelter, I should still shake off this person. The map has clearly marked different regions that are clearly divided. The place that Feichi paid attention to was Qingquan City. According to legend, the city lord of Qingquan City is a great power from the upper realm. This city is independent outside the three realms. Even people with different strengths constantly appeared in Qingquan City, not restricted by the laws of the three realms. Gods, humans, and demons can all enter. Thinking of this, Feichi angrily glanced behind. This time he had come to Qingquan City, knowing that there was still someone following him made him a little angry. The other party has kept a long distance throughout the journey, deliberately making me relax my vigilance. How cunning. On this side, Wu constantly drank water in her spiritual energy bottle. After a long period of time constantly following Feichi had made her very tired. I didn't bring enough speed charms. Based on my feet, I almost couldn't keep up. I'll breathe in some spiritual energy to replenish first. Seeing him still continuing to go inside made her startled and worried. He's entered the city. This time she quickly raised her vigilance and pulled out another item from her person. Qingquan City is a mixture of good and bad, in which there are not a few great powers from the realms. I can't let other people see that I am a newbie without an inner core. After thinking about this, she was holding a bottle of chi concealing pills in her hand. Using the chi concealing pills will be a little more secure. And so Wu followed behind Feichi for a long distance. No matter how he went into the corners, she would follow, seemingly not wanting to lose track. After a long period of walking, Wu had become very tired and panting. Suddenly Feichi stopped. She quickly understood the problem. This person is leading me around the city. Clearly he knows that I'm following. Now he stopped. Clearly he's deliberately luring me up. Thinking of this made her very uncomfortable and not know what to do. If I go up, there will definitely be a trap waiting for me. But if I give up here, then I will lose the only clue in these 2 years. Remembering something important, Wu quickly reached out to leave a signal. With Fatty's speed, the secret agent team will very quickly be able to catch up. Even if I'm caught, there will still be a bit of life. Thinking of this, she continued to look at Feichi, who was walking in front. Moreover, I don't have bad intentions towards him. It seems I'll have to take a risk. On Feichi's side, not seeing her go up ahead made him a little thoughtful. Seeing that she was still constantly going behind him, he had his own calculations in his head. This person is deliberately hiding their cultivation. I'm afraid that this person's strength is higher than me, only it's a pity they're too stupid and arrogant, knowing that I'm setting a trap but still wanting to follow. Then let me see who you really are. The scene shifted to the inside of a large hall. A voice sounded, "Third Highness, your subordinate has been following from Mount Tiwu to here. Feng Wu, you must have escaped with that snake." Hearing this news, but Han Qing became very calm. His face was a little angry and speechless. That hussy Feng Wu, because of a snake demon she has repeatedly refused the marriage. Let me catch her, I will definitely. While he was still angry, a subordinate looked down from the tower and hurriedly shouted a signal. "Highness, bon them, it's those adulterous lovers." Before everyone was the image of Feichi going ahead while Wu was still trying to follow behind. Seeing Feichi's face, this made Han Qing a little surprised. That snake has transformed? The subordinate nodded in confirmation and didn't forget to report, "Yes, according to your orders, I have always been secretly monitoring them. That snake only had the opportunity to transform after going with Feng Wu to the secret realm." This time Han Qing stepped outside and looked at the figures of Feichi and Wu who were walking. Just thinking about the things that had happened made him angrier and broke the fan in his hand. His face now bloomed a very distorted smile. Very good, as long as they leave Mount Tiwu, whether they live or die, is not up to this highness to decide? Hearing this, the subordinate's eyes immediately lit up. Your subordinate will immediately go kill them. He suddenly shook his head to interrupt. No. His face had become extremely vicious. This highness has suddenly changed his mind. Letting them die like that wouldn't be too much of a bargain for them. This time Han Qing gently sat down on his chair. The image of the two people had thought of in his head. I want them to regret. Living is worse than death in my hands. The two were still not knowing anything. Wu was always following behind Feichi. The speed was getting closer and closer, making Feichi feel a little angry. If you're sticking so close, then don't blame me. He then pointed his 2 fingers and read the incantation, Bewitching Soul Formation, open. Seeing him take strange action also made Wu feel very confused. Why has he suddenly stopped? Her face became incredulous. That's not right. Realizing that something had changed behind her, she unconsciously turned her head. This time Wu Yu was standing in front of a completely different space from here, making her very helpless and not know what to do. I've been tricked. Seeing his bewitching soul formation succeed, Feichi smiled triumphantly and turned his head to mock. Once you've entered my bewitching soul formation, you can't get out easily. Realizing that something was not right, his face was confused on the spot. Seeing Wu Yu standing there without any reaction, he became panicked and unbelievable. Why is it phone Wu Yu? On this side, Wu Yu hearing the familiar voice also felt a little surprised. Chu Bai's voice? But then she denied this thought. That's not right, Kingquan City is so dangerous, Chu Bai couldn't have entered here alone. Could it be that this formation? Realizing that something was wrong, her face immediately became panicked. Also has the effect of bewitching people's hearts. In that case I will choose to refuse being bewitched. Wu Yu chewed the pills and stared at the illusion that Chu Bai had left behind. This person tricked me into a dead end, and set up a formation to trap me from beginning to end but has never turned his head. Wu Yu's eyes seriously realized something. After thinking for a short time, she calmly walked straight ahead. Realizing that the situation was not good, Feichi hurriedly shouted a signal, no. He quickly ran towards her and shouted loudly, don't go. These words only made Wu Yu treat them as wind blowing through her ears, still wanting to use Chu Bai to bewitch me, right? Quickly swallowing the heart-cleansing pills into her mouth. Realizing that the situation was gradually becoming unfavorable, Feichi quickly rushed over to prepare to defuse the formation. Suddenly a large hand interrupted him. When he turned his head he saw the figure of Yan Yu. He quickly ordered him, old man Yan Yu, what are you grabbing me for? Let go. His face had become very serious and he quickly urged, there are people ahead that we can't afford to offend. This place is not convenient to stay for long, you come with me. Hearing this, Feichi became worried and didn't know what to do. I left an illusion in the bewitching soul formation. Realizing that Wu Yu was still in danger made him even more worried. Only when she is bitten by the venomous snake transformed by that illusion can she break the formation. I have to go save her. Yan Yu saw this and looked at him with unbelievable eyes. She will be fine. This also made him feel very curious. Why are you so sure? In this urgent situation, he whispered into his ear, what color of sack does the leader like? Before Feichi could answer, he immediately used his hand to strike the back of his neck. Just like that he fainted, Yan Yu also pulled out a black bag from his hand and helplessly spoke, sorry leader, today there's only a black sack. On this side, Wu Yu became very serious and proceeded to the back of the mysterious person. While she was still preparing, Han Qing had appeared right behind her. Be careful, don't touch it. Seeing him appear at this place also made Wu Yu feel confused. She quickly ordered, let go. Wu Yu's scary reaction also made Han Qing smile and hurriedly retreated. Fifth princess, this bewitching soul formation was set up by the insidious snake clan. Luckily I passed by and saw it, otherwise what if you were injured? Hearing this, Wu Yu had become very curious and approached Han Qing to question, did you see who that person was? Hearing this sentence made him a little surprised. You don't know who that person is? She was a little vigilant as she looked towards him. Seeing that she still didn't know what had happened, his face revealed a smug smile. Feng Wu Yu actually doesn't know that the person who wants to harm her is the pet snake she is raising. Things have become interesting. This time Han Qing smiled and quickly chatted, I saw the appearance of that person clearly. Wu Yu was still looking forward to it when his voice had changed a little, only I can't bear to say it to avoid making fifth princess sad. Knowing Han Qing's bad intentions, Wu Yu was a little angry. This person, you can tell at a glance that he has no good intentions. Immediately turned her head and left, then don't say it. Looking at her appearance, Han Qing immediately became serious again. I have given you the opportunity, you just didn't ask. Before she left, he kindly spoke to her mind, this is a demon soul formation, fifth princess doing that can't get out. This made her very surprised. Looking at this, Third Highness has a way? Han Qing's face was a little smug. He quickly soothed her worried mood. The snake clan's little trap, there's no need to be afraid. Hearing this, Wu Yu's face was stunned to the point of being unbelievable. She used glittering eyes to look towards him. I originally thought that in the moment that Third Highness appeared, this formation would have self-destructed. Hearing this, he was still not angry. This time he even took the opportunity to move closer to her face. Just now I was worried about the safety of the princess. So I didn't care about it. Now I will immediately break the formation and take you out. Seeing him so kind, she also had to secretly note it in her heart. It's been hard on Third Highness. Han Qing gently raised his hand in the air to break this formation map in the blink of an eye. When he lowered his hand, break. Immediately a stream of air dissipated. Just like that, everything in this place gradually returned to normal in front of Han Qing. He smiled gently and reached out to Wu Yu to instruct, "Fifth princess, the demon formation has been broken, let's go." Realizing that something was wrong, she hurriedly shouted a warning, "Be careful." At the same time, a black snake had rushed to attack. Taking advantage of Han Qing's inattention, it had bitten straight into his shoulder. He was so angry that he couldn't bear it anymore. He immediately killed this black snake. Finally, the space here returned to normal. Wu Yu blankly looked at the scene in front of her. Knowing that if she stayed here then things would not be good, immediately made a decision. His purpose in saving me is not simple. I can't be with him, I'll take a step ahead while I can. She was preparing to leave when suddenly a sword-holding guard quickly stopped her. He coldly drew his sword and shouted loudly, "Fifth princess, our highness was injured because he saved you, now where do you want to go?" Seeing a guard dare to speak loudly to her, Wu Yu's face immediately changed. Absurd. Her attitude became more dignified than ever. This time she quickly questioned, "Han Qing was bitten by a venomous snake, I'm going to find a doctor. Do you also want to stop me?" This attitude of hers also made the guard feel a little scared. Seeing that the situation was gradually becoming unfavorable, Han Qing smiled awkwardly and signaled, "Fifth princess is kind, this little snake venom is just a small wound." He continued to move closer to Wu Yu and proposed, "After dark, it's not safe in Quan City, fifth princess might as well follow me back to the inn first and then make further plans." With no other choice, she could only nod in agreement. "Okay, it just so happens that I know that there is a skilled doctor who often stays at an inn in Quan City, let's go there." He was still very friendly and smiled as he approached her. "Okay, listen to fifth princess." The scene shifted to a large inn. After waking up, Feiqi had shouted helplessly, "Yan Yu." But he had stopped him in time and didn't let him go crazy. Remembering all the things that had happened made Feiqi very eager and urged, "Where is this? You take me back." He hurriedly explained the reason why he did that just now. "Okay, I'll take you there for the people of the Dragon Clan to beat to death." Hearing the two words Dragon Clan made Feiqi realize something important. Dragon Clan? Yan Yu nodded to confirm this. In his head he thought of the scene of Quan City with 3 different people, gods, immortals, demons, and monsters walk around in Quan City all hiding secrets that can't let other people know, so everyone is covering up their aura, afraid of being seen by other people their identity. Speaking to here, his face was a little helpless, only the Dragon Clan, act domineeringly, never cover up. Hearing this, Feiqi remembered all the way he had traveled. There is a Dragon Clan in the city, but I didn't feel anything. Yan Yu hearing these words was a little angry and grabbed his collar tightly. "You forcibly accelerated the process of shedding skin, and left the snake skin unshed. Of course you wouldn't notice it." After he finished speaking, he kept scolding, "Do you know that increased magic power like this can only be maintained for 1 day? If it's black, the reaction will affect your life." And also, before he could finish speaking, Feiqi had realized that something was wrong. Beating into his eyes was the scene of 3 people. Han Qing, Wu Yu appearing at this place. The guard quickly explained, "Fifth princess, there is only 1 superior room left in the inn." Third Highness said, "Tonight you sleep on the bed, he sleeps on the ground, just stay for 1 night." Seeing his enemy and Wu Yu appear had made Feiqi angry but unable to show it. Seeing him act like that, Yan Yu immediately cried and comforted, "Everyone has had a young time, I understand." Time very quickly shifted to late at night at this inn. Feiqi lay quietly on the bed. The more he thought the angrier he became, even he gnashed his teeth. Not wanting to think about it, but in his head he thought of the scene of the 2 people Han Qing and Wu Yu being intimate together. Just thinking about these things made Feiqi clench his teeth and crush the wooden bed, causing Yan Yu to be startled in fear. He confusedly pointed towards his bed. "You." Was quietly. Suddenly the inn heard a loud noise, causing everyone to be startled. This time the bed had broken into pieces. Feiqi calmly asked Yan Yu as if nothing had happened, "If I say, I didn't do it on purpose, do you believe it?" Clearly he didn't believe these words, even he covered his mouth and laughed loudly. He quickly put on his clothes and angrily ordered, "It's okay, you just keep laughing, wait for me to come back, I will burn that fox tail of yours." Hearing these words made him scared. "You shouldn't be like that." Suddenly on the outside quickly sounded a knock on the door. The waiter hurriedly ran up and worriedly asked, "Customer, just now I heard some movement, the shopkeeper told me to come and ask if you need any help." Yan Yu was too embarrassed so he could only pull out a gold ingot and chatted, "The bed is broken, we'll pay, trouble you to find us another room." Hearing this, Feiqi's face showed clear dissatisfaction. He quickly repeated, "Don't change rooms." Hearing this, the waiter hurriedly took the gold and ran away. Okay, then I'll change a new bed for the customer. Witnessing the commotion from Feiqi's room, the guard laughed in surprise, unable to believe the husband of this family is really healthy, even made the bed collapse. Remembering something important, she immediately spoke a signal. The doctor I invited is about to arrive, you retreat first. He heard this and nodded in understanding, okay. At this time, the time had shifted to a moment later. Inside the room, Han Qing was still sitting there quietly. His fingers constantly acupuncture on his body. Because he was blindfolded, he didn't pay attention to these things. Fifth princess, you can actually do this for me. Why were you so indifferent to me before? Wu Yu laughed and quickly explained to him, Third Highness was injured because he saved me. I doing these things is nothing. Hearing this, he smiled and gently put his hand on the hand of the acupuncturing man. You personally suck out the toxins for me. This intimate behavior between boyfriend and girlfriend. How can it be considered a small matter? Rest assured, I will take responsibility for you. Hearing this, she tried not to laugh loudly. What is Highness saying? Why don't I understand? Realizing that something was not right, Han Qing hurriedly turned his head in another direction. The direction of the voice is not right. When he opened his blindfold, Wu Yu was standing before him, making him confused. Why are you? While he was still not understanding what was happening, a man quickly stepped forward and spoke a signal. Customer, I have sucked out all the toxins in your body. In order to be handsome every day, I don't need the examination fee. Remembering all the actions of this man just now made him even more furious. You audacious monster, I must kill you. But Han Qing's body suddenly became shaky to the point of being strange. What happened? Where is my spiritual power? The divine physician man smiled and quickly walked outside and didn't forget to explain. Customer, don't be angry. My saliva has an anesthetic effect. It's effective for 1 hour. Before this man left, he didn't forget to say goodbye to Wu Yu. I have done what the girl entrusted. I'll go first. She smiled and waved. Thank you. Remembering all the things that had happened made Han Qing so angry that he couldn't speak. Feng Wu Yu, you did this on purpose, right? She didn't avoid this question and nodded in confirmation. That's right. Even she moved closer to him and provoked. I only pitied you for helping me once, so I invited someone to save you. It was the Highness himself who misunderstood, so he fell into the trap. Immediately after, she pulled out a stone in front of him. If your Highness doesn't want what just passed out, it's best not to follow me, if your Highness. The thing that Wu Yu was holding in her hand was a shadow recording stone. She laughed happily. If I'm not careful, the possibility is that all the gods will know about this. Wu Yu turned her back and left, leaving Han Qing behind extremely angry and only knew how to curse. Feng Wu Yu, you wait for me. Even his strength had broken the bed currently. A loud noise sounded, making the innkeeper and the waiter a little angry. Again? Feiqi, who was eavesdropping, was so worried that he was trembling, and Yan Yu right next to him became incredulous. I didn't hear anything, just a crash. The bed in the room next door has also collapsed. Unable to bear this scene anymore, Feiqi quickly turned and walked outside. I'm going out for a trip. Seeing him so angry, Yan Yu had tried to dissuade him. Don't go. I still have something important to say, but he still didn't care about these things. Just thinking about the thing that Wu Yu was encountering made him so angry that he couldn't bear it. I have something more important. Your matter, I'll talk about it when I come back. As soon as he opened the door on the outside, he caught the image of Wu Yu. Seeing him had appeared made her very happy and called out, It's you. Because she had met an acquaintance in the mountains, she happily moved closer. Feiqi's head suddenly had a brainstorm. He pointed to her face, the little fairy of Mount Tiwu. Seeing that he had also recognized her, Wu Yu laughed and chatted, Little immortal officer, we've met again. Immediately after, her face became judgmental and glanced towards him. The matter that I asked you to inquire about, you haven't forgotten, have you? He saw this and fearfully explained. Of course I wouldn't forget, I always remember this matter in my heart. The two were still chatting when Han Qing's angry shout sounded. Can't let Feng Wu Yu run, must catch her back to the dragon clan to be married. These words also made Feiqi startled. Wu Yu's face immediately became serious as she considered the next plan. The means of Yui can't trap Han Qing for too long. If that man in black is Chu Feiqi, perhaps he is still in Quan City. This time her face immediately became more serious. I must seize the time. On this side, after hearing the news, Feiqi's face was a little angry. They're about to get married? Remembering something important, Wu Yu quickly spoke and called out, Little immortal officer. He hurriedly reacted, I'm here. This time she smiled and said goodbye. I have something to do and have to go first. The news of that person I'm relying on you to pay attention to. After it's done I will definitely reward you. Hearing that she wanted to leave made him very confused. Just like that she turned and left. Goodbye. This made Feiqi not know what to do. I'm the one who led her into the city, now she's being targeted by Han Qing, I can't ignore it. After thinking for a while, he quickly made a decision. That's right, that's it. He hurriedly reached out to stop. Wait. Hearing that he had something to say, Wu surprisingly raised her head to look at him. What's wrong? Feiqi gently took off his hat and quickly proposed. There are some clues about the news you need, let's change places to talk. After thinking for a short time, Wu immediately nodded in agreement. Okay. This time the scene had shifted to a fast food restaurant in the city. Because it was late at night, the shop owner had quickly fallen into a deep sleep on the table. Wu on the table was still seriously listening to Feiqi's information. Just now seeing the ferry, I remembered, someone in the Crane clan said that there was internal Snake clan turmoil. Chu Feiqi has come out of seclusion early, lately there will probably be some movement. This news made her a little disappointed inside. Is that so? No wonder I detected traces of the Snake clan near Quan City. Remembering the terrible food that Wu had given him to eat before made him a little scared, he asked in surprise, smelly? Why does it smell so good? I think it's delicious. She used glittering eyes and quickly asked him, what do you say, will Chu Feiqi ever come to Quan City? He heard this and laughed, not knowing how to explain. This I don't know. But in reality everyone had their own calculations. Feiqi became very worried. Has she discovered something? Guessed my true identity? Wu was still foolishly thinking. With the Crane clan's good nature, the more vague this little immortal officer speaks the more it proves that my guess is correct. Chu Feiqi is definitely in the city. Remembering something important, she then asked Feiqi, immortal officer, you also don't eat stinky tofu, right? These words also made him feel confused. Also? She laughed and recounted her story. The brothers in my family all don't eat this dish, only my snake isn't picky about food, whatever I feed it eats, super obedient. Hearing this, he also just breathed a sigh of relief and gently picked up a piece of stinky tofu to his mouth preparing to enjoy. I'm also not picky about food. She quickly picked a few more pieces of stinky tofu into his plate and didn't forget to urge, that's great, then you eat a little more. Realizing her initial intention, his face was a little unbelievable and he tentatively asked, does the fairy also have something to ask me to do? She laughed and nodded in agreement. You're so smart. Wu's face was a little sad as she sighed and recounted her story. My little snake has disappeared. I want to find him, even if he doesn't want to follow me home. As long as he is safe, I am willing to give him freedom, but I don't have a way to contact the Snake clan. Hearing this story, Feiqi's face was also a little sad and speechless. My leaving without saying goodbye seems to have hurt her. After she finished speaking, Wu then continued to ask questions. Now that you're here, Chu Feiqi is also in the city. The Crane clan and the Snake clan don't have a good relationship. Can you introduce us? Hearing this had made him very confused and stand up. You want to meet Chu Feiqi? Seeing this reaction of his, Wu realized that something was unusual. I really guessed right. He doesn't deny that Chu Feiqi is in Qingquan City. Then she looked at him with very glittering eyes. I really miss my little snake, little immortal officer, can you help me? This made him very hesitant and not know what to do. He quickly sank into his own thoughts and calculations. Feng Wu always thought that my making her lose her inner core was related to me. Exposing my identity will only bring trouble to both sides. I can't let her know. While the two were still talking, suddenly Yan Yu immediately stepped forward and coughed a few times. Shopkeeper, can I use your restroom? He went past and didn't forget to wink at Feiqi. I'm dying of urgency, I'm dying of urgency. This action of his made him speechless and not know what to say. Seeing him signal to him, his face became confused and not know what to do. This time Feiqi stood up holding a plate of food and smilingly proposed, Fairy, the food is cold, I'll ask the kitchen to heat it up again. She heard this and immediately nodded in agreement. Okay. Just like that she watched Feiqi's back leave. Feeling that something was different, her face became thoughtful, his back. Unconsciously she remembered the image of Chu Feiqi that she had met. How is it so similar to Chu Feiqi in the bewitching soul formation? But very quickly Wu denied this thought of hers. At the brow of the little immortal officer there is the symbol of the Crane clan disciple. He can't be a person of the Snake clan. While Wu was still eating and drinking to her fill, suddenly a shout sounded, help. Shan Qiu fell right into the bowl of food, causing her to be startled and not understand what was happening. After seeing Shan Qiu's face now had made her very worried, Fatty Qiu. On this side, Feiqi quickly went towards Yan Yu to see what had happened. He gradually lost patience after being constantly broken up in happy times by him. What happened? But his face was very serious as he informed the next news. Han Qing's people have found the people of the Phoenix clan here. This news made him startled and freeze. Realizing that Wu Yu was in danger made him still want to turn back. Yan Yu hurriedly pulled him back and shouted, "I haven't finished speaking yet." He heard this and surprisedly turned his head to look towards him. What else is there? He quickly remembered the image of Pu Lu constantly standing behind all the things that had happened. Just now at the inn I forgot to tell you, Pu Lu has returned to the Snake clan. She has collected a lot of forces. It's possible she doesn't have good intentions. You haven't shown yourself for so long. They are about to forget who their leader is. Seeing that he still didn't care about this, he kept urging, "The Snake clan is already in chaos. I specially came to find you back. Now you're not going. When are you waiting for?" He heard this and only remained silent without answering. After a long period of time thinking, Feiqi sighed worriedly. She can't deal with Han Qing alone. These words also made Yan Yu stunned to the point of being stupid. He couldn't believe that his leader was so simping. Even his anger surged to the point that he even had to raise his middle finger at him. "Old man has said so much. Do you only hear the sentence that she is in trouble?" He heard this and didn't know what to say. Seeing that there was no way to keep Feiqi, Yan Yu could only sigh. "Alright, you want to stay and help is also fine, but I have one condition." He heard this and nodded in understanding. What condition? His face became very serious as he said his thoughts. "Wait after the person in your heart is safe, then you immediately follow me back to the Snake clan." Hearing this, he secretly agreed to this condition. "Are you sure you can stop the Dragon clan?" This also made him on the side feel speechless, saying the person in your heart and you didn't refute. After thinking for a short time, Yan Yu already had a plan in his head. Fighting head-on is not possible. We'll play dirty. On this side, seeing Shan Qiu fall down in front of her, she became very worried. "Fatty Qiu." Suddenly an arm grabbed Shan Qiu's leg, causing Wu Yu to quickly pay attention. Realizing that this was Han Qing's guard, she immediately shouted, "You let it go." At this time Han Qing also immediately led his army of subordinates to come to her. "Fifth princess, don't worry, my highness has some words to say to you." Wu Yu laughed as if she had foreseen his purpose this time. "Third highness is in such a hurry. Is it to ask me for the whereabouts of that Yue, huh?" Being read his thoughts made him very angry. Sharp tongue. Trying to keep himself calm, Han Qing quickly moved forward to question. "There are not many people in this world who can make me angry. You count as one, Feng Wu Yu. I see that I have not treated you badly. Why do you always want to make me angry?" Wu Yu triumphantly flicked his fan away. "I also want to ask Third Highness, why every time I see you I find you more annoying than the last time?" These words only added to his anger. "You." Remembering something important, she then continued to glance towards Han Qing's guard who was still holding Shan Qiu in his hand. "I've been out for a long time without returning. The older brothers sent Fatty Qiu to find me. If Fatty Qiu returns late, they will personally come to pick me up." "Han Qing, are you sure you want to continue to hold my people?" Han Qing hearing this laughed smugly and quickly said extremely incomprehensible words. "This time, even if your older brother comes, I'm afraid he'll have to follow me to the Dragon clan for a trip." These words also made her feel very worried. "What do you mean?" Han Qing's guard quickly covered Shan Qiu's mouth and explained loudly. "Fifth princess arranged for Yue to approach his highness, and even had people write erotic stories to send to the Dragon clan, causing everyone to misunderstand that his highness has a sick hobby." Shan Qiu, even though his mouth was covered, also added, "Fifth princess is the fiancée of his highness. The old Dragon King is angry with his highness. What benefit can you have?" Realizing that she was being framed, she was very angry and quickly put her hand on her chest to explain. "Maybe you don't believe it, the matter of the erotic story I didn't do." Clearly Han Qing didn't believe these words. He still continued to order, "Regardless of whether it was you or not, today you must follow me to see my father." His hands holding the fan quickly lowered. "If not." The sword had also been placed on Shan Qiu's neck accompanied by threats. "I will kill your confidant." This made Shan Qiu so angry that he was crying. Unable to let this group of Dragon clan do whatever they wanted anymore, Wu Yu angrily stood up and slammed the table. "Han Qing, you dare." Before all the things that she had done had also made him gradually lose patience. "Don't casually challenge my patience." Now she had become very embarrassed and didn't know what to do next. "If I go, the Dragon clan will definitely take the opportunity to force the marriage, but if I don't go, Fatty Qiu will lose his life." With no other choice, Wu Yu could only grit her teeth and make a decision. "You return Fatty Qiu to me, I'll go with you." Hearing this, Han Qing laughed smugly and nodded, "That's right, as long as you listen, I and the entire dragon clan will treat you with courtesy." Before he could finish speaking, suddenly an arm grabbed Wu Yu's hand tightly. "Don't go." She surprisedly turned her head. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Fei Qi had appeared in time to save her from this situation. Seeing Fei Qi's unfamiliar face also made Han Qing very surprised. "Who are you?" He always kept silent to all these questions of his. This also made her feel curious. Fei Qi calmly took his cloak and introduced his name. "I am a disciple under the command of Xuanji, immortal person of Heavenly Crane Cave Mansion. He took off his cloak, revealing his face in front of everyone. Hearing that there was someone who had intervened in his good thing, Han Qing was very uncomfortable. A little disciple of the Crane clan also dares to speak about the affairs of the Dragon clan. Fei Qi's eyes were very calm and resolutely did not yield to his action. This only made him even angrier and unable to say anything. This time he immediately grabbed Wu Yu's hand and pulled her towards the front, causing her to be a little confused. Both sides were like two children quickly playing the game of pulling Wu Yu with each other. She became very uncomfortable with this action. "You're hurting me, let go." Hearing this, Fei Qi also gradually let go of her hands. "Fairy." He gently spoke to explain to her, "The matter that the fairy asked has an answer, so I hurriedly pulled the fairy back." His face felt a little guilty and sadly asked her, "Did I hurt you?" Hearing this, Wu Yu's eyes immediately lit up. "There's an answer." Seeing this, Fei Qi looked at her with the eyes of a small puppy. "Fairy." She immediately knew to look towards Han Qing standing there. "You are gentle, unlike someone who is forceful." Hearing this, he laughed with relief. That's good, so when will we?" Before he could finish speaking, Han Qing became extremely angry and pulled Wu Yu closer. "Feng, Wu Yu." This action of his only made her even more disgusted. "Is Third Highness going to tie my hands here?" Hearing her say that, with no other choice he could only let go of her hand. But his face had now become very uncomfortable. "I just wanted to tell you, I hate the most other people eyeing my things. You are my fiancé, later you should also associate less with random men." These words only made Wu Yu even more disdainful. Fiancé, sooner or later I will cancel the marriage with you." After seeing the two had quarreled, Fei Qi became very happy. He quickly informed the two, "Third Highness, you misunderstood. I and this fairy are just people who are fated to meet." As soon as he finished speaking, both sides immediately rushed to fight, causing Wu Yu to realize that the situation was not good. She hurriedly stood in front of Fei Qi to protect him. "Third Highness." Her face became very uncomfortable and shouted loudly, "Fatty Chiu is in your hands, I will not resist, please give me a few minutes to say goodbye to my friend." Han Qing could only angrily signal, "Feng Wu Yu, this is the last patience I have for you." After that he could only go in another direction and quickly sit down on the chair. But his eyes had become very judgmental and stared at the actions of the two people. On this side, after hearing the news had made Wu Yu very surprised. "That person is really willing to meet me?" Fei Qi happily nodded to confirm, "The person who went in just now is my man." He confirmed that Chu Fei Qi is in the city. Hearing this had made her very excited. "When can we meet?" He continued to inform, "Tomorrow morning." She hesitated a little when she saw Han Bai's threatening eyes while holding Shanqiu in his hands. Wu Yu then lowered her head and sank into her own thoughts. "This is the opportunity for me to get closest to the truth. I can't give it up because of Han Qing." This time she quickly approached Fei Qi and whispered into his ear, "What do you say? What is the percentage of us joining forces to save that fatty bird in Han Qing's hands?" He didn't respond to her but only gently raised the number 1. Seeing the result made her very confused. 1%? Fei Qi laughed and explained to her, "Definitely can succeed." This made her very happy. "You have a way?" Just like that the two people discussed one after another, making Han Qing on one side so angry that he broke the fan. Unfortunately, Shan Xiao also fell hard to the ground below. Witnessing the happy scene of the two people only made Han Qing so angry that he couldn't speak. "Shameless woman, this marriage becoming a success is also a disgrace to me. Might as well cancel it." While he was still angry, the guard quickly whispered into his ear, "Highness, you can't. The Dragon King values the marriage between the two clans. You taking the princess is the only chance to inherit the throne. Seize the opportunity while these people aren't paying attention." Shan Xiao then immediately ran away. The guard was still constantly whispering, "Wait until you take her, then take the Dragon King's throne. Getting rid of her isn't an easy thing to do." Hearing this, Han Qing laughed happily. "You're right, I just need to be a little patient. After we get married, won't Feng Wu Yu be at my mercy?" Seeing the two return, Han Qing was a little surprised. "So fast, you're not talking anymore?" Hearing him say that, Feichi quickly glanced towards Wu Yu and signaled. Both of them immediately pulled out an item and sprayed straight ahead. Just like that, a stream of red water quickly shot into his eyes, causing him to scream madly. This time he couldn't bear it anymore and shouted, "I must kill you." Han Qing's guard in the back also quickly pulled out his sword preparing to fight. That was when Feichi showed his power. He quickly fought with this group of guards. A fierce battle took place at the restaurant. Needless to say how pitiful the shop owner was. Wu Yu on this side was a cat reaching out to quickly cut Shan Qiu's ropes and leave. The scene of her preparing to leave also made Han Qing quickly pay attention. Unable to turn a blind eye any longer, he immediately prepared to attack. "Feng Wu Yu, this is what you asked for." Seeing him preparing to attack her, her face immediately became scared. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Feichi had appeared in time to hug her and protect her. His face was always calm like that. He tried to endure the pain to protect her. This made Wu Yu somewhat flutter to the point of being difficult to speak. On the outside quickly sounded a signal, "The city lord is here." While Han Qing was directly reaching out to strike Feichi's back. His weak body was very quickly injured, causing Wu Yu to be very worried. "Little immortal officer." She hurriedly supported him with a helpless face. "What's wrong with you? Can you hold on?" Feichi quickly reached out to wipe away the blood on his mouth. He gently comforted, "Don't worry, I can hold on." At this time the group of guards and Han Qing had all pointed their swords at the two people. His face had become very smug, thinking that this round he would definitely win. Wu Yu and Feichi startled to realize that something was wrong. But fortunately at the critical moment, a person quickly spoke to signal, "The city lord is here." At the same time Yan Yu had also come with the city lord of Quan City. Seeing the man suddenly appear made Feichi and Wu Yu very surprised. The city lord quickly glanced towards Yan Yu, and he didn't know what to say before this situation. On this side, Han Qing was still constantly bullying the two people. "Feng Wu Yu, I'm asking you for the last time, are you going or not going?" Facing in front of him, she was not afraid and shouted back, "What, if I don't go? Third Highness wants to take action against me in front of the city lord of Quan City." "Huh?" He heard this and surprisingly turned his head. This time the man smiled triumphantly and stared at Han Qing. This made him very confused and not know what to do next. "I don't know the identity of the city lord of Quan City, even my father has to yield to him 3 points, I shouldn't offend him." After thinking for a while, Han Qing quickly greeted the city lord. "Junior is the third prince of the Dragon Clan. The rebel wants to bring his fiancée back to the Dragon Clan. If there is any place that has disturbed the city lord, then I hope you will forgive me." Hearing this he laughed and moved closer in front of Han Qing. "You know you're noisy, and you're not leaving yet?" In the back, seeing this situation, Yan Yu immediately waved to signal for the two people Wu Yu and Feichi. He gently held Wu Yu's hand and urged, "Being targeted by that crazy highness, I'm afraid he won't give up. With the city lord here, we better take a step ahead." She heard this and nodded in agreement, quickly supporting him to stand up. "Okay." Just like that the two people continued to secretly leave. As soon as they left this place, Wu Yu sank into her own thoughts. "I heard that the city lord of Quan City has a hobby of imitating the customs of the human world in building this city. In the city there are no strict rules, only one: whoever abuses their spiritual power to fight and injures other people will be expelled from the city." After thinking about this, she secretly glanced towards Wu Yu, who was still trying to endure the pain. That palm that he blocked just now was pre-planned or. Just like that the two left this place quickly and went outside. Feichi's weak body quickly coughed continuously, making Wu Yu even more worried. Realizing that something was not right on his body, her face became even more panicked. Why does his body look like snake skin? Seeing Wu Yu's surprised eyes, he glanced towards her. "What's wrong?" She hurriedly shook her head and replied, "It's nothing, I just saw next to the city lord a person whose appearance is very similar to the person who just now informed you." He heard this and laughed to reply, "That's him." This also made Wu Yu feel confused. The two had just walked outside. Feichi walked and said, "We took advantage of the city lord, implicated you, you won't blame me, right?" Wu Yu shook her head and hurriedly explained to him, "How could I? You also did it to help me. Where do we go now?" This time she still had a worried mood and turned to ask Feichi, "Tomorrow morning can we really meet you, Feichi?" Suddenly he gently turned and tightly grabbed her shoulders and chatted, "The matter that I promised you, I will definitely be able to do it." Hearing these certain words, her face also somewhat believed. Suddenly he coughed a few times continuously, making her become worried. "Little immortal officer." Seeing that his body was gradually becoming weaker, he also realized that his body was about to reach its limit. "I haven't completely shed my skin, plus that palm from Han Qing. My spiritual power can't maintain human form anymore. I must take Feng Wuyu to a safe place first. Seeing him still worried standing there, Wuyu quickly proposed, are you alright, or should we find a doctor in the city to examine you first and then go? He gently turned around and tightly grabbed her hand. I know a small road out of the city, I'll take you there first and then tell Chu Feiqi to come meet you. Hearing this also made her secretly nod, however she still had some worry, me uninvited like this, also want Chu Feiqi to personally come meet me, I probably won't make him angry. Right? He gently smiled and comforted, won't. Wuyu walked and felt very curious, how do you know he won't be angry, you're not him. This time the two people continued to walk forward, Feiqi suddenly stopped. He pointed straight ahead and quickly informed her, going 100 meters ahead there is a 100-year-old apricot tree. After he finished speaking, he didn't forget to gently instruct her, you wear this, the silver apricot tree demon will protect you safely, you can rest for a while. Hearing this, Wuyu nodded in understanding, then looked up at Feiqi's pale face, your complexion looks very bad, the matter of conveying the message, I can ask Fatty Chiu to do it. He shook his head and calmly explained, Chu Feiqi's personality is strange, he probably won't meet other people. She heard this and nodded in understanding, alright. Just like that Feiqi walked towards the front, Wuyu stood behind and watched his back leave. Her face had some thoughtfulness to the point of being strange. This time suddenly she spoke and called, Chu Bai. A light breeze blew past, Wuyu still constantly spoke and called out, Chu Bai. Hearing this name made him feel that something was wrong. He still tried to keep himself very calm, you were just speaking? Wuyu's attitude had become very serious, she confusedly thought, does he have a snake on his body but is disguised as a crane clan? She still only quietly watched his back leave, the 2 times I followed the man in black, he happened to appear, the coincidence is that Chu Bai was not present both times. Thinking of this, she was somewhat afraid to believe her eyes, Chu Bai, He Bai, the names are so similar. While she was still sinking into her own thoughts, Feiqi had walked to her, Fairy, what's wrong? She saw this and laughed awkwardly and hurriedly explained, just now I saw that your handkerchief was dirty, take another one. Receiving the handkerchief she handed, he smiled and chatted, if the fairy doesn't have anything else, I must quickly enter the city, after it's dawn it won't be convenient anymore. Hearing him say that, Wuyu could only secretly agree, forget it, it's just my speculation. She then waved goodbye as if nothing had happened, I'm alright, I just want to tell you to pay attention to safety. After the matter is done, I will go to the Crane clan to thank you. Feiqi also smiled and nodded goodbye, okay, Fairy remember you must come to the Crane clan to be a guest. After he left, he had also realized her strange face, Wuyu must have discovered something, I can't continue to be alone with her anymore, the matter of meeting the original body. I must find someone to replace me. After confirming that he had left, Wuyu used very thoughtful eyes. She was still standing there quietly when Shanqiu quickly flew over to call, Master. She held it in her hand, it then continued to explore the situation and report, Master, that Crane clan kid didn't lie, ahead there really is a 100-year-old silver apricot tree. The trunk is a cave, we can hide there. She heard this and gently stroked Shanqiu's head and asked back, the secret agent team set out with 10 people, why were you caught, where are the other people? This made it very helpless and kept crying, because Han Qing only knew me. This sentence also made her angry to the point of being furious. Remembering something important, Shanqiu then continued to ask, just now I sent a signal, the remaining 9 people are on the way, does Master want to meet them, or do you have other arrangements? After thinking for a while, she had her own calculations, on this place there is still the smell of He Bai, you tell 2 people who are good at following me to pay attention to him. Record all of his actions, the faster the better. It heard this and immediately nodded in understanding, yes. Just like that Shanqiu flew to follow He Bai's actions before Wuyu's worry. She also couldn't sit still and constantly walked towards the silver apricot tree Feiqi had instructed, He Bai, Chu Feiqi, you 3 better not be the same person, if not. She calmly walked straight ahead, let me catch you, you will be doomed. Time very quickly shifted to inside Qingquan City, a very angry voice sounded causing both of the little birds to startle in confusion, what, he still hasn't returned to the clan and still wants to meet the Phoenix clan's girl? Feiqi was sitting there nodding in confirmation, it's not me meeting, you find someone to disguise as me to go meet. Yan Yu was very angry at a series of these actions of his, disguise as you, disguise as Chu Bai or He Bai, or your original body? He sighed and informed him, the original body. But these words only made him even angrier, you do you know how dangerous it is to reveal your original body? from the time you failed to ascend and survived under the heavenly tribulation. The people on the outside who want to pick up your snake bones have already lined up. After he finished speaking, he didn't forget to grab Fei Qi's hand and continue, I will immediately take you back to Mount Jiui. Don't you even think about going anywhere. Before Yan Yu could finish speaking, he had quickly acted, causing him to be unable to believe. You're using spiritual power again, don't you want to live anymore? Before his angry words, he was still calm as if he didn't care much. Seeing that he still didn't agree to his request, Fei Qi could only sigh and inform, if you don't help then I'll go on a trip myself. These words only made him so angry that he couldn't bear it anymore. You really don't need your life anymore? Contrary to Yan Yu's worried attitude, Fei Qi calmly reached out towards him. This is her handkerchief, return it to me. Needless to say, a series of his actions were all related to Wu Yu, only making him hate that he couldn't tear him into hundreds of pieces. 1,000 years of cultivation. In these 1,000 years this kid has never shown to be blindly in love once. What nerve is out of place? While Yan Yu was still sinking into his thoughts, Fei Qi had snatched back the handkerchief. He gently put the handkerchief away carefully. Meeting her is also beneficial to me and the Snake Clan. Although he had paid attention to his actions, how is he so sick to defend? After Fei had calculated for a long time thoroughly, his face became very surprised. Besides the matter of exposing your identity, you tell me what other benefits are there? Looking down at the ground below and seeing a small ant, Fei Qi quickly said his thoughts. A snake transforms into a jiao transforms into a dragon. He gently put the handkerchief into his pocket. That year I transformed into a jiao and went down to the sea, only lacking the step of ascending. It was Feng Wuyu who stopped me. This made Yan Yu focus and then nodded in agreement. This I know, what else? The image when Wu Yu had appeared in front of him appeared again. She once said to me that, friend, this place doesn't allow passage, please change your path. Remembering this detail made Fei Qi very thoughtful. At that time she seemed to not know that I was experiencing a tribulation. She didn't deliberately stop me. These words only made him become confused and constantly urge, stop where? You tell me quickly, I'm so anxious. Fei Qi glanced towards him and continued to inform, the place that she stopped me was at the returning dragon abyss. Yan Yu after hearing this confirmation was a little confused as he thought, the returning dragon abyss is an important path of the dragon clan. Are you saying you suspect that this matter is related to the dragon clan? He secretly confirmed this opinion. In the 3 realms, who doesn't want me to ascend the most? Was eating grass happily. Hearing this story also made the ant startled in surprise. Oh damn. Seeing the strange movement, both people immediately turned their heads to look behind. Who? Yan Yu couldn't sit still anymore. He immediately took action. What kind of shrimp or crab dares to eavesdrop on your grandfather?